What is this foolishness?
How many dreams can you shape in a minute, an hour?
The kind of clean you like best.
Lost 3 of my teeth, too. All right, sir, you lost. Next time you'll win.
Steamy, hot, hearty, delicious, invigorating.
Funny. I think we should do that. Folks at home, how you doing tonight? Welcome to a brand new Ike Live show. Man, we've got a good one for you tonight. Hope you're having a wonderful Sunday. It's been a little bit since we've been here. I know, it's been a while since we've been live in studio, but we are back, and we've got a great show for you tonight. Let me intro the room. We got a great crew tonight. And dude, Dave, I love these shows. You do too, where the guests are actually in studio.
Yeah.
So much better than having them via Zoom or anything like
not even
that.
close.
So it's not even close. Sitting to my right, the one and only, the Dean of Bash University, Pete Glusick. Pete, you got a new nickname ready, Scuba Pete.
Scuba Pete.
Scuba Pete. We're going to be talking a lot about that tonight. We actually debated on doing the entire show on your fall into the Upper Chesapeake Bay. What do you think about that?
I thought the show was just going to be like my fall, like in a loop. Just go live. Just,
over and over.
Just over and over. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Yeah.
We'll see you next month.
In case anyone hasn't already seen it 100 times.
Yeah. I'm going to say this real quick, and we'll get back to it, but it was literally the best part of the live broadcast on Saturday. It was.
And it may have been the longest fall in the history of all falls.
Oh, yeah.
Like
What do you mean by that?
feathers fall out of seagulls and they land in the water quicker than you did. It took forever for you to have a drink, dude.
It was forever. It was graceful. In an ungraceful way.
There were so many great comments, but the one that pops into my head is Chris Zaldane was saying, he's like, you could see the moment when Pete decides to just go with it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Go
with it. Don't fight it. Yeah.
Just don't fight it.
Yeah.
And I think that saved me, honestly.
I think it did. It's
not
kind of
fighting
like
it.
It's kind of like when you're drunk and you have to throw up and you're like fighting it because you don't want to throw up, but then you get to the point where like I'm just fucking throwing up.
Just gonna make
I'm
the
just
morning
gonna
worse.
get rid of it. I'm gonna feel better after I
Yeah.
throw up. It's that same moment.
And that was the deal. I had to go with it.
Well, it was awesome. It was. We loved it. It was a great moment.
I'm glad I could provide that.
Hey,
You're
Pete,
welcome.
did you know, like, so when, like, on my YouTube feed, if I bring up the Bassmaster channel, the kid that won it, like, when I looked before I came, had like 1,500 views. He was 2 hours after you. You had 30,000 views, and you only had a 2-hour head start, dude.
Hey,
That's great.
Hey, and I'm glad to get the exposure, right? I was telling BTC I should have figured this out like at the beginning. I should have fallen in 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Would have helped. But congratulations to the kid that won. What a monster bag to
Great win. Great
to
win.
to pick up on the last day. It was an amazing win.
That was super nice.
Nice way to get out of it.
Of course, sitting to my left, you know him, the one and only Dave Brodzik, a.k.a. Worf, a.k.a. Stormtrooper, a.k.a. Fathead. Dave, how you doing tonight?
Oh, man, great. Can't
Good
wait,
to
dude.
see you.
This is fun.
I'm glad to have you
We're already
here.
here laughing.
You want to show everybody, since we don't have an official whiskey sponsor anymore. We used to work with Tin Cup. Still great whiskey, but Dave, you brought a little something special in tonight. What is this you've got here? We're
so
going to be tapping into this.
everyone's had Southern Tier's beer. Well, they also now have a distillery.
Yeah.
And I'm not. You know, I love their pumpkin beer. It's their only beer I drink, and
Yeah.
I think they have the best pumpkin beer that there is. Like,
Southern Tier, yeah.
But they're like that. So this is their pumpkin whiskey,
Ooh.
and they also make an apple cinnamon, which is stupid, and you can't find it. I mean, it like I told you a couple weeks ago, I made an asshole out of myself at a party.
Yeah,
with it, you know,
perfect.
But yeah, no.
That's how you know it's good.
Yeah, no, I know.
All right. Well, we're going to be getting into that. We'll be getting into that.
I haven't
a
even
little later.
recovered from that embarrassment. yet, so I'll leave.
The night is young.
We're getting stories.
The night is young.
Dude, you know how I get, man.
And then our special in studio guest, and I'm so happy to have these guys in because we've talked to these guys a lot on other podcasts, on other shows, but it's so nice to have them in studio. We got the Chicago crew in with us. Ryan Whitaker sitting over here with us. Ryan, how you doing tonight?
Doing great, man. So happy to be here.
I'm stoked to have you in, man. Feels nice to have you in studio here hanging out with us.
It's surreal, man.
All
I
right.
mean, you know, we've been watching for a long time, so
It's like
Well,
a dream
pretty
come
crazy
true,
to be
right?
in
I
here.
also want to pin this on you. You also fished the Open
I did.
and walked away with a great finish.
Yeah, I got a check. You know, I think I finished 29th.
Yeah, it's a great finish.
But yeah, that place is crazy.
Yeah.
Can't believe I caught him
Wicked
on
tough.
one day.
Wicked tough.
But
Catch
yeah,
13
super
pounds,
tough.
Super good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He might
I
also.
I like the grinder spots.
Yeah.
When everybody's catching them, I usually don't catch them.
Yeah. Yeah. You think that you
Yeah.
think that's due to like you guys are from Chicago area.
Yeah.
You fish a lot of stuff that's a little more grimy
100%.
up that way. You think
Yeah.
that gave you an advantage? last week?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I learned pretty much everything I know, like walking the banks and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, as a kid, I've learned more in a boat,
Yeah.
but like fishing the Humboldt Park Lagoon on the west side of
Oh, yeah.
Chicago, trying
Yeah.
to catch one bass a day, like,
Yeah.
getting off my bike with a rod and
Yeah.
trying to catch one. Yeah, like fish a whole pond for one bite.
I love that.
This is nothing.
I want to get
Yeah.
more into that later in the show.
Yeah.
But
Did
there
you
is-
say you love that?
I love that because, dude, listen, Brian, there's a whole segment of people that love fishing that aren't from Alabama, that aren't from Florida, that aren't from Texas, that don't fish reservoirs and $30,000, $50,000 bass boats every day.
Right.
There's a lot of guys that love fishing that are not traditional.
Yeah, and I've still never had a $50,000
Right.
bass boat.
I know, but it's a nice
but-
bass boat.
Yeah,
It's
but
not $50,000.
It
He's
works.
Got, he's got the
It
best
works.
teeth in the room.
Yeah.
I can't stop looking at his mouth.
It's
Like,
got
oh,
great
my
teeth.
great
God.
teeth.
Of course he
dude.
does.
It's the greatest compliment I've ever
Yeah,
gotten
he's
today.
got good teeth. He has really good
Do
teeth.
you come from a family of dentists or something?
No, but I had braces like 3 times.
3 times.
Three times.
Well, whatever, dude.
Yeah.
Third time's a charm.
Good dentist.
How do you
industry out
have
there.
braces 3 times?
Did you not wear your rubber bands?
I got them when I was like 9, and then like 12, and then like 16. It was stupid.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a real bummer, but I guess it's paying off.
It
No,
does
I mean,
have
that's
that.
your mouth looks like Brad Pitt from Troy.
Who's Troy?
Ever saw the movie Troy?
I don't
You got
know.
a pretty mouth. You got a
I'm
pretty
sorry,
mouth.
guys. They're good teeth.
Yeah. Also joining us with the Chicago crew, we got JayPee and Brad. Guys, how you doing tonight? Dude, thank you guys for coming. I'm excited to have both of you in the house tonight. Tell me a little bit about Tightrope jigs. Tightrope jigs are badass. JayPee, tell me
Oh,
they are
thank you.
badass. I know they're badass. Tell me a little bit about
They are
real quick.
badass. I
They're
mean,
badass.
It's been a blessing. I mean,
Has.
we made a dumb little bait,
Yeah.
and it caught on, and man, that's kept us going. It's kept us fishing.
Dude, I'm a huge believer in that concept, which is a compact jig, smaller profile. I love that concept, and you guys make an awesome one. It's
Thank you.
phenomenal. And here's the thing I love about it. Not just for largemouth, right?
Oh,
Smallmouth are
it's a smallmouth killer.
a killer.
Yeah.
That's the thing, Pete. A lot of times you say skirted jig, right? You say a jig with a skirt. People think largemouth. Dude, that thing is badass for smallmouth.
Man,
I'm
that
telling
is
you
a
right now.
smallmouth jig right
Oh, yeah.
there.
Candy.
Yeah, so we originally made it for smallmouth on Lake Michigan.
Yeah.
JP and I actually met like fishing the shore
Yeah.
downtown Chicago.
Did
And,
you
like,
really?
Yeah,
Actually
we were
fishing?
We met at Humboldt Park. Yeah, fishing.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
It's-
And
it's
like
same
like
pond, you get
Humboldt
one
Park
bite.
is like you only hear about it on Gangland, right?
Yeah.
That show Gangland.
Yeah.
That's when you hear about Humboldt Park.
Right.
It's gotten better now, but it's
Yeah.
it's a rough area.
Little sketch.
Yeah, and there's this lagoon there, and I was always the only bass fisherman there.
Yeah.
Like for 5-6 years, like
Right.
I'd go there, nobody would even have a casting reel.
Yeah.
And then this guy's got like 3 casting. He's got some old like Daiwa green rods.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's throwing a crankbait, and I'm like, well, we're friends.
That's
for
awesome.
sure. You know.
Yeah, instant connection.
So, but yeah, like he was throwing big jigs with like a straight tail trailer downtown, catching smallies on
Yeah.
it, but hanging up like 20 a day and losing them. I'm like, we got to figure something out
Did you
here
guys
because that's
get, like-
working. So that's how we made that.
Did you
Yeah.
get coffee
But it was
mugs
for
made,
smallmouth.
made
Dude,
in
it-
Vegas, like on Blue Lagoon with both your faces?
Oh yeah, yeah. We hit the photo booth that night. Yeah,
Dude, it's funny because my connection to a small jig in Chicago is when I filmed an episode of City Limits Fishing.
we watched it
years
hundreds
and
of
years
times.
and years ago. And
we
I
remember.
basically fished a version of that.
Yeah,
I fished a compact jig. It
was black.
It was black. Back then it was a little jig I picked up in the Ozarks that was a small, it was similar to that, you
Yeah.
know?
No
and
kidding.
it
Okay.
was the deal, and it's what got most of my bigger smallmouth bites that day.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
very interesting. Very interesting.
JP, are you
Yeah.
airbrushing those heads or?
No. I don't have skills.
No,
You got
they're,
painting
they're
skills.
powdered.
Just
They're
spray
powder
paint.
painted.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's badass. All right, we're gonna
I
talk-
like the hook choice. Hook
Yeah.
choice in
Dave,
these
Dave,
because
it's
a
just-
lot of
Like it.
times they're too light wire.
Bingo.
It's just
And
spray
That was our
paint.
problem.
And that's not too heavy. It's
Yeah.
like a
It's
a
a 2X
perfect gauge.
It's a 2X mustad. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a really good, really awesome hook.
Yeah.
I mean the tips don't roll on those.
too
things.
light's bad, too heavy's bad.
Right.
It's nice
Yeah,
to have that.
but we
that
like
middle
to
of the
throw
road.
it on like man tackle, like
Yeah.
you know, like
Swing
heavy
that
heavy
smallmouth.
gauge.
Man
Yeah, I mean
tackle.
you can bow flip a 4-pounder, no problem with
Yeah.
that thing. We throw it on like 15-pound with a 7-foot medium heavy casting rod.
Wow,
You can
that's
just
awesome.
jack them.
All right, let me finish intro in the room here. We've got handling IMs with us tonight. We've got the one and only Riz. Rizzo, how you doing tonight?
Doing great, man. It's
great-
good to be good to be
great-
back in the studio.
Great to have you in studio for Ike Live.
Yeah.
Everybody knows you now as the Bash U guy, but you're originally an Ike Live guy.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
got stolen by Bash U. They stole you from us. So.
Yeah, no, it's good to be back in here. I don't know which camera I'm supposed to be looking at.
I don't
so
either.
I'm double eyeing it right now.
All right.
But yeah, no, it's great to be back in. Awesome to have the Chicago crew.
Yes.
The Chicago's
Love it.
with us tonight. And Brad, where are you from?
Actually, I live in Wisconsin
And the
Wisconsin.
Wiscos. So
He's
it's-
originally from the Chicago area.
Yeah, We're counting you as a Chicago guy. Plus the mustache and the hair just make it perfect. So
He's got the attitude.
yeah, it's perfect. And pushing buttons tonight, producing the show, Brian the Carpenter. How you doing tonight? Nice to see you.
Great.
Good to see you. Brian, on a scale from 1 to 10, how tired are you tonight? Fished a derb today.
I'm pretty tired.
Pretty tired. Would you call it a 7, 8, 9? What would you call it?
Call it delirious. Like,
Call it
Are we
delirious.
even here? Is this happening?
It is happening.
Yeah.
It
Eddie
is
Murphy.
happening.
I feel like my vision's blurry.
All right. First things first. With the
Oh,
little
I'm just old and I
housekeeping.
got bad
Little
eyes.
housekeeping. Brian the Carpenter, real quick. If you're watching over on Facebook Live, we run a little promotion. All you have to do is like and share the feed over there, and we're going to enter you into a chance to win the world famous Ike Live gift bag. It's loaded with sponsor products. This thing weighs about 20, 25 pounds. Pete, give me a estimate on that. You just caught a big bag the other day. 20
17.9.
17.9. Got a little light. Like and share the feed over on Facebook. You're going to be entered in a chance to win that. Also, we want to hear from you, man. If you got questions, comments on anything you hear tonight, please chime through on the IMs. Rizzo's going to put them through. We want to thank our sponsors. Pete, these guys really make this show happen day in and day out. Of course, Mystery Tackle Box. And here's the great thing. If you're watching tonight, we've got Ross Gordon on tonight joining us.
Nice.
In a little bit. We're going to be talking about MTB. It's a great product. Let me tell you something. You want to bring fishing to your door, to your doorstep? Get MTB. It's a great product. If you use the promo code Ike Live, you're going to get 30% off your first Elite box and 50% off your first Pro box. So go check them out. They're awesome.
I think we may have to step up to the Elite box at my house. We have the Pro box.
Yeah, that thing's
and
badass, dude.
I know. Well, Jake is now graduated. He's starting to advance. He's the Whopper Plopper guy.
Right. He wants to get to the next level.
Yeah, I think we got to step up.
You have to step it up. Also brought to you by Founders Beer. It's an amazing brew. Dave, tonight we're drinking a new one. This is the all-day chill day, which is a little
All-day
little
spill
spin
day. Sorry.
on the all-day. Yeah, and we've got a spill right here. An all-day spill day going on. But it's a smooth, very, very smooth beer.
I had about 10 of them last night.
Yes, very, very smooth beer. I got a couple updates for you. This is now available. If you're local here in the South Jersey area, they've got it at Bootleggers in Glassboro, New Jersey. You can go over and get some of the all-day chill day. Also, if you go to the Founders app or founders.com, you can find out what store has Founders local to you. So just go to founders.com, type in your zip code, and you can get some Founders beer.
It's good stuff, guys.
Yes, really, 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 really
Especially
good.
with football season, you're going to be eating food, watching the games. It doesn't sit in you too heavy. It's
Super good. Also brought to you by Bash University. Pete, this is the time of the year when people are slowing down. They're not fishing as much. It's a great time to learn. It's a great time to get in education mode. What do you guys got going on? What do you guys got happening? People want to find it. How do they do it?
It's just go to bashu.tv and get subscribed, and you're going to learn. It's going to help you become a better angler. And we did some adjusting to conditions, or we had Kevin Short we featured on last week's Bash U Live. And because he's so good. What was the title of his video, Riz?
Frankenstein?
No.
It was fishing tough conditions.
Fishing
under
tough
conditions.
Because I thought it was adjusting the conditions. Fishing tough conditions because we were facing it on the Chesapeake.
Oh yeah.
And we knew we were going to be dealing with that, and Kevin does a great job. But I'm most excited. Here's the deal: COVID has shut Bash U down live in class.
You're talking about our seminars.
Our seminars in class for the last couple of years.
Right.
We tried to do it this year, but we ran into some problems again. And next year we are going to be live in the classroom, January, February, March. Super excited. Back in the classroom.
Yes.
You're going to be able to come, get face-to-face with all the teachers, instructors. We're so excited. So look for the ticket window to be open at thebashuniversity.com real soon. And we're going to be in Alabama. We're going to be in South Carolina, possibly Oklahoma, Texas, Minnesota. We're going to be announcing all of our classes real soon.
A lot of great locations. Last but not least, brought to you by Ike Foundation. And we got a couple updates coming up to you in a second here. Beck just came in the room. Beck's going to help us with some of the updates. Ike Foundation kayak tournament coming up in a few weeks, and Ike Foundation youth event coming up this Sunday on Union Lake. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. That's all good stuff. Dave, before we get the show started, we always do this thing where we talk about, we want to send a shout out and a thank you to our military, our police, our firemen, or EMT. Today is the memorial of 9/11, September 11th. And here's the crazy thing Becky and I talked about earlier. 21 years ago. How crazy is that, dude?
That's wild.
21 years ago.
It doesn't feel like it.
It doesn't feel like it, right? It feels like it happened a second ago. But it changed the world. And, I think everyone has a memory or knows someone that was affected by it. So if you're watching tonight, our thoughts and prayers. I mean, we're never going to forget. Every year we want to remember this day, and it's important. We want to thank all our policemen and firemen. I mean, that whole thing was just incredible.
The sacrifices that they made were, just amazing. I sat with Jake on this topic. We drove home from the Chesapeake this morning.
Yeah.
And of course he's TikToking on the ride home, but he's looking at videos and they're showing the impact the planes
and stuff. Yeah.
So we had a serious discussion about what took place. And,
the kids know about it, but it's like when we learned something when we were young. If you're in 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, and you learn about World War II, you look at it from a historical perspective. That's what Vegas and Stella, we learned about that, but when you live through it, it's different, even though we weren't in New York. I mean, we all have a memory of it actually happening,
So I saw something recently, and I don't know if this is old or not. I'm not sure if it was on Netflix or Prime, but there was like a ghost person, not a ghost in the sense that we're saying, but there was a man who had a bandana on his face, and that's the name of the Red Bandana guy.
Yeah,
saved
Boston.
Countless people. He found a stairwell that wasn't compacted yet or collapsed. No one ever saw him. No one knew who he was, and he was just an angel on the 96th floor or whatever floor he was on, getting people out. Wow. It's a documentary. I just saw it. I don't know if it's an old one or not, but I just watched it the other day.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
Oh, they know who he is?
Yeah, because they found his body perfectly intact.
Talking to the mic, Beck.
Beck.
Sorry, I just heard the story too. They found his body years later, or I guess when they recovered bodies, they found his body completely intact with the red bandana, with an entire fire department. And when the news came out about the red bandana, I guess his parents heard and they knew exactly who it was. It was their son, because he received the red bandana when he was like 6 years old from his grandfather. And he carried it every day, so they knew who he was.
It's a good one to watch, because we always, and with due respect, we always watch, hear about the police officers and the firefighters, but here was a guy that could have got out on his own. He didn't have to be there.
Yeah.
He would have been out there on the ground watching the towers come down.
Yeah, on that same topic, man, what you guys are saying, like it really makes me remember something. There was a guy that lived one block down from me. His last name was DeMartini, and he worked in the trade centers, and he made it out before the towers came down and went back in to save people, and he ultimately didn't make it out. He's not here with us anymore. but same example, man. Like he got out with his initial like crew of people, and then just took it upon himself to go back in, and now there's gymnasiums and memorials, after him all over
Haddon
town.
Heights guy?
Yeah, well, his brother was a Heights guy, and he, had moved around a little bit, but they were, Haddon Heights at their roots, and so I can't remember his first name, but yeah, it was, man, it's heavy stuff, but
yeah, super heavy. I tell you this, Becky and I were at the memorial a few years ago, and man, it's
impactful.
Oh my God,
dude,
it's hard It's hard to not well up.
Yeah.
When you're in
right.
You know what I mean? I'm
Puts
not a
things in
crier at all,
perspective.
and it was hard to not get emotional.
Really, like like we all have stuff going on in life, and like hard tournaments, like whatever. But then we step back and start thinking about like 9/11 and what really went down that day, and it's like, it makes you appreciate what we all have, what we're doing right here today. So.
There's an interview. There's a show called The Sean Ryan Show. You can find it on YouTube. He interviewed Bernard Carrick, who was the commissioner of the NYPD at the time. And I highly recommend you watch that interview because it does about 45 minutes of that day. And it's a perspective of the guy who was like, one of the guys calling the shots down there, trying to get people and still trying to figure out if people were alive. It's, he talks about they thought there was debris foam, at the very beginning, they realized it was people jumping.
Wow.
Yeah. And he said you'd hear it. You'd be talking to someone like, hey, we got to get some guys over here. We got guys over. Boom. You'd hear the sound. And after a while, you knew exactly what it sounded like when a human was bouncing off the cement,
That's I'll never forget the imagery of that, the video that you saw, and what must have been going through those people's mind at that moment where they make that choice.
Yeah.
I think you're faced with excruciating heat,
fire,
burning heat, and I think I don't know.
I can't imagine. Yeah. I can't even imagine. And it's just a monumental event. I'll never forget. I was on Lake Ontario, and I didn't understand why, but it was slick as glass. There was not a boat. My phone was off, and I was like, this is eerie. Like what's going on?
Got quiet. Yeah.
Yeah, there was no competitors. I think I was the last person in the world to find out what was going on. But it was like the whole world was reacting to it.
It's one of those things. You'll never forget where you were when you first heard about it.
100%.
Yeah, it's true.
Thank you, first responders,
Thank you
for
guys.
that and all that you guys do.
Yeah.
We wouldn't be here without you guys.
It's amazing. Beck, while you're here, I want to jump back and talk about the Ike Foundation real quick. We do have a couple big events coming up. So this coming Sunday is our last kids tournament, and I think timing this is pretty good, right? Like sports are kicking in, the fall's coming in, the cold weather's coming in. So this is the last chance to get kids out. We still got slots open. People are watching and listening right now. If they live in the tri-state area, they want to come out. What's the deal with this thing? Union Lake?
Yep. So we're going to be on Union Lake this Sunday, Sunday morning. I don't know what I was just going to say. IKEfoundation.org if you want to sign up for the last event. We definitely still need captains because we've got a bunch of kids that have signed up who do not have boats. So if anybody wants to come out.
GDP said he would fish with us.
I know. They've got him. They've got him down. Yeah. So we're going to launch at 6:30. The kids are done by like 11:30, 12 for the two different age groups. So it's a morning deal. You're volunteering your time that morning to take a kid out, teach them how to fish. We're very hands-on. It's definitely a teaching kind of tournament. But come on out or sign up. We'd love to have more kids as well.
And then the last event, I guess, of the year for the Ike Foundation is the kayak tournament in October 2nd, back on what lake? Nakamixon.
Yeah.
This is a big deal because the prizes this year are pretty stout, right?
Yeah, we've got a Hobie kayak for first place.
Wow.
Dang.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm going to be in Florida.
Some
I can't
cash
go, dude.
prizes.
Damn it,
Also,
I'm gonna be in Disney.
There's crazy amounts of stuff because
Yeah.
the ladies do such an amazing job
Wow.
getting prizes together. But we always award, I think it's up to 5 or 6 places. There's tons of stuff. The meeting the night before, someone else will have a chance to win another Hobie kayak.
What?
Yeah, just for those involved in the kayak, we're going to be kind of auctioning off one. So
Well, how are they going to win that?
they can buy tickets for a chance to win.
So do you have to be registered for the tournament to buy the tickets?
Ooh, good question.
I mean,
don't actually know the answer to that question.
can you get
If
me
you
a
don't
can
know,
you get
no
me a
one
ruling
does.
on that so I can have
I guess I should make a decision on that.
yeah, I
right
need a
now.
ruling and I need a
Dave
proxy.
needs a ruling.
The ladies are probably all watching right now, texting, go, God, she's such an idiot. Why doesn't she know the answer to that?
Yeah, I definitely will have a proxy in
They're
place.
not watching.
Yeah. No, they probably are watching.
Oh yeah.
I'll get.
Oh, they got the signal Beck's on.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's
Big
Becky's?
B in the sky.
Yeah. Big giant,
Batman.
big giant B with a $sign slash like a slash.
Yeah, but this symbol, instead of the bat wings,
Yeah.
it's Becky's ass. An outline of Becky's ass in the sky, and it's giant. It's just the big cheeks.
Well, if you take a B and turn it to the right,
Oh, we know why
You're
made
right.
it.
You know?
It wasn't for the upper half.
It's great.
It's great.
It's great. What if we could get that? Can
We were
actually
talking
get
about
that
the
made?
foundation, and we somehow turned this into a
she probably has like a shock collar on
butt
their wrists.
conversation.
You know what I mean? She just goes on an app on her phone. She's like, zzz, and they're like, they got to like turn YouTube on.
Whip them into shape.
Like on their ankle or something. You know what I mean?
It's incredible.
On another note, the ticket window is open for the scholarship dinner. We are back.
Oh,
It is
yes.
happening.
Wow.
Yes.
We are
Thank God.
going to have a casino night this
Yes.
year, so we're going to have some extra fun. But
God.
the ticket window's open. Get your tables.
I was
'cause
so sick of the COVID thing where you couldn't hang out. And you know what I
When's
mean?
it going to be? Do you know?
I'm so glad it's back to
it's
normal.
that last Friday in January.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good time.
That is good.
It's
time.
I don't
it's a
remember
winner.
the exact
It's
date,
a-
but it always falls that
Country
last.
club
Classic
over here.
event. It is.
Yep,
It's good.
We'll
event.
be back
Yeah.
at the Centerton or
Nice.
the Grove at Centerton.
Now
Okay.
that's where we might put Pete falling in on loop during that, like where everybody's walking through to get their food.
Instead of a keynote
yeah.
speaker,
Right. We don't want any keynote speakers.
just that.
Just that.
We can't do keynote speakers because all you people just don't want to listen to anyone talk. So
That's a fact.
we'll just put a video in the background. You guys can just keep gambling.
Have like drowning
fake
pool. Let the bodies hit
gambling.
the floor, Pete. Going over to Gunnel.
The fall that lives on.
It's going to be on for eternity, I think.
It's
you know?
great. It's great.
At
though.
least for another couple hours.
Because it was
Like,
just so special the way you felt. I mean, it wasn't like a normal fall. It was like
It wasn't?
No,
It was
like
like,
no.
I told Becky it
No,
was.
because I was on a boat with a guy who did the exact same thing. What was it? Howard Hammond.
Howard Hammond.
That one time I was a co-anchor,
Yeah,
and he
I
pulled the
remember.
cord, and he just rolled right into the bottom of the boat.
Well, that's what I was telling Becky, Pete. It was like watching a spotted lanternfly land. You know, it takes forever to like, and you're just
They
like, what are you
hover.
doing? Are you going to land? Like, you know.
Wow.
I don't.
But you
I don't
did
know.
never even try to catch yourself. You just gracefully went. It was like a drunk
owned it.
person going.
Well, I
you know,
think
there was
we-
like
we-
no.
I just feel like we should watch it.
Yeah, for everybody watching at
let's
home, we're talking about this fall, and let's take a look at this thing.
Do you have the slow-mo version?
That's what I said.
There's
too
no
back
need
then.
for
no
slow-mo.
reach
It
for the seat or
happened.
anything.
All right,
slow
here,
enough.
here it goes. Gotta get it. Pete's thinking, I gotta get out of this spot.
Let's roll.
Can't get a
I
bite
can't believe
here.
I didn't get a bite there.
Yeah, I had enough of this.
I gotta get out
You
of here.
said too. You said let's get out of here.
Oh my lord.
Wow, perfect.
I'm cool. You sure? Yeah, I'm cool.
Favorite thing.
Camera guy came to help you.
He didn't even try to compensate. He's like, I had this ladder.
Was that
Ladder
live?
works
Yeah.
I didn't remember.
He
having
smiled. Very good that he smiled.
I watched it whip the water.
I was
That
hoping.
was graceful.
No, I
Staying
went straight
calm.
to Bruder film.
Now,
with
Dave,
this.
I think
the ladder.
you're correct.
Yeah,
on this,
Basket
though.
has
This
a
is great
built-in ladder.
combo for
Very
this
nice
fall.
feature.
Oh my God.
It really is.
How many baskets have you sold because of this?
Come
A lot of people are talking about it as, wow, look at how effective.
Welcome
that
to the
ladder
Chesapeake.
was.
No, but let me tell you something. You fall in
Yes.
42, 43 degree water.
Yeah,
Gotta get out of there.
you need to get out.
That ladder's key.
That ladder's a nice ladder. It's a good one.
He broke his cord. Broke his cord. That's
Outstanding work.
Yeah, we loved it. We loved it. Round of applause.
Did you hurt your left hip?
I didn't hurt anything. Honestly,
Nice.
like you said, Becky, I didn't contort myself. I didn't contort myself on purpose. Like I've learned over the years that when you're going down,
Just go.
you gotta go. You just you stop, drop, and roll. You know,
Right.
And you
Just go.
the harder you try to fight it, it's where bad stuff starts happening.
Because-
ribs start cracking.
Yeah.
Arms
agree.
break.
Popcorn.
See, I instantly went.
You know about how to fall. I know you know how to fall, bro, because you
Have
can't
you
skate
had some
scared.
falls?
You know how to fall.
I grew up skateboarding. So
Yeah.
you fall. I mean, that is the way. You don't fight it. You don't put your arms out. That's how
This
you break
is
your
the
wrist.
way.
Yeah.
See, it immediately.
is
Yeah,
the
you go.
way.
You want to go down like a drunk guy. Really.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
fight. Drunk guys fall down all the time. They never get
JP,
hurt.
do you
get
agree with
scrapes.
this? You used to skate too. Do you agree with this?
I mean, he really didn't try to fight it. Like, he did. it was like, I think I need a little product in my hair. And he just went with it.
One of the first texts we got was it Caleb or Lee? Said, "Did Pete do that on purpose for Bash U? Was that a bet? Did Ike pay him to do a Bash U?
may
promo?"
have.
Do you guys remember in the '80s, like Monday Night Football intro, when Mark Duper caught the pass and like spun in the air when he got hit in the end
Oh,
zone?
yeah.
Yes.
That's what it looked like. That like imagine if I had if you had the skills to put like Pete Monday Night Football.
So
like a
Pete's,
tornado.
Pete's trolling motor cable is actually on the message board, and he said, "Brosnick's right. Sometimes you do have to just give up. Sorry, Pete."
Man.
Oh man.
That might be a prize for that comment, Brian Carpenter.
That's pretty solid.
I didn't hit the boat or nothing, man. I think my backside just rubbed the rub rail. No bones impacted the boat.
Wow.
No, the water was a flood tide, so I didn't hit the bottom.
Wow.
When I went in, and honestly, I was like, it was the finals. That was my best spot. I weighed in 3 fish on day 1 off of that spot.
Good to know.
And I'm like, the tide's just right. I'm gonna jack them right. I was so bummed.
Let's stir this place up a little bit.
And so I'm like, I didn't sleep. I never sleep the night before finals.
Yeah.
I had like 2 hours of sleep, and I'm just, I'm mad. I'm like, it's just, I get in the water, and it's just like, it was nice.
Yeah, but that was about a $230 bath because you lost your glasses and your favorite hat.
I lost my glasses.
You didn't even
and
try
my-
to
Dude,
dive
you did
for 'em.
keep it. You kept it cool as a cucumber, though. Like
I know.
You, like whip the hair around. You know what I mean? And when the camera guy says, "Do you need help?" It's not. Nah, no thanks. She said, "I'm cool, man. I'm cool."
Nah, dude. Yeah, you just clumb along the rail, got to your ladder.
I was like, "Is that Pete talking?" You're like, "Nah, G, I'm good."
I got this, dog.
I'm straight, homie. We good.
Dude, it was a great fall.
But he's done it.
Done this before.
You've been embarrassed for so many years here, Pete, that like you're just not even phased.
Nah, that on the order of him being embarrassed, that's not even at the top. That's toward the bottom.
Oh, I got a lot of worse stuff.
That's
than
what I'm
that,
saying.
Man. And
Remember we dressed you up as mashed potatoes?
Yeah, we dress you up as mashed potatoes. I mean, that's probably higher than that.
No, there was never a mashed potato.
I know, but I want it to
It
happen.
might have been something or
Brian's willingness
I'm
to
still
happen.
plugging.
Somehow when we do our Ghostbuster one, Pete's the marshmallow monster. How'd that happen?
Some of the comments were embarrassing. Some dude called me Butterbean.
That ain't cool.
Going into the river,
Butterbean's tough.
Well, he's
Yeah,
a killer,
Butterbean
man.
had
He was
bricks.
a knockout master.
Yeah,
Bricks
it
for
was.
hands.
It's almost a compliment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
No.
it didn't feel like a compliment.
Pete's
Thanks for trying
Dunkin'
to save it, man.
Pete's Dunkin' Donuts on the message board also wants to know, Pete, was that your impression of the fall transition?
That's a good comment. That's a great comment. The camera guy was he was.
Yeah, shout out to him for keeping the shots.
Yeah, he faked the funk Pete because he's like, "Do you need help?" And somehow like the camera's still on your face.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
able to
Like,
angle
it was
it.
the most disingenuous "Can I help you?" shit I've ever seen, dude. Like, oh, you got a gunshot wound.
Dude, he kept saying the same thing. I'm so sorry, like it was his fault or something.
Cameron you never left dead center pan.
He kept trying to help, man. He was like trying to grab onto me and shoot at the same time, trying to work it out.
Oh, man.
He was legitimately upset, like something bad had happened, and I'm like, dude, you're a tournament angler, man. Things go south all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Your trolling motor breaks.
Yeah.
Your outboard blows up. Your batteries die.
You
your
pop a
sonar
hole in your
doesn't
lower
work.
unit.
Yeah.
You pop a hole in your and have to run 40 miles.
Blast the trim
Do
seal on
you
the way
regret?
in.
Do you regret the pedestal seat? Like, because you're gonna take that out?
No, I keep the pedestal seat, especially. I mean, I don't like to fish with it normally, But because on the weekends, especially, you got the confused seas with all the boat traffic, and Chesapeake gets nuts.
Yeah, you're right.
And you got waves coming at you all different directions all the time. So that's why I keep it in.
Yeah,
You're saying, but and probably having it there caused me to go in the water.
Yeah,
for sure.
You know,
which might have been better.
Might have been better.
Could've been.
That's why I said it was
Yeah.
kind of like like if you put like ping pong ball graphics, like ding 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 ding, like you bounced off it, like like you would have went straight back and probably cracked your head on the.
Could have very well
down in the
done
well.
that.
There's
It
gonna be
wouldn't
so
have been
many,
It worked out. It worked
so many
out,
names
yeah.
for like the reenactment video, like the Chesapeake Bay baptism. Like there's gonna be just so many.
Yeah.
The junkyard dog falls astray.
The triple Lindy.
The triple Lindy.
Remember that with Rodney Dangerfield?
Yeah.
So Pete, I think we were before the show. We were saying this is your 4th time falling in.
I've fallen in. I've fallen in 4 times while fishing.
While fishing a tournament.
Well, I remember the one
Yeah.
on the Red River years ago. That was an
now,
elite
I want to
event.
challenge back. I want to challenge Ronnie Moore to go get that footage because it never aired, and it was 2003,
That's
something like that.
It
20
was a
years
long
ago.
time
Wow.
ago.
That's when you had a blonde coif back then, dude.
Yeah, I was pretty hot.
Oh.
But I was
Pete Tight back then.
I was Pete Tight back then. I was standing so tight that I was standing on the trolling motor bracket, like balancing myself, throwing over top all this tree brush to get to a beaver dam.
Dang.
And I was just balanced up there, and once again I got flustered because I didn't catch fish on that pass that I had caught them on the previous days.
Yeah.
And I turned around and I big timed the camera and I looked at the camera and I said, I'm going to turn this boat around and I'm going to work right down this pass and I'm going to catch a limit by the other side. And I walked right into the Red River. I stepped off that bracket like I meant business right up to my neck in the Red River. And it was 50 degrees then.
It was cold.
And it was
yeah.
like, and I'll never forget that camera guy too because I was like, oh, that they like sucked the wind out of my lungs, and I see an image, and I think he's probably trying to help me,
It's Jesus
I
reaching
reach
out.
up, and the image is the camera lens that is pointed right deadpan. I mean,
Those dudes don't play, man.
Dude,
That
they
guy didn't wanna
did
help
not
at all.
play.
They are heartless.
Man. But I didn't have a ladder then, but then it was easy for me to get in and out of the boat then. But
Did it
that
keep up?
footage exists. It never made the show on TNN, but it exists. It's somewhere in the raw footage on the final day of
That's
the
a
Red
Mike
River.
McInnis
Ronnie Moore,
yeah. Got to go back to JM and
go
get
get
that.
that.
I'm kind of blaming Hank Weldon for this because he was talking about, Pete, is this your first time on live TV after day 2? And then
Damn.
your first time on live TV?
He did. He jinxed
Took
it.
a spill.
Did we even mention
Man.
yet that you got third?
Oh, and you gave third.
That doesn't matter.
Mention you got third place.
He's got a lot of top fives. That doesn't matter. That's commonplace.
Also, he did have a good derby.
He had a good derby, yeah.
Was there a tournament going on? I can't
was.
remember.
There was. Well, some other stuff happened too, though, Brian, that I feel like we should address at least a couple of the things that went down.
Uh-huh.
And the one is a Trey Swindle had a DQ.
Yeah.
He didn't even get to fish the last day. Do you want to explain that, Brian Carpenter or Rizzo? You want to explain to everybody if they're listening and
It's
they
all you,
wonder?
kid.
And by the way, who is Trey Swindle? Is Gerald Swindle's
Nephew. Yeah.
Correct.
I don't know exactly what happened. I just know he got DQ'd.
He got DQ'd.
Well, it's the same thing that Pete happened to Pete on the James.
You want to explain this, Pete?
That
Well-
they make the top 2 guys.
Show proof of insurance. You got to.
And so he was
Well,
in
it's
second.
random. It's actually random.
Oh,
Well,
it's random.
they did
don't
say in the pre-tournament briefing and in the rules that the first 2 guys each day would have to provide documentation.
But-
randomly.
Yeah.
That's a stupid.
They've
Randomly,
always said
1
it's a
and 2.
random check, but they always usually check the first couple guys.
Okay.
And
makes
So he was in
perfect sense.
second going into the last day.
and he got checked, and his insurance, and I don't know the status of insurance, whether he didn't have the documentation. I was under the impression when he was on stage at the weigh-in, it kind of alluded to the fact that he had insurance, but not the proper amount. Like
Not
I think
the
you need
$300,000
you need to have
liability.
$300,000
He had
in
280
liability
or something.
and he didn't have that amount of coverage or proof of it or a combination thereof. But
He said that on stage, so he actually came up to
he didn't say that. Hank.
Hank.
Hank alluded to that
Oh.
in a that's kind of the gist of what he was saying. So
Okay.
but I want to challenge Bass again on this thing, man, because I was so spun out when it happened to me that I had to wait. God bless Shelley for being able to find valid proof in the office at like 6 o'clock in the morning, and got it to me. So I lost 15 minutes. But mentally, I'm like, oh my God, because I had the insurance. I just didn't put the latest document in my folder, which I always keep in the boat.
It happens.
Right.
And I'm
$55
like,
ticket
why
would
am
have
I
been fine, right?
Why am I getting checked in the morning? Like, why can this process please be moved to registration or to earlier in the tournament? Because a lot of times it just it's administrative. You just don't have the right paperwork or something. And if you know that you got to provide all that stuff during the registration, it's got to be there. It's got to be up to date. And it just takes that. Do we really need that process?
Yeah, if
in the morning on tournament day, does it have anything
Right.
to do with competing in the tournament?
If it's so critical and it's so immediately necessary to know that two guys are covered, like how's that? Like, what if he didn't qualify next year to fish the tour because of this last?
Oh
day?
yeah, dude. If it's
it's a difference between probably $15,000. He got straight DQ'd from the tournament.
You either make everyone show you, or you don't ask any of it, man.
Well, the other thing to me
Was it
is
the tournament?
I heard.
I think it was it was the tournament because I jumped up from 29th to 28th after the DQ.
Okay.
That was the whole jaunt.
Congratulations, Chris.
So
job,
I
buddy.
didn't do it. I wish it didn't happen to Trey because it didn't.
No,
do
but
anything.
you're finished. I mean,
all right.
not,
So
not,
first,
not
first
the kid
things
getting-
first.
I think the rule is valid. You got to have freaking insurance. I think.
So you
Bass is
agree with
dead
that?
on.
You agree with the
I
amount?
just want to. No, I agree with the amount. I agree that they have to.
300,000.
They have to prove that they have it. I agree with all of those things.
Right.
I just want them to move the process.
But
Make you
Take
show it
it
up
up-
front like the foundation does for the Ike.
Yeah.
Oh my God, they're
you-
brutal.
it's-
They should. The Bass should hire the foundation ladies.
Becky looks at your homeowners policy and tells you what.
In my opinion, if it's
DNA samples.
if it's so important,
SSNW9.
if it's so important, you have this that they're willing to DQ the dude from the entire event. That's his entry fee. That's all his time spent. He could have been right there for qualifying for the Elite Series, won the event, made the Classic. If it's so important that they need to
But wait.
DQ him from that, then why doesn't everybody have to show it ahead of time?
I don't
Right, because-
disagree.
because
I
if
want to
you-
play devil's advocate, though. You still know you have to have this.
There
have
may
to
be
have it.
there.
Do you know what I mean?
I don't know.
And
You're
I
right.
have nothing
You're
against
right.
Trey. I don't know him, and I feel awful that this happened to him. But at the same time, he, like everyone else, has to read all that paperwork. He knows what he has to
But
have.
let
now,
me-
I don't think that Bass handles it correctly. I do agree with you guys on that. But at the same time, I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, this poor kid. You had to read it like everybody
Yeah,
else.
but that's easy to forget. That's easy to forget because
They're all
you get
300.
caught up in the tournament process, the practicing. Like, I'll give you an example. Like, you're supposed to change your Yamaha oil every 20 hours, 100 hours, 200 hours. I forgot. I changed it after 20. I got 180 hours on my motor to have it changed oil. That's something I knew that I needed to do, but I forgot because I got wrapped up
Well, I
into
ain't
the
buying
year.
that.
When you selling that boat?
I
well,
know, but
I'm just saying.
But
I'm
Trey's
just-
not new to this. He's been doing
No,
this
I
for
know.
a handful of years.
I know, but I could see
and
how
let me
he
tell
could
you,
forget.
in
It's-
January, you know what you're doing. I mean, we of all people have so much
Yeah, I don't
stuff.
know.
You know what I mean? It's a new boat. Is the Yamaha warranted? Is
I
this
think that's
done? Is
easy
this
to
done?
mess
Is
up.
this done?
Yeah.
I just feel like, and it doesn't change. So once you have your insurance set up, you just renew it every year. Bass hasn't changed these rules.
Yeah, I'm with
You're-
Becky. I'm
you're
with Becky
you're
on this.
You're
It-
100%.
It clearly
I agree
says
with you.
300. No one asks for anything less than 300. Everyone's
wasn't-
300.
Yeah,
it's uniform.
that's what I was saying. That's the
Yeah.
minimum. Every time I've gotten
Yeah, it's
it,
uniform.
And I say I have to have at least 300, they always tell me, well, that's like the lowest thing you can
Yeah.
get. anyway.
It's just
not
it's just the
expensive.
perfunctory process of checking it.
Perfunctory?
Perfunctory.
How about that?
Wow.
Dave wins a
JP,
prize.
is that an actual word?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
And I
Right,
think
bring up the
I ain't bringing up
definition of
nothing.
perfunctory. JP just challenged my integrity.
You could throw that in a rap. I don't
Is
think
that
it
like
would work.
pre-functory?
There you go.
Anyway, the point is, to just bang one guy when there may have been 10 other people with 280 or whatever amount, I don't know. Man.
I don't disagree with him being DQ'd because I suspect
How dare you?
I suspect that here's the I don't know all the details. I think the Bass, they're trying to protect Trey, and they're probably we don't know all the details which went on.
True.
Right. So
Correct.
here, let's look at this realistically. Okay, business hours opened at 9 o'clock, or around the world, wherever his insurance company is, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock.
On a Saturday?
Oh, likely. Okay, he should be able to go online or call somebody and get a printed document of his insurance coverage by then.
He did. They said he did.
They said
he did get documentation of his policy. They did say that. Yeah.
No, so what was
And
the issue? It wasn't.
They said that it didn't meet the requirement.
So there's
whatever he had didn't meet the 300,000 liability or whatever.
Right.
That's what they said.
Well, Beck, do you want to
Right.
do you want to give the suggestion that everyone should get what's the policy that you got on me? The Lloyd's of London. You have my hands
That's not
insured.
Your boat. That's not your boat policy. That's
Oh.
just on you.
But you did insure my hands. Is this a true story?
I
From
insured
Lloyd's of
your
London.
whole body.
My whole body.
Yeah.
From Lloyd's of London.
Lloyd's of London.
That's why you
they
keep.
were the
That's
only
why you.
people that would insure him.
That's why you
There you
keep
have
getting skydiving gift certificates every birthday.
I mean, can you believe they insured those hands? Look at that. I mean, what
And,
the fuck are the
JP,
What are they thinking?
JP, just so you know what your water pistol logic. Perfunctory is an adjective, and it's an act or a gesture carried out with minimum of effort or reflection. So it is a perfunctory measure to just check one or two inspections.
Wow.
All right.
Thank you, Chivato.
No, you're
Man, talk about sawdust.
So this was the
Jeez
dean.
Louise.
Chivato means traitor or rat in Spanish. I know that from Young Guns. Yeah, that's where my water pistol logic comes from, like Young Guns.
Young Guns was a
2.
great movie.
I don't remember that.
What?
Didn't it have all the boys from the 80s in it? Like
Yeah,
Yeah.
Charlie Sheen, Emilio.
Yeah,
Emilio Estevez.
the best lineup of actors of all time.
Yeah.
I don't know
Cocaine.
about that.
You probably think Adam Sandler's funnier than Will
Yeah,
Smith, right?
Lou Diamond Phillips.
Yeah, Lou Dog Diamond Phillips.
Oh, yeah.
I
Whatever.
just made it weird.
Lou Diamond
Diamond.
Yeah, you
I'm
did.
here just to make it weird.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me play this video.
Wife, he's not just clumsy. He pulled his trolling motor cord,
Here it
which is
goes.
made of
This
rope
is
most of
actual
the time.
footage
Sometimes
from the
it's
movie.
cable. It's got some cable coating, metal. And now it snaps. He has to now somehow find a way to release that
Oh,
the
this
rest
is
of the
post-
day.
That's fixing it.
Yeah, I think
To be able to pull his trolling motor up.
Backing up and just
So how
tumble.
do
I've
you-
seen
Yeah,
Ike
Pete,
do
they got
that.
this-
trolling all day.
It's really hard
this
not
is
to
amazing.
fall or at least
I
fall
didn't
in the
know what I was
water
up against.
when that happens.
Oh, no
I was
doubt.
about to go try to.
It's the last thing you expect. Hey, and I came to Pete Klusick saying he was familiar with the Chesapeake. I didn't know he was this familiar with it.
Here it
Getting
is.
up close.
Bang.
I'm
Oh,
just
no.
glad he didn't get
He
hurt.
tucks his head
That's a.
and rolls. Beautiful.
I mean, I don't know what the Russian
kept
judges
your legs
would give him, but
together.
that's
The important
a
thing
that's
is
an
you gotta throw your
8.5
arm
out of 10.
in an upward
It was
in my
more
book.
graceful than when I can.
That's, the technique is key.
The slow mo is so amazing.
Beautiful.
I had a pair of Rapala pliers, the long needle nose, and super easy, man. You could just reach in through the bracket and you
Push
just
it forward.
goose that
Push the lever
that
forward.
lever
Yeah.
forward and release the motor.
Dude,
Super
Bass
easy.
Live had your slow-mo fall up quicker than NFL did when Scott Norwood missed a field goal in the Super Bowl. They had you up almost instantly bouncing off the punt.
Oh yeah.
That's amazing.
Oh, it was crazy. Like I'm just from spot to spot. My phone is just bzz, 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 just lighting up with people text messaging me.
During the tournament?
Yeah, during the tournament.
Oh, my
it's
God.
Just it's going because they're already watching it. They're like, "Oh my God, what happened? Are you
Yeah.
okay?"
Did Shelley,
You
when
know?
did Shelley find out?
Oh, she watched it live.
Oh my God.
As did my mother.
Wow. Is your mom watching now?
It's probably.
I'm sorry. My God.
Mom, it's
You
just
can't,
coffee.
come on, you can't let her watch this
It's
one.
just coffee.
now I'm not going to say nothing. I'm done. Sorry.
just
Luzek.
coffee.
No,
I'm
mom.
going to rip on your baby.
Mom, they loved it, man. They're like, send us the link. We want to watch it again. We want to send it to the rest of the family.
We want to see Pete ball again and again and again.
Oh.
Over and over.
Oh, Jeff was great. Jeff Olson, the producer for Bass University, him and his wife were up all watching it. They lost track of how many times they watched it last night, just hysterically laughing out loud. His comment was the best. He says it's like eating candy. You just got to keep watching it again. You know, you got to keep having another piece of candy. But
Well, we'll watch it again a couple more times.
No, I've definitely.
I like the slow mo.
I've definitely probably already watched it more than like there's a leprechaun in the tree. Like I've watched it more than that one, dude.
Who wants the gold?
Show me the gold.
Who here saw a leprechaun say hey? I've watched it more than that, dude.
Oh man.
My forefather.
Oh my God! Could you imagine if there was a song to that?
Ooh, hey.
I sent it to Kane Simpson, but I don't know if his phone's on.
Oh,
yeah. I never heard back.
Oh man.
Well, we know other people. Maybe Eric. We can get Eric in on that one.
I sent it to him too.
Did you? Oh, we might
Eric
be able
almost
to-
got killed.
Did he?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
You didn't hear about that?
No.
He was in the tournament and he didn't hear about it.
Yeah.
Eric the intern?
Yeah.
Shot at in a canyon, a deep, dark canyon that he was hanging out in by himself at night.
Is this true?
True story. I just gave you the weird part.
Wow.
Yeah,
He was shot at.
Yeah, that's
Like
definitely
Gary Klein in the 2003
You
Classic?
definitely foreshadowed the entire thing to make it seem gross.
That was pretty good, Beck.
Is this true?
Yeah.
Don't mess with me.
No, he
So
almost got
Sunday
killed.
night, he's in Arizona filming for the baseball team.
Yeah.
They get done filming. You know, they go back to this to an Airbnb. This whole development. Think of like Mullica Hills mini mansions, or
Yeah.
it's like that. They're all Airbnbs. So anyhow, he goes back to the house with the baseball team, and then he goes to do his his ritual, go for a walk and look at the sky, and, burn something. and he sees these two kids, or guys, on bikes go past him, backpacks, baseball hat, and they got bandanas over their face. It's like 120 out there.
Yeah.
It was brutal.
But he still kept going to the canyon.
Yeah, and I think the canyon might have been like a drainage ditch for the development.
Okay.
But anyhow, he was in a field, pitch black, by himself, doing his thing, looking up, and he's got his big, headphones on, Beats by Dre or some shit like that. And he just got this like feeling, right? And looks, and like 20 feet away, sees these two silhouettes against the sky, and one's got their hands up. He's like, pop! Big flash, here's a sound, and he just takes off running, falling, tripping. Shot at him like 2-3 more times, and then he was like back in the house.
Oh my God.
Whoa.
Yeah, dude, somebody tried to snuff him. Either like, he was assuming, it kind of seems likely, either like gang initiation type stuff.
Yeah.
Or just some, demented scumbags trying to take a life for no reason.
Wow. Crazy.
Yeah.
Huh.
Glad he's okay.
Yeah, that's scary.
Yeah.
Wow.
Man.
Shout out to Eric.
Good thing he
intern.
can run, too.
Damn it, man.
Bet you he's going to vote for Trump this time around, that son of a bitch.
Wow. He might. That's crazy. That's crazy. Let me remind everybody, if you're watching over on Facebook, like and share that feed, and we're going to put you in a chance to win that giant gift bag. And if you got any questions or comments, send them in. I want to change topics real quick, Brian. Let's keep talking, right? We don't need to take a break, though, or you want to take a break? Okay. I do want to get back to Ryan and JayPee. I want to get back to...
We didn't even get to him yet.
I know. Well, I want to get back to what we talked about in intro, which is we have a lot of people watching that come from untraditional backgrounds in fishing.
Yeah.
And I want to hear that story more. I want to hear the story when you guys met, but even further than that, why the hell did you even get involved in fishing?
Okay.
Why did you even get started in it?
Well, so I grew up. I moved to basically downtown Chicago when I was 18.
Okay.
But I grew up about 60 miles west of there.
Yeah.
A town called Belvedere.
Yeah.
There's a smallmouth little smallmouth
So
river that goes
you
through town.
liked fishing before
Oh,
you
yeah.
came to Chicago.
Absolutely, yeah. But I was a skateboarder. All I'd done is skateboarded, fished, and played music.
Yeah.
So it was like I had an older brother that's into bass fishing.
Yeah.
He bought a bass boat when I was like 12.
Yeah.
So we'd go over the border to Wisconsin, go skip boat docks all day. He got me into that.
Yeah.
And then another brother that got me into all the skateboarding and music and stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
So it was really hard to kind of blend these two things. That's why when reading your book, I related so much because you had a similar thing.
Yes.
Kinda, a conflict of whatever you call it. But yeah, that's basically what it was. But when I went to the city, I went to play music, and I didn't know anything about fishing in there.
Yeah.
I knew there was Lake Michigan.
Right.
But it wasn't. This is like 2003, so it wasn't something that was widely known that there was great smallmouth fishing.
Yeah.
When the Classic was there in 2000, it wasn't so great.
Right.
So going there, I just started fishing the banks every day because I loved fishing.
Figured
so
it out
much.
on your
Yeah,
own.
figuring it out. That's all I did. I mean, every day after work, just run down to the lake and get on a bike or a skateboard. Usually skateboard with one rod, two rods, pocket full of baits, and that's the great thing about downtown Chicago. You can fish the whole. You got like 10 miles or more of productive water you can fish from shore, and you can catch giant smallmouth.
You don't need a boat.
No, not at all. Like we still, I mean, I have a boat. I've had a boat for a long time, but we still in the spring we go on shore.
Yeah,
it's so much fun. Like,
right.
You can walk and catch 20. JP's caught like 25-pound bags from shore.
That's crazy.
I mean, it's really incredible.
And is that because in the spring they're coming in to spawn?
Yeah, they
in the
come in, they
harbors
spawn,
and stuff.
But honestly, you can do it in the summer too.
Wow.
I mean, Chicago's pretty deep. You know, there's not a whole lot of real shallow flats. So, you know, a lot of the banks a lot of the walls on the shore can be like 10 to 20 foot deep. So they'll be there in the summer.
Yeah.
Points and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Spring is better, but you can do it all year.
Yeah.
Fall gets good too.
It's incredible to me because I want to hear some of the stories, and JP, I want to hear from you too. When you guys were fishing, like I feel like in 2003, it was a different feeling about city fishing, about street fishing than it is now. All these years later, it's more accepted
everywhere now.
But back then, what were some of the comments, or what were some of the looks that you got from people?
Well, still now, but
that can go back to like your book. Your book was huge to us because it made me go, oh, look, I could just be myself. Because I was the same way. I was hiding it from like my friends.
Oh yeah,
I was like,
because it wasn't cool.
I didn't want them to know. Like, I'm obsessed with fishing. They're like, why'd you leave that party early? And I'm like, because I was gonna go catch some fish tomorrow. Or that was the plan.
Shat spawn.
It was never normal. It's still not normal. Like in the city. Like I thought we were pulling up to Mr. Urban Fisherman here, and I find out you're living in a cornfield.
Yeah, I'm in a cornfield.
I was a little
I had to get the hell out of the cities quick.
I left Chicago too. I moved to Indiana now. So
I'm he says that's still Chicago.
Yeah.
Like, he's like 8 miles from Chicago.
Yeah.
I used to be 1 minute from Lake Michigan. I'm now like 20.
Yeah.
So, but no, it's still weird.
Yeah.
It's still weird walking around because I was like the king of getting on the train and the buses and
with a rod.
Like the first time I went unemployed.
Like 10 rods.
Basically because of fishing.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, I'm unemployed now. They're giving me a check for nothing. And I think for 60 days, every day I went like 4 miles of shoreline.
Wow.
And then the next day I'd take the bus to where I stopped and just keep going.
Wow, keep going.
Cool.
Yeah.
I think I did like 38 miles in, I don't know, 50 days, but
it's crazy. It's such a cool movement, and it's the funny thing. And Becky and I talk about this all the time. We've had the chance to go to Europe and view street fishing there, you know, and it's so accepted there, and it's so I don't know. It's like more. It's got a popularity to it, but when you come here in the States, it's still a very strange, weird thing to a lot of people. I mean, it's more accepted now than it was 20 years ago, but it's still strange and weird to people.
To you, I mean, in a lot of ways, like
you
put it on the map. And but you're right. It is getting a lot more. There was a couple spots we had that were really, really, really good.
Yeah.
For a lot of years, that guys are. I mean, they're
Oh,
there.
yeah, thanks, Dave.
And then obviously with social media, people find out about stuff
Yeah.
easier now. But
Yeah.
and there's people there. But I'm good. Thank you. In the grand scheme, there's still not. You know, you go to Lake Gunnersville.
Yeah.
And you look at fishing pressure. That's fishing pressure.
That's fishing
like what
pressure.
We have,
Big time.
You know, you got like 6 guys walking a 2-mile stretch of bank with fishing rods on shore.
Yeah.
And maybe 2. I mean, as far as boats go downtown Chicago, on a busy day, 4 or 5 boats, and that's probably when there's a tournament out of Indiana.
Wait, bass boats we're talking.
Bass boats. Yeah,
right.
Oh yeah, yachts everywhere.
Right.
You know, thousands of those. But I mean, as far as bass fishermen, it's not crazy, and it's just inconvenient. It's hard to get down. It's hard to get a boat there. It's expensive. It costs $29 to launch.
Right.
You know, it's
how much is
you
it to
gotta
launch?
$29.
Holy crap!
Yeah,
that's more than the Upper Bay.
Yeah.
And then you know, where we're at too, we don't have like, huge protected areas. There's
Right.
really nothing. There's a big jetty out in front of Chicago.
Yep.
That blocks the waves a little bit, but if it's blowing east, don't go. I mean,
Right.
you're gonna die.
Giants. Yeah.
You're gonna die.
Yeah.
For real.
You're not
it's
making it
bad,
back.
man. Yeah. It gets way worse because it's all seawalls too. The waves don't die.
Yeah.
They hit the walls and they come back.
Yeah.
There's really nowhere for those waves to die. So
Yeah.
they get really gnarly and
Yeah.
it's super dangerous. But west wind, south wind, northwest wind, southwest wind, you're good to go.
Yeah.
Get out there and catch them, and it's great. It's great fishing. But
Such
like you're saying, the interactions with people,
Yeah.
like
strange stuff.
JP's had his headphones ripped off his head before he was fishing too close to a yacht.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
You know, the questions you get from people, it's insane.
Yeah.
Like,
Thanks, Dave.
from American citizens.
Yeah.
They all, I mean, 10 to 20 times in my life, I've had someone ask me if it was a lake or an ocean. Deadpan.
Really?
They're not joking.
Oh my God.
What?
We're in the center of the country.
Yeah.
Like the most famous question is, "Oh, there's fish in here."
Yeah.
And like
Oh,
that's
yeah.
number one.
Lake Michigan.
Yeah.
And then they go, "You're fishing for bass?" And then they go, "I didn't know there was sea bass." And I'm like, "Whoa." I'm like, you're dumber than me.
Crazy.
It's wild. But
I've
yeah,
had
great
a
fishing.
lot of them. I've had a lot of those crazy.
Yeah, what's some of your
comments.
best?
Oh, I mean the same thing. You know, like, is there anything alive in here? And, you
Yeah.
know, what are you fishing
What do you
for?
say?
What are you doing? I mean, I always try to answer it intelligently at first.
Yeah.
But then as the conversation goes on, you get to a point sometimes where you throw your hands up and you're like, I gotta move on with this. I can't even address this anymore.
What are you fishing for? Blu-ray.
Yeah. Yeah. Stingray.
Blu-ray.
Blu-ray. Here's one of the cool things I do want to talk about too is both you guys were instrumental in the cast crew movement too, which we've had.
Yeah.
We've had Vince and Ray on the show before, and we love
Steezo.
Yeah, Steez. We love the cast crew guys.
Love
but
those guys. Yeah.
that was such a cool movement, and it was one of the first movements I saw that wasn't just city fishing or urban fishing, but it was actually a brand.
Yeah.
And like a feeling that you belong to something bigger than you. And I loved it. You want to talk about the cast crew a little bit?
Absolutely, man. I mean, yeah, like exactly what you just said. It was like I remember seeing, this is kind of the early days of YouTube. I mean, it was going, but
Yeah.
they started putting stuff up. And I remember Steezo had did he have like a full 4-finger ring? That said Steezo.
Yes!
Gold blinged out ring.
Yes.
And they're at ponds and just like doing all. I mean, I grew up. I'm still a skateboarder, but
Yeah.
you know, skate videos are everything to me. Skate videos and fishing videos I'm watching because I love fishing, but the artistic quality of it not the best all the time. And these guys, it seemed like they were mixing that because they were hip hop guys. And
Yeah.
a couple of them skated too. And just these clips of them just looking gangster and. You know, with their bling and holding up bass, I'm like, oh my God, these guys are in Chicago. Like, I had to find them. And then again, Humboldt Park, I ended up meeting Johnny over there, and he gave me some stickers, threw them all over my truck.
Johnny,
and, and then met JP shortly after that, and then it all kind of came together. But yeah, they really captured that and kind of brought the whole Chicago fishing scene together.
Yeah.
Like everyone that was actually urban fishing.
Yeah.
Came together through them.
A common bond.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
When he met me at that city lagoon, I had a cast crew shirt on, and he was like, "What? You've heard of this?" And I was like, "You know Steezo?" Like Steezo he was a pretty big DJ back in the day.
Yeah.
In Chicago.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know this, Dave. He was known for wearing the Stormtrooper helmet while DJing.
Whoa!
It was a thing.
He was in a pretty well-known band. Yeah.
Yeah, he was pretty big in the hip hop scene.
That's pretty cool. I didn't know that.
And then I found out he fished, and I was like, "Well, I do too."
Yeah.
And then it was like, "Hey, let's start the Wu-Tang Clan of fishing right here."
Can I be your Eminem?
It just kind of be a little gang. But yeah, it was great.
And
awesome.
JP's not gonna say this, but when Cast Crew started, like they had just kind of gotten into fishing, and they were hip hop guys, and they were like, "Man, let's do something cool. We love fishing, you know." But when JP was the hip hop fisherman.
Yeah.
Like he had a website called Hip Hop Fishing, and
That's
this is
awesome.
before all that stuff. And this was just him being a weirdo. and JP was on, Brandmeier, the radio host.
Yeah.
Huge show in Chicago. WGN Radio. He was on Brandmeier because they were like,
No
"What the hell is
shit.
hip hop fishing?" Yeah.
Whoa.
They had him on. I mean, that was the best, the top rated morning show in Chicago.
Yeah.
Do you think that
He
like?
was on-
But do you think the forward thinkers that the cast crew guys were, they maybe just trying to get some guys in that had driver's licenses? Maybe.
What wasn't me?
Oh, all right.
I didn't fit that criteria.
But when they started, they immediately started looking on the end, and they found him. And then when that came together, like JP really was able to plug them into the bass fishing world and stuff like that a little better. And,
How about that, JP?
And it kind of went from there. And they're still doing it, and they still
Yeah.
put out some cool stuff. And love those guys.
Yeah, we do too. Such a
Yeah.
cool movement.
We had them. Remember we had them in studio.
We
Dave,
did.
didn't you
That was
have-
amazing.
We
Yeah,
did.
didn't you have
Yeah.
like a mom buster challenge?
Yeah, we had a mom
was
bust
Oh,
challenge.
we just mom busted.
Yeah.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
What is a mom bust? Come on. I'm
It's like your mama jokes.
Mama
from
jokes.
Chicago.
Mama's so
You
fat.
call
Mama's
it
so
mom
fat.
bust?
Your mama's so
Mama jokes.
That sounds bad.
Yo, mama got hit by 418 wheels.
It's a mom bust.
Your mom was so fast she can eat the internet.
I mean, it couldn't be any more confusing than hip hop bass fishermen. Like, what would you get? Like 10 views a day? Like,
Yeah. Oh. Less than that, bro.
Here we go.
No, hold on. He ambushed me. I'm minding my business. Do twice.
I had sweet stickers out. That's about it.
They were good.
No,
stuff.
Hey.
In the time I grew up, like I lived with all hip hop artists. Like,
Yeah.
Right.
There was a time Chance the Rapper recorded his first. They called it a mixtape. He was sleeping on my couch, and it was
No shit.
It was a weird hip hop vibe, and I did
Are you
not.
kidding me? Wow.
I did not fit in. All right, I was the white guy that
Token
fished.
white guy.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
and they were like, "Oh, he's cool. Just don't touch the rods." They're like, "He's cool."
Just don't touch his rods.
and I don't know. I love that scene too, but I was like, I just gotta go fishing. You get addicted.
This
to
is
bass.
amazing.
Right.
Hold on. This is amazing. Because every time I think I'm done with you, you open up a new door for.
Yeah.
Chance the Rapper slept on your couch.
That's all true.
That's
Yeah.
kind of cool.
That is rad, dude. Then you've been on. You were on a podcast for years, and I never that I watched, and I never ever learned it from there.
Yeah,
He
well,
didn't get to talk much.
they wouldn't let me talk on that thing.
Yeah.
So, are
I
you
know.
still like? How did that relationship start? That he's on your couch?
I lived with 2 DJs and another rapper,
Okay.
and it was like, hey, we got recording stuff. So at the beginning of his story, he was kicked out of high school, and it was like he comes from a really good family. Like I don't think people know that. I probably shouldn't say that, but it was a good family, and they're like, you're not quitting high school.
Okay,
Yeah.
Brian. Or Riz,
Nah,
I'm
go,
sorry.
go.
Are you still in contact with him? Was it a relationship or just like a passing?
It was I have his phone number. Will he respond? No.
Okay.
Like,
I get it.
Does Mike respond when you always call?
No,
No, because you guys are pros. We
He
were never
accused me of not
bros.
sending him some videos.
I know.
and-
I did. I went back though. I apologize. They were there.
After you.
Yeah, there's a lot of like tie between like underground hip hop, skate culture, and like urban fishing culture.
Oh,
like
yeah.
there's a lot of similarities to all those, and I know that both of you guys kind of had that. You were obviously in the hip hop scene. You did. I assume you
Punk rock,
were
rock and
involved
roll.
in it. Yeah,
Yeah.
but you're both skaters as well. Like talk a little bit about that. Like why are they so similar?
I think just living in like the city, it was just a great thing.
Right.
To like keep my ass out of trouble.
Sure.
Yeah. So like I fished, so I didn't spray paint walls and smoke pounds of grass or whatever.
Just ounces. No.
Yeah.
No. But I think the South, like what you're saying, why do they tie together? It's like they're solitary things.
It's a culture.
Great
thing.
way to describe that. Solitary,
It's a solitary,
solitary hobbies.
I don't want to say sport.
Hobbies?
I mean, it's a sport, I guess.
Passion?
Both of them are
Solitary
sports, but
passion.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
activities that,
Yeah.
that you. I mean, you
You feel connected to
almost
it.
Right.
almost say
With that.
addictions. I
I
mean,
l- I love-
It's addiction for
I love
sure.
the connection to me is the like the freestyling aspect of it, right? Like when
Yeah.
you're
Yep.
skating or you're on a bike or you're DJing
Or
there's this-
breakdancing.
Or breakdancing. There's this element of in the moment you do what you can do to
Can we
make
put
that
gardening
thing
in there in a
happen.
second?
Right. And that's what I love about street fishing for me is that it's very uncontrolled and that you're freestyling as you fish.
Absolutely.
Right? And there's like casts that you make and angles that you hit and all these things that are very unconventional. And I love that.
It's all kind
I
of
love
problem
that.
solving, right? I
It
mean,
is.
Working around culvert
I need to
pipes
catch
and
a fish.
fences.
Yes.
And
I want to catch a fish here.
One day
How do I
there's a
make that
trash
cast?
mat, and the next day there's not.
Yeah.
Or on a skateboard. I really need to slide on my tail on this ledge.
Yeah. By the way,
How am I
that's
gonna do it?
one of Pete's
You know?
favorite things. Pete, you're an urban fisherman as well. You do most of it in a boat, but one of Pete's favorite things is fishing condom mats on the Schuylkill River. I know. You've told me that before. You love looking at those condoms.
Jersey whitefish.
Do you guys get the massive ones?
Yeah.
Like giant condom
Dude,
mats?
there's ones.
I've seen some like
Brian the Carpenter.
We get them.
There's
Brian
ones-
the Carpenter.
There's ones that
condom
look like them
mats.
balloons that clowns make dogs out of. I'm like, how's that even possible, dude? Like,
You know what's going on? I haven't seen one of those for a lot of years, man.
I haven't either.
A
condom?
no one's afraid of AIDS anymore. Well, no, because no one's afraid of AIDS anymore, so they don't use them.
Yeah, Magic
Is that what it
Johnson's
is?
cured.
Either they're not using them, they're not flushing them,
COVID.
or
Yeah, they went away
or
with
they
COVID.
figured a way out to filter them out before they
don't
get
know.
discharged. I don't know.
Condom filter.
Yeah.
I got
they got
I think
better
you're right, though.
condom
We don't
filters.
see them on the Chicago River
I
as
don't
much
see
anymore
'em.
either. Like, we used to see, I mean, I remember seeing, like, massive, like,
Yeah.
if the wind was blowing
Schools
into a
on 'em.
corner,
What would
you
be
get a
the-
full-on condom mat. Like, a half
most
acre.
of the mat would
Crazy.
be condoms or juice jugs.
yes.
And
Or a
Tampa.
combination.
Little hugs.
Shows.
Little hugs.
Like
Yeah.
guys fishing Tampa Bay have like man of war, schools. We have them.
Yeah,
In the
yeah.
school. You know, like.
What,
Hey,
what a weird conversation.
No, but
Yeah.
let me ask you
No, it's
something,
not that
guys.
weird.
Hold on, guys. Maybe
okay.
you all don't notice. I didn't notice. I took David out. We were fishing the other day. One of the little 295 spots, and they laugh at me, make fun of me because I don't know. Is there a freshwater jellyfish? Because I saw
There
it.
is a freshwater
Yes.
jellyfish.
No
It was
kidding,
about
really?
this
It's a
big,
constant.
dude,
There
and
is.
it was in one of those little 295 spots.
There is.
I never
Well,
saw one in
I
all
just-
these years. I've never seen one.
I'm not sure that was a freshwater one though.
Oh.
The,
Well,
This connects to
you're right.
Rapalpo Creek.
the drought is bringing jellies up, and the saltwater lines coming up in the bay. People are talking about seeing
So
jellyfish.
Pete, this is that
all
little
over the
deep
place.
hole in Rapalpo Creek that's right off
Really?
295. So I mean,
Whoa.
you're talking about a far run, man, for a saltwater jelly.
Yeah.
Giving
But there
away
are
spots.
I don't know.
Dude,
jellyfish.
I don't know if jellies are running the Yamaha up and down the lake that far. That's
Yeah,
pretty
I'm just
far.
saying. I couldn't believe it, dude.
How far is it to the ocean from like
The salt line's
northeast?
basically like the Delaware Memorial Bridge is where it really starts. You can start getting saline.
Okay.
Oh, you're talking about northeast.
Yeah, I mean,
Chesapeake.
from like northeast
Oh,
to
north.
the,
Yeah, I thought you were talking about Delaware River.
to the real salt.
Dude, they were talking. One of the guys was fishing in the mouth of the gunpowder and that made the cut, and he tasted the water. That was his test on. Am I fishing in fresh water? But he was catching bass. He was tasting the water. He's like, it's pure salt. It's like tasting the ocean.
Really?
Right there. That's
Didn't
what-
you catch a
that's what he was saying.
bluefish in the sassafras?
Yeah. Little snapper blues.
Oh yeah.
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 That was
crazy.
years
I've caught
ago.
them in.
I mean, the
I've caught 'em in
needlefish are all the
Bush
way
River.
up there. The
The
needlefish are
needlefish are
saltwater
up in-
fish.
They're
Yeah.
everywhere.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, but a bluefish, man, I never
No, that's
expected
wild.
that. Yeah. So I got a question.
Yeah, those needlefish can go F off somewhere.
We'll dive into that. This is for me and Pete. Who's Chance the Rapper?
He's a rapper.
There's a song.
I would say he's on the he's like not like
Not that I would know it.
Like
Whew,
yeah,
that's good.
he's
huge.
He's huge, man. Like
That's cool.
How do you
really,
know about him, Dave?
Because being a guy that pays attention to everything, I'm dialed into pop culture.
Yeah.
All right. All right.
Yeah.
Yes, you are.
What else
you
you want? You
shut
want,
your
you,
eyes
You
to
ask me
pop
about.
culture.
You want to ask me about Young Jeezy?
You've shut your eyes to pop culture. You have. You've closed your doors to anything. You don't want to know about.
Mike,
All right,
can I-
what-
can
It
I
doesn't
ask you
come
a
into the
question
garage.
Of course you're gonna ask me a
about
question.
Now you obviously you did City Limits.
City Limits.
You
Great
did,
show.
You fished a bunch of urban fisheries.
Yes.
What's the best one?
Oh
What-
man,
what do you think?
That's
the
a
best
hard.
urban
That's a hard
fishery
one to
is?
pin me on.
Good question.
They've all had very unique things. That's the thing I miss. I miss that show. I miss that concept.
Me too.
It was so fun because it was like every place you went, there was a different thing. You know, it was a different puzzle or a different environment.
Mm-hmm.
But I would honestly say Chicago was in my top 10 when I filmed City Limits Fishing.
That's the right
100%. It was in my top 10. I
Top
really
10?
loved it. Yeah, I did. I loved it. I loved that.
You do
fact
12
that it-
shows?
No, I did four. I did 4 seasons of
right.
6 shows a season.
Yeah.
So it was for sure in my top 10.
I think attire-wise, you rocked Cuban. Pretty much, you should be a Cuban, not an Italian.
A Cuban?
Yeah.
In the City Limit
When
shows?
you went to Miami, dude, that was legit.
I did.
When you went
yeah.
full
Oh, yeah.
Cuban.
No, I feel
you
a
had the
little
hat, the
Cuban.
clothes,
Yeah.
like, dude.
Well, I love the Latino culture.
The only
so
thing
it
missing
felt,
was like
it felt natural.
was like a mojito and a machine gun. You know what I mean?
It needs to happen again.
Machete.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, a
'cause-
machete.
Yeah, I can tell you this of all the shows that I was involved in, that was my favorite. If I could wish one back, I would wish that one back.
It was
loved it. I loved doing
Chicago.
it. City Limits.
City Limits.
That concept. It was such a fun
I'm waiting
concept.
for your top 10.
My top 10. Well, Philly was in there, of course,
Okay.
because it's a home fishery.
Yeah, do it. Top
Yeah, Los Angeles was in there because that calico fishing was so cool. It was punching mats, flipping and pitching, doing that in kelp beds that were 30 feet, kelp coming 30 foot off the bottom, and calico bass, which are
saltwater fish.
Yeah, it's like a largemouth that lives in the ocean on the West Coast.
Interesting.
That was definitely one of my favorites for sure.
That was in L.A.?
That was in Los Angeles.
Oh, awesome.
Yep.
Yeah.
Did you do that one out of a kayak?
We did that one in a boat, in a bay boat,
okay.
smaller bay boat.
Gotcha.
But it was
With
an
fish?
awesome show. Fishing with Frank Scalish in Cleveland was unbelievable, man. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in the back.
Yeah.
Catching largemouth in the harbors was a great one. I love that one. Miami was good. Pittsburgh was a great show. Man, there was, I can't even name them all. They were very, very good. But here's the thing, and I want to talk about this, and then we'll take a break.
All right.
The concept in Europe that's taken off, and you see it a lot of big cities all over Europe, is these street fishing festivals that take place, right?
I know.
Say what?
And what they have is they announce these festivals, and they have, participants from all over that area that come in and fish. Like, they get thousands of anglers sometimes that come and fish.
Wow.
Why hasn't this happened here in the States? Like,
we have way more vices than they do.
I know, but listen to me. When I close my eyes and imagine, I wanna do this. I wanna, I wanna actually create a street fishing festival here in the States. And when I sat down and thought about it, the perfect location is Chicago.
Yeah.
Like, in my mind, like my phase
That's right.
2.
Burn their spots. That's right.
Not burn the spots.
No.
Like,
That'd be
think
awesome.
about what we, this culture that we talked about. And there's so many people. To have an event in Chicago where people come in from all over the country that are from different walks of life to street fish, to fish the banks. They don't have boats. They just come to fish for a day.
Yeah.
Big money prizes, almost like a marathon atmosphere where you come and register, and there's concerts and there's music and then the day of the tournament, it's like, like a ribbon, like go. And you have to get to your fishing
shotgun,
location.
You're dodging
Blast
the
off.
gunfire, like paper. Remember the video game Paperboy? Like, you're dodging like all the bullets.
Yeah, dodging bullets.
Why are you taking them
if
to
it was big
Chirac?
enough to get a shutdown on
Yeah.
Lesser Drive, that would be incredible. Because they shut it down for marathons and triathlons all the time.
I mean,
and can't get my
honestly,
boat out there.
Yeah, but
honestly, this
anglers
is
don't have
something-
marathon runner money.
It's true.
They're all
That's
successful
true.
rich
I don't
people.
know.
But Mike, when the
No
perch
broke
run
asses are
is
running
happening in
marathons.
Chicago, it's basically a street fishing festival.
Is it really?
Yeah, I mean, a couple of the harbors up north. I mean, it's shoulder to shoulder.
Wow.
Yeah.
It used to be really huge. The perch bite hasn't been quite as good, but I mean, yeah, like jumbo, it's
why.
like 14, 15,
Yeah.
16-inch perch.
Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, it would be loaded.
Yeah.
I mean, guys getting a limit and,
Yeah.
and going to their truck, dumping,
Yeah.
coming
This is
back
something I
all day
definitely
long.
I definitely want to do it. I definitely want to
So,
do it.
yeah.
I can envision a time in the near future when
So it is like a derby format.
derby format. Yeah, derby
Yes.
format.
So,
So,
again, to bring that back to skating, that's very similar to what's happening in skate,
jam
skate,
Oh, yeah.
skate culture.
Yep. Yep.
They're now they just call them street tournaments.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, you show up at the spot, you pay money, and then you all judge each other, and you go, oh,
There's the best
he,
guy.
he killed it today.
Yeah, we got
Yeah.
10 grand. Get buck.
yeah.
Why not? Why not do that with
Yeah.
street fishing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we actually
It's a good
did it.
idea.
So we worked with a company called Half a Spot, and it was this Half a Spot's like an app where you can, you just fish however, kayak, bank, whatever. And we had a championship event in Gunnersville, and they ended up having about 30 anglers show up, and like 25 of them had no boat whatsoever. No bass boat, no kayak, no canoe. 25 of the 30 were street fishermen. And they were fishing Gunnersville, just driving around to the bridges.
Oh yeah.
And it was such It was such a cool
That's pretty
vibe.
neat.
It's probably the best way to fish those
It was
bridges.
amazing, and it felt right. And I was like, God, if we can do this in an urban environment and really make street fishing big here in the States like it is in Europe, it would be incredible. And that's something on my radar I want to do. I want to keep in touch with you guys about it because
You
Chicago's
do it in
the place to
Chicago,
do it.
I'll be there.
Okay, deal.
Yeah.
Deal. Will you be there too,
Absolutely. Oh,
Ryan?
absolutely.
Don't worry about it.
All
I'll
right,
be
deal.
I wish I knew you guys were because there's a couple skate parks like right close to us. I would have brought you guys to, but I don't know if you have your boards.
We drove by a
We drove
couple
by
of
one a
them,
couple
and
times.
they
Did
were
you see the one
empty.
down in Chester, like under the bridge?
No. Oh, is that FDR? No,
I don't
that's
know.
in Philly.
I don't.
There
no.
was one called the
I
Grove.
wanted to go to FDR.
FDR's
There's an underpass. or
FDR's got
overpass
good
skate park
fishing
there.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of snakehead. In
Where I
FDR.
really wanted to go skate was Love Park, though.
Yeah.
I know
yeah.
it's you know, you
Iconic.
probably get a ticket, but that's
Depends what time
street
you go.
skating mecca.
Yeah.
One,
Yeah, it
one of the
does.
greatest street
Yeah.
spots.
There's a
ever
park.
from the
There's a
90s,
park
so.
right on the river by one of the squares that the fish spawn in the spring. Do you know which one I'm talking about? Right by the Coast Guard
Oh, on the Philly side?
on the Philly side.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a park right there. When the tide's high, you can see the skaters skate.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, it's like right over the wall.
Oh yeah, it's right on the waterfront. That
Okay.
one I was
Yeah.
taking them to is down in Chester, under the bridge.
Yeah.
Pete, let me tell you about the tides.
Yeah.
It
Jay-
mean-
The tides.
It means somewhere they're biting sometime.
Yeah, that was great. The answer to every question. Let me tell you about the tide. JP and I fished together on day 2 of the tournament.
Oh, get out of here!
What was it? What was it like fishing with me?
I broke a bunch of stuff. You were pissed. I wasn't looking out for logs. It was great,
Dude, like
You broke the running light.
Yeah.
yeah, he broke my running light.
How did he do
Nice.
that? What did he do?
Yeah.
Good job.
He
Well,
like
he
I-
put me in a tree.
He made you
And
go
then-
under a tree, right?
And then I'm
JP,
kind of starstruck watching Pete. And I'm
Uh-oh,
like,
here
he's-
it comes.
he's throwing
Pete
it.
tight.
we
And then I just hear snap, and I'm like, oh shit, the raptor fell off.
How many times did Pete
Your
fart?
equipment, your responsibility. Oh man.
I don't know. I didn't fart.
Pete, you didn't fart.
I'm clean. The we were fishing underneath a big wasp nest or something.
Wasps.
Oh no, that was the televised. That was day 3. But we went in there too. But the people were hollering that, oh my God, if the rod hit, we were under. There was a wasp nest. I don't know. I don't even know it's there.
I don't know.
I was fishing, but we were fishing in the city. We were street fishing.
Yeah. No, it felt really natural, and I loved it. Yeah.
I
was like, he's
Have it
throwing.
to grace.
I'm like, Pete Glusick is throwing at the same crap I would throw at. And I'm
Metal,
like,
concrete, iron.
including probably the most epic fish catch of the week for me.
it was sick.
It was total street, total city. It was
Pete Street.
a
Did you
metal
hang him
bulkhead.
over some metal?
Pete Street, the king of the street. I see you rocking that street from across the street.
I'll tell you, I caught a little smallmouth out of that little river or wherever we were at. And it worked me. I was pulling an Ike. I was running around the boat, and I'm like,
yeah.
I'm like, it's not that big. But I'm like,
Their tails are giant.
I'm like, I just can't control it. And I'm like, Pete, I've caught one of these before, I swear.
I know.
And then
I've done this.
he catches one 3 times the size, and he's just, woof, woof, woof. Boom, hits the deck, and I'm
Boat
just,
flipped them.
Actually, it jumped like 4 feet out of the water. I thought it was not a smallmouth. I was like, that's the biggest largemouth I've seen in years. And it just hits the carpet, and I'm like, and he goes, and I'm like, that was one of the coolest
Beating
things
his
I've
chest.
ever seen. It was a huge fish, and I was like, I just went, Pete's gonna win this.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Spinning rod?
Oh yeah.
Well, that's because Pete's
flop
spinning
around
rod
the
is like a
spin pole.
7.6 spinning rod with like 25-pound
it's a
braid.
surf
Extra
rod.
heavy, 30-pound fluoro braid, leader on it. Yeah.
5-aught hook.
Oh, it looked just like mine.
It was awesome. It was a bulkhead. It had the tires. You know how they hang the tires from the
Yeah.
bulkhead, and it had a barge tie up, and I just threw in there. I think the fish suspended under them tires. I don't know, but the Dean's rig dropped down and just stopped, and I'm like, oh man, I know what this means. and I loaded up on that fish, and man, the casting was, and I'm like, oh man, and dude, 3-4 feet out of the water, this fish just launches. woof, and I'm like, you know, for me, the first half of the day was a struggle every day.
Yeah.
You know, coming in that high, peaking to high, and I'm waiting, and it started running, started going out, and I get this bite, and it was just epic, man. It just jumped out of the water, and it was going to come up again, and I told myself, if she comes up again, I'm ending it right now. Like, she's coming in. And sure enough, like right at the boat, she starts.
Not today.
And she comes and boom.
You kept the momentum.
And here's the deal: I loaded up that rod, and I'm like, it's bigger than I thought. Oh no!
Yeah,
you know,
you had to cross the bridge.
And I started. I was second guessing. I'm like, I hope I'm right. And I got and like her tail, like I couldn't get the whole body mass up high enough because it was a 4-pound smallmouth.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
He was small eyeing it, and I'm like, yeah, dude, that's a 5-pounder, bro. Like,
Yeah.
Dude, that's a freaking unicorn.
That's a
to
unicorn
do that
on
on
the
where we
flats,
fish on the bay.
Dude,
Like,
it was at this time of year, it's like a total unicorn.
holy crap!
And I got the body mass hit the boat and leaned in, and I'm like, yes. Yeah, you captured
Before it was even in the boat.
You could tell, like when that fish, like if the body mass would have leaning out, I was in trouble.
Yeah.
But I could just, she was in and caught, and it was just a magic moment. And later on, I was fishing down, and I'm like, well, this is happening. I'm gonna roll with this. So we kept fishing the city stuff, which I told you about, you know,
Yeah.
and I'm like, there's some fish moving around here, and I went smallmouth fishing, and I went around this one riprap, and I'm like, man, there's a springtime pre-spawn spot, just 3 cast up, you know, I'll just keep going, and I was in desperate because I had a fish in the box that just was a line, it touched the line, and I was like,
burner.
if I have to, I'll take her up to weigh her in, but I didn't think it would make it.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting on 5 with that one that I'm concerned about, and it was awesome. The Dean's rig, I start to reel it in, and donk, it catches it on the way up, and I jacked it, and again my rod goes woof, and I'm like, no, can't be another. And sure, it was like a 3.5-pound largemouth this time.
Wow.
And
Crazy.
and I swung that one in the boat. I got rid of the short, you know, that was like just barely touching, and that was the bag that I caught that day.
and,
Nice.
and do you remember right then you threw a Rick Clun quote at me?
I did.
Yeah.
What was it?
It was like a long Rick Clun quote, and it
Be
was,
naked.
Hold on, wait. Let's get some guesses. Dave, what's
Magic mushrooms.
It was
Would you like to guess the
Get in the water.
Leave only footprints.
No, I don't have anything.
it was fear the man who fishes with the same ferocity in the first hour as he does the last hour.
Oh.
That's the man to fear. And then you looked at me, and I was like,
Yeah.
Sounds
good.
I'm like, let's do this.
You can really do it.
Well, hold on, Pete. Did you invent that proverb?
No, that's a Rick Klein quote.
That's
Oh,
a clang.
okay.
That's Dickie Clang.
Yeah.
Because it sounds similar to my favorite one, and it said, "Fear the old man that does the job. Men die young." It reminded me of that when I just heard it.
What about the Carl Jochimson one? Fear my heart.
In my hat.
Fear my heart.
Tommy Kangaroo.
You sound like William Wallace. Like, we will go to battle.
Scottish. JP comes light though. I'm telling you, he's a street fisherman.
Oh yeah.
All the way. I mean, he had like you know how you had carry
Army fatigue hat.
packs of Senkos. This was the best. Like
Rambo jacket.
You might have green pumpkin and watermelon, and you got to travel light. So you'll have like 5 or 6 different colors. He had one Yamamoto pack with all different colors in it.
Yeah, just the whole thing.
Yeah,
So
just-
one bag.
He had a little backpack that was it's smaller than the Ike Live bag.
Like a merce. A merce.
It was like
Smaller than
he
that?
was so
It
light,
is. It
man.
is smaller than that, yeah.
And he was just. I mean, I'm like, where's your tackle? I
Well,
thought to myself, where's your tackle?
To be honest, I fished out there all week, and I
Yeah.
had 3 bites. So I was like, yeah, get rid of all this crap. None of this is working.
I'm gonna drag this, and that's it.
Yeah.
No, but you made it. You made a check
I did.
in that
I did.
tournament.
Hell yeah.
As did my day one partner, made a check in that tournament as well.
Thank you, Pete.
They both caught
Yeah,
limits
that's awesome.
in that tournament, which was
They take any ones you needed.
well, you know, yeah.
That's
especially JP.
Yeah, he sucked him up.
There was a moment I felt really bad.
We had a moment. It was a moment that probably nobody had on the
Is this where
bay.
JP cost you the win?
Yeah, this one.
Is this where JP put a nick in your trolling motor strap?
No.
I didn't know we were going to this already.
I was fishing. Well, you tell the story. What happened, JP?
All right. There was these little rock jetty things that we fished 600,000 this week. I've never caught a fish off them all week. All right, Pete throws up. He catches 2 off a corner of one. And one's bleeding. And he's looking at the short one again. He's still doing that. And he's in the live well. And the boat totally goes past the point. The back end swings at it. And I'm just standing there and I fired at it.
Dunk.
Yeah.
1-8.
Don't feel bad, buddy. You didn't do anything wrong.
How good was it, JP?
And I was just happy. I'm not going to zero. But then he's still down there, and I'm still looking at it, and I fired again. And I'm like, I can't believe I got 2 bites in a row. Like, that hasn't happened in
But how good
7
were they?
days
How
out
good
here.
were they?
It was like 1, 2, and 1, 5.
You couldn't have used them. They wouldn't
You
have
caught a 5?
I don't know.
They were pounding and halfers.
Yeah,
they were
I
solid,
feel like
big bellied fish. Or they were solid keepers in this tournament.
Pete,
you know?
I'm sorry. Like I've not been sleeping well since that. No, I thought
they wouldn't have won that tournament for me.
No, it's at least like it was 7 more grand.
Because
I'm sitting there doing math after you.
Damn, I didn't think about that, JP. That would have given me second place.
No, and the rest of the day I'm like, just Pete hates me. Then I broke the light. I didn't break the light. The tree broke the light. But I'm like,
$7 grand. 7 grand's nothing.
What's 7 grand?
What's 7 grand?
I'll pay you
7,000.
back.
Cares? It's no problem.
No, and then I was like, all right, I'm not
then?
throwing at anything. Even if it's in my zone in the back of the boat, I'm like, I'm not throwing anything he throws at ever. I'm like, this is important.
Whiskey's good.
Nah, it was fun fishing with you. You did nothing wrong. You have nothing to feel bad about. That was unusual, though, that rock. I mean, we caught 4 keepers in 10 minutes.
Yeah, I had 2 while you were still sitting in the live well. I was like,
I know.
That doesn't happen.
What's that? Hava de Grace condos? Is that what that was?
No, that was in Northeast. It was a rock corner in the Northeast, and yeah, they were just like they were there for a moment. You know, I fished that on day 3, and I fished it twice on day 3, and they never showed up in that spot again.
JP had already caught him.
I have so many ideas right now of where you might have been.
Ideas. I have an idea. We should take a break.
That's a
right
great
now.
idea.
Man, I hope you're enjoying the show. I hope you're having a wonderful Sunday. Hang in there with us. We got Ross Gordon from MTB joining us, and we're going to be doing a live unboxing. Plus, we got more stuff going on. So hang in there with us. Yes, we do. Hang in there with us. When we come back, more Ike Live.
You know, right now where we're standing, we're in Camden, New Jersey.
Yeah.
Philadelphia is right there. This is the concrete jungle. And, you know, a lot of those kids, as they grow up, they don't fish. It's interesting because they're surrounded by water. You know, the Delaware River, the Schuylkill, ponds, city park lakes. But they don't have the influence to cast, to fish, to have a rod and reel. And that became our focus, you know, is to target kids in what we call non-traditional areas, you know, urban areas, city centers, where the population's high, and let these kids have the experience. You know, it's amazing. I mean, some of the experiences we've had, whether it's Central Park in New York City, here in Camden, other parts of the country, even just casting.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable to see it, isn't it?
Yes.
It's unbelievable.
Yes.
And you know, you see these kids have this experience they've never had, and they light up, you know? The big thing, I think, for the Ike Foundation is we're not saying we want all these kids to become professional anglers.
No.
Be great if some of them did, but we want them to have that fishing experience because it ties them to so many other positive things. The outdoors, nature, conservation, ecology, All these amazing things in life that maybe they wouldn't have been exposed to any other way. We're trying to help with that. So it's important. It's important for us. We're proud of it.
Four and a half inch drop shot worm, Bama bug. Finesse jig, PB&J, give me something hard. Hey, KVD here. Now, I didn't always know this much about fishing. 4-aught EWG worm hook. In fact, there was a time when I couldn't tell the difference between a jerkbait and a stickbait. But then I signed up for Mystery Tackle Box, the original monthly tackle subscription. And now I know more about fishing than I do about calculus.
And he knows a lot about calculus.
Plus, I get amazing extras like free fishing magazines. October 2016. Featured article, 4 places to throw a frog. Exclusive decals. Zombie bass. And how-to videos for all the great baits I receive. How to tune a crankbait. Is that underwater footage I smell?
I got goosebumps.
So if you're looking to develop enhanced fishing abilities like me, or you just like getting new tackle every month, go to mysterytacklebox.com and get your box today. Ooh, live minnows. Is it lunchtime already? Nature's candy. Oh.
At Founders Brewing, we asked ourselves, what if we brewed a beer perfect for any occasion? A beer that makes a weekday feel more like the weekend, and the weekend feel more like an adventure. What if we brewed a beer that brought us together and allowed us to be ourselves? A beer that is just as much of a companion as it is a reward at the end of the journey. What if we explored the unknown together and found a new way? What if we celebrated taste and flavor and life's simple pleasures? And what if we brewed a beer that could go where you go without slowing you down? What if? Founders All Day IPA. Low ABV and full flavor that goes where you go. Chase your what if.
All right, Brian, Torquedo today. We've got the Ike Live tiny boat out. I want to tell you, this is not just for electric-only reservoirs. It's for other things as well. Today is a great example. Where are we? What are we going to take this thing through today?
The Upper Susquehanna.
Upper Susquehanna River.
That's right.
Current, rock,
Lots of
nasty
it.
bottom,
Yep.
and we're going to use Torquedo.
Everybody else running jet drives. We've got the rock guard on the Torquedo. We're going to some small spots. We're
Yep.
gonna get in there. We're going to make it happen.
There you go.
Let's go.
Shallow water, speed, strength, power. Come on, let's go.
Consistency. All right, Rich.
And here we are.
Take it away.
We're back on another brand new Ike Live show. Just wrapping things up here from the quick intermission. All the amazing sponsors we have on the show help keep the bills paid.
I was going to talk about the long line at the bathroom.
Oh, and there's a really long line at the bathroom. And we're just
all
enjoying
day
some
Founders, all day chill day is
all day
delicious.
chill day Founders.
Delightful.
It is delicious.
Mm-hmm.
And here we go. Dave, the floor is yours. Welcome
It's not
back
on.
to a new Ike Live.
What do you want to talk about?
I don't know.
You know, we can talk about anything we want right now. We're on a live podcast.
Hey, Mike.
Hey, Mike, what should we talk about?
Mike, we're live.
What should we talk about? Before I get us in trouble.
Done been live.
I know. Folks at home, welcome back. I hope you're having a wonderful Sunday. I know we are. Brian, what's going on? Has football started? Eagles played tonight, I guess.
They won.
You're asking the wrong person, dude.
All
I'm
right.
trying
Eagles
hard.
won
My
as
son
hell
watched
to
it.
know
Yeah,
any
my
of
son and his buddy watched it.
So football started. All that stuff's going on. At the end of the day, you know, we just have the show when we have it. So hope you're having a wonderful Sunday. So excited to have the Chicago crew with us tonight. It's great to have these guys. And Pete, man, the stories of the Open have made this show. It's awesome. I love that. I love that, you know, your 3-day experience has really converted to a lot of great talk tonight.
Well, we all did good.
Yeah.
It's Chance the Fisherman for me, dude.
Yeah. Well, I was excited.
Everybody, the Riz got a check. You
Yeah,
got a check.
I
in
was
that
happy
tournament.
with it,
GDP,
yeah.
another one of our boys.
Yeah.
Locally,
It was good.
It was fun.
It was good. Couple quick housekeeping things. Shout out to Brandon Polnick for winning AOY this year at BASS.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Awesome.
Because he don't win enough.
Nah, but he's on that baby pattern. He had a baby, and good things happen. You know what I mean? So that was awesome.
Is that his second AOI?
Second AOY. Dude, that's very, very hard
That's
to
amazing.
do. That's very, very hard to do.
Yeah, he's
you
good,
know?
man.
High consistency.
He's going to win a classic, too. I got to tell you
yeah.
that he will. You know what I mean? He's one of those dudes where I look at, it's hard because everything's got to line up. But I can almost like bet money that he'll win a classic.
For sure.
I feel like that.
He
You know
wins
what I mean?
too often to not.
He's very, 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 very good. He's very good.
It was the Mississippi River, which is the last tournament.
Yeah.
Where it happened for him, and it was, I remember Mercer, who by the way just does such an amazing job at the weigh-ins.
Yeah, he's good. Yeah.
Anyway, he was talking about the mental toughness because Brandon was a wrestler, and the story that he told about his second state championship where he got injured with a bad broken arm in the match. He was ahead on points, and the bone was protruding.
Ooh.
And this is the story, and Brandon had to coordinate with the official and his coaches to be able to continue the match.
He had to ride out like the last 30 seconds. He was ahead on points.
Yeah.
But they
wanted to close it down because
And
of
he
his
would've lost,
injury,
yeah.
and he would have lost.
He would've
had
lost.
to
Right.
default, but his mental toughness shown there, to be able to continue to compete in the face of that. He faced that on, I believe it was the second day of the Mississippi River
he did.
tournament.
Yeah, he did.
When the wheels were off the bus, man. Nothing was happening.
Yeah.
And it was just an incredible testament to Brandon. Brandon's mental toughness.
He's
So
also
congratulations to him.
He's also lucky he was in Idaho back when it was run by men, because no other state, New Jersey, wouldn't let you go with a bone sticking out of your arm. You know that.
Yeah.
Like Idaho was like, that.
They had to tape it up.
Yeah, that
They
Wild
taped it up.
West gunslinger shit, man.
He'll be all right.
He'll make it.
Rub some dirt on it. Tell your girlfriend.
Yeah.
You're gonna. You know the guy who was the ref also ran the rodeo the next week, and he's like, as long as you
Same
make
guy.
that rodeo, you can keep
It was
wrestling.
the same guy. It was definitely the same guy. No
Tell
doubt.
Mama 2 servings of cornbread tonight. You'll be all right.
Exactly. Let me remind you, if you're watching over on Facebook, like and share the feed. If you do that, you're going to be entered in a chance to win the world famous Ike Live gift bag. And Brian the Carpenter, I got to tell you, what a great show. What a perfect show. We've got Chicago guys on tonight.
Hell yeah.
We've got these guys talking about untraditional angling, untraditional fishermen. What a great show to have on Ross to talk about Mystery Tackle Box.
Absolutely.
Because I feel like that's a great fit to getting to new anglers, getting to young anglers, getting different anglers.
Yep.
And Ross is from not a traditional environment either. So
From Chicago.
Chicago area. I feel like it's a great night to have Ross on.
That's
So-
right. And he works with Ryan and JP. And
Yes, it's perfect time.
It's
So if you're watching, MTB's been a long-time supporter. I want to say from the very beginning of Ike Live. And we're so excited to have Ross on again. We've had him on several times, but we can't wait to have him on again. We've got Ross Gordon on from Mystery Tackle Box joining us here on Ike Live tonight. Yes! Ross, what's up, man?
What's up, guys? Hey, I don't know if you can hear me. I'm staring at the side of Ryan's face here.
Oh,
But,
how's it look? Nice. How's it
I mean,
look?
He looks way better from that. Oh, there we go. What's up, guys?
There you go. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. I'm honored to be here with some awesome Chicago anglers, and looking forward to it.
It's great to have you on again. All right, first things first. We've really been on this thing tonight about untraditional anglers that don't fit the mold of a kid that grows up in Texas or Louisiana or Florida. Talk to me a little bit about that. Mystery Tackle Box to me has been instrumental in reaching non-traditional anglers. Tell me about that. What does that mean to you? What is a non-traditional angler?
Yeah, that's a really good question. Well, I'm Jewish. I don't know if that counts for something.
That does count. Of course it does.
Growing up, I was like the only Jewish kid who fished, but that was a joke. But anyways,
well, I mean, it was Jesus. He caught a few.
But yeah, so for me, like I grew up in Minnesota, but I grew up fishing, mostly panfish and at ponds and stuff with friends. And I didn't really get into bass fishing until my mid-20s. Early 20s or something like that. From watching YouTube, actually starting to hit up the perch runs in Chicago. You guys were just talking a little bit before about the perch run. So I'd go to like Montrose Harbor, fish for perch with friends, but I didn't really pick up my first baitcaster until I was probably like 22 or 23. And then once I got into bass fishing, I sort of went off the deep end. But the whole experience was just so overwhelming to me coming into the sport and learning like just, everything about all the lures and techniques and all that stuff. And so as I got more into it and started to think about, there has to be a better way to try all this stuff. And that's where the idea for MTB came from. But I got into the sport and I started going to, ICAST and seeing all of the trade shows and all the, the booths of all the other brands and whatnot. And it was clear, I was like, whoa, this is a whole different world. And I just come from a very different background, whether it's my fishing knowledge or whatever. And everyone in the beginning was like, this is a terrible idea. Mystery tackle box is not going to succeed. Nobody wants random tackle. Like, you should just quit now. But for me, it was like, it was awesome, the whole experience, and it's what I needed, and just kind of kept pushing through. But I think part of MTB sort of stands from coming from that non-traditional background. Had I grown up, really in the sport, I don't think I would have had the idea or the passion to push it forward. So I think that's an interesting connection.
I love that. I think everyone here, we've got all the Chicago guys here tonight, and of course we've got the Philly guys here tonight. We can really relate to the fact of feeling like outcasts a little bit in the fishing world. And, I remember being a kid and reading Bassmaster magazine, and you would hear these guys do these articles like, like fishing was such a thing where they could walk down the street, go to a tackle store, their brother, uncle, cousin, everybody fished. And I felt like an outcast because I didn't have that. And I really love the fact that MTB has provided a way to get tackle to people that are outcasts, right? Like people that don't have a tackle store right down the street. You don't have your 13 cousins don't fish, right? This is a great way to get tackle. I love that. And Ross, we've talked about it before, but growing the sport is a big thing that we've got to do. You guys have really helped tremendously with that. How many people can we still reach that we haven't reached already? That's a great question for you. Can we still grow the sport? Can we still reach people that haven't been reached about fishing?
Absolutely. COVID was obviously kind of one accelerant for the sport, however many, millions of new anglers came into the sport for COVID. But even when you take a step back and you look at what percentage of the population fishes, it's still relatively small, right? There's millions and hundreds of millions of people who've never picked up a fishing rod. And I think that's what makes, what Ryan and JayPee are doing so cool. You guys talk about cast crew. Like, these are ways that the sport is going to connect with different groups of people from different cultures, different backgrounds, and it makes fishing cool. And like, that's how we have to grow the sport. Fishing has to look cool. If fishing doesn't look cool to people who haven't tried it, whatever cool means to those groups, like, it's going to be super hard to get them to give it a shot.
I don't think I did a good job at making fishing look cool when I fell in this. I may have set us back a few.
I disagree, Pete. You made it an action sport.
You did. You made it an action sport.
That's entertainment.
Yeah, Ross Pete wants to request a scuba gear put in the next MTB. Either a snorkel or a mask or the little nose things. If you could put those in.
Goggles,
earplugs,
easy snorkel.
Pete, for what it's worth, the first tournament I ever fished, it was an MTB tournament on Lake Geneva. It was actually with some of the cast crew guys. I actually fell in the lake in the middle of October in Lake Geneva trying to get off the boat, and I mistimed the dock jump, and it was a bad scene. So I feel your pain, man.
I appreciate it.
See, Pete,
I need the support.
You're changing the world, and you don't even know it. You are. You're doing a good job, Pete.
I just fall in every time, I guess. I still think Ronnie Moore might have, for ratings, he might have, shaved the cables. He might have had some henchmen come in and work on the boat.
He may have. He may have.
Ronnie Ronnie shuddered when you said bitches on live.
Oh,
I didn't even know I said it.
Oh yeah, you pointed.
Let's
He's
go,
Very
bitches.
aggressive.
that's a kind of a common word though now. It's like
Yeah.
damn or shit.
You can say it
I
on
think it's
TV.
right
Yeah.
there. Yeah. Yeah, that's TV.
I mean, the
acceptable,
American
right?
Kennel Club throw it around all over the place.
Maybe there was a pack of dogs up on the bank. Pack of dogs.
All right, Ross, I got to corner you on this. You know, this is like live. You got to tell the truth. And this is, you know, we're a little controversial, but I have to ask you this. In an era where a lot of companies are running from brick and mortar, they're running from storefronts. You guys made a giant move this year. I loved it. I was watching from afar. I'm like, this is genius. But a lot of people don't get it. A lot of people think it was dumb. I just got to corner you with it. Give us the background on this. I think it's great because I see the connection that you guys are trying to make. But do you want to talk about this at all? Is this something you want to talk about?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So we couple months back, we opened our first retail location for Carl's. We opened it in the Fort Worth area in the West End Shopping Center down there, and it was our first sort of flagship location. And we're opening our second store in the Mall of America next month. And the whole idea behind the store was we sort of looked at the market. We looked at, you know, how all the different players are selling today. You have the small kind of tackle shops that are near lakes, sort of near fishing access points, and you have the big box stores that are kind of these destinations outside of the city. And we said nobody's really building fishing experiential stores sort of like in densely populated malls where there's already foot traffic. And you talked before about bringing new people into fishing. We thought, like, what better way to kind of grab some eyeballs and find these highly populated shopping centers and build a really cool, like, experiential kind of fishing format store that's, you know, smaller footprint, curated, but like uses technology. We have some really cool technological stuff we do in the store. Really fun, inviting experience. So that's what we're trying to do. You know, it's still an experiment. It's been a couple months, you know, TBD on how it all turns out, but we get bored when we don't try new stuff. And this was sort of the next thing on the docket.
Man, I love it. I love it. When I saw that, I just couldn't help but to like sort of like laugh in happiness because it reminded me a lot of, I took a trip about 6-7 years ago to Japan, and in Japan, fishing is giant. It's like this subculture of Japanese anglers that just love this sport, and it's like they put their soul into it. And there are these little pop-up tackle stores in Japan that reminded me a lot of what you guys are doing. And it's this environment when you walk in the store of it's you in this fishing palace. And it reminded me a lot of exactly what you guys are doing. And I real quick, round of applause, Ross, for opening these stores up because it's genius. It's genius to me. I love it. How's the success been in these openings?
Yeah, so far it's been good. I mean, there's been one store and it's been open for, 2.5 months. So it's a little too early to tell. The grand opening was awesome. We did a meetup with some of our social media influencers. There was a line like around the block. The heat wave in Texas probably didn't help. They got a little slow for a week or two there, but it's starting to pick back up now. And super excited for Mall of America. I grew up in Minnesota. I grew up shopping at the Mall of America as a kid. I've been talking about doing a store in the Mall of America for probably 8 or 9 years. And I think the only reason we're doing it is so everyone gets me to shut up. But I'm super excited about that one.
That's awesome.
So cool.
I was going to say, don't tell Becky that you're opening up one in the Mall of America because she loves that mall. There's I can't remember the department store. It's like a
Gucci.
Yeah, no, it's like it's either a
Fendi.
No, it's either
Dior.
a Saks or a Nordy's, but they have a Chanel store in the Saks or in the Nordy's, and Becky loves that Chanel
Nordy's.
store.
All right, so next time you come, you drop her off at Chanel. You come chill at Carl's.
I'd like that. I'd like that.
Well, I got a question for you, Ross. This idea of MTB, did you get it from other? I don't remember anyone else giving like a multi-variety like surprise package until you guys. Did someone do this before you that you got the idea from?
So it's interesting. We're actually celebrating our 10-year anniversary. So this past August was the 10-year from shipping our first box, which is crazy.
Right on.
Thank you. So when I first had the idea for the company, I didn't realize that there was all these other subscription companies for like makeup and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And so I had the idea for MTB, and I'm just like, well, shit, it would be cool if people were sending me tackle, and I was Googling it and researching, and then I came across like a company called Birchbox that was doing it for makeup samples.
Yeah.
And it turned out the company that was making the packaging and the design for Birchbox was like literally 5 minutes from my house in Chicago, like literally down the street from me. So I called them up and I was like, hey, I'm thinking about this. So they kind of talked me through it. And then I started to see, subscription boxes for snacks and dog toys and like literally everything. So it turned out there was kind of like this boom happening at the same time as MTV that I didn't realize.
Right.
And it was kind of a fortunate time to start it. And a lot of those companies kind of went out of business. People are trying to do a subscription for everything. And, it doesn't always stick, but for whatever reason, this one is stuck, and we've been fortunate.
That's awesome.
See, I thought you were like the originator of it, because then like after you, like years later, like in the military law enforcement space, there's Tac Pack and there's Primal Urge with snack sticks.
Right.
Yeah.
And,
Wait, hold on. Ask me the question again. Yeah, I'm the original.
Yeah,
That's right. You got to take credit.
Yeah.
How many years did you say you've been doing it? 9 or 10?
This is our 10-year anniversary. In
So
August.
maybe for some marketing material, the Mac Attack had a good idea. You guys should put an MTB and have a sticker in the box, but the sticker is Pete falling out of the boat.
Yes!
Oh my God. For a
That's
10-year
great.
anniversary.
10-year anniversary.
How about
Pete
a Scuba
Cannibal.
Pete action figure?
Yeah, Scuba Pete action figure.
Pete's already trademarked that still shot, Ross. You're in trouble.
We got the poor man's copy.
That's
right here.
awesome. I'd be like the Happy Meal prize in the mystery tackle box.
Well, like an action figure of you upside down, just an action figure of Pete, like
Water not included.
You remember we used to get them like back in the day, and you had to put like baking soda in them.
and they grew.
Yeah.
Oh my
Put
God.
it in the bathtub, and it would like raise up.
Like what about like
Remember that
what
shit?
about like a 5-inch Stretch Armstrong of Pete, like in that position? That'd be kind of neat, right? Legs stuck together, just.
Well, Ross, I love the Pro Box that I get, and my son this year has really like exploded into fishing, which is awesome.
Hell
And
yeah.
he's bringing some of his buddies with him, and he just turned 13. His buddies are like 10, 11, 12, and now every like we deal out. It's like, we open
Slinging.
up the mystery tackle box and we like let one pick one lure, give it to the other, one of his other
have to
buddies.
split
gets
it
one.
out.
We split it out.
Wow.
And
Wow.
you're building my neighborhood kids collection of lures right now. So
That's
Awesome.
Thank
That's
you
what I
for
like
that.
to hear. Yeah, convert their allowance into tackle from MTB. I love it.
Oh,
Hold on.
hold on a second, JP. And
I'm not
you're
even
out.
on.
Brian messed you up.
Oh,
All right, go ahead, JP.
You know
You had
what?
me off.
Yeah,
What's up?
he had you
For
off.
young anglers, it's probably the greatest concept ever.
It's a great concept. It's a great concept for young anglers. Vegas, my son, same thing as Jake. But here's the interesting thing. For old anglers, it's just as good. So my Uncle Don,
Yes.
who's literally, my Uncle Don is 71.
No kidding. Really?
Yes, he is. Uncle
Shout
Don,
out to
he
Uncle-
looks, I know, shout out to Uncle Don.
Yeah, I saw Uncle Don and your mom at the tournament. It was
Yeah.
nice to see. I haven't seen him in a long time.
Uncle
But
Don's
I can't
se-
believe he's 71.
He's 71, but
Holy
Uncle
crap.
Don's an old guy, and he loves his MTB. Like,
awesome.
I love that dichotomy where you've got the young guys, the old guys, the guys in the middle, and you
very
almost
perfunctory.
you almost get to the point where he can't wait to get it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
Yeah.
Uncle Don literally calls me or texts me. He's like, "Yeah, I got my box." You know, and he starts going through of what the new things in there are, and
Yeah.
it's interesting because there's stuff that comes in that box that I wouldn't buy.
I
or
got
wouldn't
I got a 1 ounce blade bait in this last one.
exactly
No
right.
kidding, really?
Stuff
Yeah.
that's unique.
Yeah, I mean, for the stuff up north,
Yeah.
60, 80 foot of water.
Ross, talk a
Here,
little bit.
I got that one right here. Is this what you got, Brian? Well, you can't see. It's blurry. That one?
That's it. Yep.
Yeah.
Ross,
No
talk,
kidding.
talk about that a little bit.
15
'cause
sixteenths of an ounce.
I think that's a great topic, which is how do you guys come up with the lot? Because it's such a cool, versatile assortment of different baits. Talk a little bit about that. How do you come up with what's in the elite box or the pro box? Is there a system? How do you guys do that?
Yeah. So first, in terms of like your point around trying stuff that you would have never bought, I think that's a big part of the fun for MTB, because the thing about fishing is we all get stuck in our ways, whatever our
Yeah.
confidence bait is, and we just kind of lock into that. And there's so much tackle out there, and there's so many new things coming out. And it can be overwhelming to decide what to buy. And you're kind of walking through the aisle, and at some point you just kind of give up. You're like, whatever, I'm just going to get the Senkos and the Ned rig and call it a day. And this sort of forces you to try it. And that's what we hear from so many of our subscribers is like, hey, I never would have tried this bait, went out and tried it, caught a bunch of fish, and now it's my confidence bait. Like we hear that all the time. Like every day someone emails us something. So we have a team of 4 or 5 people, and they're same guys who've been with us probably for 6 or 7 years at this point. Obviously at this point we have relationships with like all the big brands. We go to all the trade shows, ICAST, and so it's a really good opportunity to see like what's everything in the market, what's coming out, what are the things that brands want to promote, what are some things that our team thinks is maybe interesting that people haven't seen before, haven't tried, and they're just kind of sifting through all that and figuring out like how to coordinate the boxes. And then we actually built some technology on the back end that sort of tracks every product we've sent to every customer. And we try to make sure that we send every box we send them is as unique as possible based on all the new stuff we get in. So if we sent you, a jig and a blade bait or whatever it is last month, we try to score your box this month where you get something a little bit different. So we're always trying to like think about how does technology play a role in tackle discovery, which is I think something that makes us a little bit different. But so it's pretty much just looking at everything out there, seeing what's cool, and then the team just tries to figure out, okay, like, well, what goes well together, what time of year is it, and see what happens, see what sticks.
Very cool.
Tackle discovery.
Tackle discovery.
What a cool term.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Pretty incredible vocabulary.
Yeah.
What was that word you used earlier, Dave?
Perfunctory. And Brian used it incorrectly, making fun of me. Perfunctory? The only way an MTB would be perfunctory would be if you expected and knew everything you were going to get and had absolutely zero use for it. Then it would become a perfunctory item.
Right. So
That's
it's
the only
not.
way.
It's the opposite of perfunctory.
So you used it.
It's anti-perfunctory.
No, but the way you used it, I'm just saying the only way it could be that was what I just described.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ross.
Brian's been up for 3 days.
Thank you, Webster.
Let's
It's amazing because my house, the roles have flipped. Everything's upside down. fucking Dave's schooling me on everything. When we were in school, it was different. But here we are.
It was opposite.
Cheers.
This is a weird world, right?
Oh, shit. Yeah.
It's a weird world.
It freaks me out.
All right, Ross, last question that I'm going to corner you on with these Ike Live questions. You guys have been cutting edge in everything, from the MTB system to the storefront. What's next? I think I ask you this every time. What's next?
Yeah.
Will you give us a sneak peek?
Yeah, honestly, the store is kind of where we're focusing right now. We just did our first. We're launching our second. We know there's a lot at stake to get it right and to figure out like how it grows and evolves. So we don't have any like major new things on the horizon aside from kind of like launching the store, getting that right.
Yeah.
And then just continuing to refine like what we've built. We have a lot right now. We've kind of hit that point. Honestly, this year at 10 years, we've taken a step back and it's like, wow, we got a lot going on. We have a lot of things to focus on. Where do we focus our attention to make sure we keep doing things right with the stuff that we have, which I think is an important part of success too. It's not just about launching new stuff. So I think right now it's really thinking about that, but there's always new one-off stuff we're looking to do. Like obviously we've done some cool collaborations. We did the Tightrope stuff with JayPee.
Yes.
It's been awesome.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
My favorite piece of content we've ever done so far is the documentary we did on those guys. So if you haven't seen it yet, you should check that out. So we're working on working on a new product with Ryan, which we're excited about.
Wait,
do we get to
on.
see it tonight?
Hold on a second.
Any sneak peeks?
Hold on a second.
Ryan, you got something in your pocket?
I might have a couple bags of them.
Wait a
Look, I
minute.
got it right here.
Whoa!
Wow, how coincidental.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Now, Brian the Carpenter, we love breaking stories here at Ike Live. We love being
stealing
the first
new baits
at breaking stuff.
breaking
This
stuff?
could be breaking?
It's breaking news.
Yeah, we got a little.
This could be
We
breaking.
got a little spinner bug.
Ooh, a river! That reminds me of a river finesse spinner bait.
Sure enough. It's
Don't show Bill Lowe in that.
It's a little bit more compact.
Look at that skirt, though.
Damn.
Is that skirt rubber banded or hand
I
tied?
love the
That skirt
blades.
has texture.
It's a hand tie.
Yeah.
It's a hand
Delaware
tie.
River killer right there.
Wow.
Double bait keeper.
Ooh, light wire.
There's the half ounce.
Ooh.
That's the
Light
quarter you got
wire?
in your hand. That's very light. And then this is the half ounce, a little bit heavier wire.
And JayPee ties all those by hand.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, you're welcome.
Black blade combination.
I stay up at
Great hook.
late nights.
He crochets them.
This is this is like a real sneak peek here. I don't know. This was at ICAST, I think, but besides that, I don't
Yeah, they
think
had a couple. Yeah.
This is amazing.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so Ryan, this is all Ryan. He's been putting in work helping us
Look at the
collaborate
short
and put
arm.
this together.
How?
But it's a
How
super
did I
nice
not
looking
know
color
any of this? Wow.
You ever seen a green pumpkin kicker blade on a spinnerbait?
No, I have not.
All right. I've been asking everybody that.
I like a
'cause
little
hadn't seen
purple.
it,
I
but-
like the little bit of purple in there too. Little orange
Right.
in the throat. Ooh.
GP Gill. Yeah.
That's a green pumpkin blade?
Wow.
Yep.
That's
it's a green
cool.
pumpkin blade.
Wow.
I mean, it's been really great. I've been fishing the prototypes for over a year, and that green pumpkin blade with that gold, the green pumpkin kicker blade with the gold,
Yeah.
has just been incredible and like super clear water.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, like
it's very unique.
I thought it would be
Yeah.
more of a stained water kind of
Yeah.
deal, but in like gin clear water,
Yeah.
even like slick calm,
Yeah.
got some really big fish.
Wow.
In it.
The-
And
I
lots of
like that a
bites,
lot.
too,
The,
yeah.
the prototype of that one.
Yeah.
Kicked butt.
That's
Wow.
what JP's
Kicked
been
butt,
raving
that's the
about that
safe
color.
version.
We got 12. I think we're doing 12 colors.
With this
of,
thin
two
gauge,
different
this
sizes.
thing must jackhammer through the water with this thin
A
gauge.
lot of good
wire.
vibes.
It's,
A
it's,
lot of vibes.
because of copyright. It's John Hammer.
What'd I say?
You said Jack.
Yeah.
It hits. Yeah, it's definitely like compact finesse, but it brings a lot of thump.
Reminds me of a more finesse river style
Yeah.
spinnerbait, which
Yeah,
I like.
yeah. So the biggest thing too, and not to get crazy about this, but the main thing I was going for is
they're gone.
I love fishing
Goodbye.
finesse spinnerbaits.
Yeah.
They're gone.
Oh, there they go.
I took them
All the prototypes just got stolen.
That is all of them. So you can't. I'm gonna give you. Guys
If
that,
you're
but you
watching
can't
right now on Ike Live, head over to
really
eBay, BrianTheCarpenter.com, and
But the
White
the
boy
key was-
Rick.
I've been fishing, a finesse spinnerbait since I was a kid.
Yeah.
And what I couldn't find, I love fishing it around wood, and trying to get the thing to deflect properly.
Yeah.
And most of the heads on finesse spinnerbaits I would throw would slide and roll.
Yeah,
They'd roll.
They would
Hit the
invert.
wood, they'd roll.
Yeah, they would
roll and
invert.
catch the
Hang.
wood.
If there's bark on the wood, they'd hang.
Yeah.
But more importantly, like you get the bite after the deflection, so you don't want your bait upside down when they eat it.
Right.
So I worked for a long time, like shaping heads, and working with lengths of wire and stuff like that, and just finding a design that would hit wood and go straight over and stay true,
Right.
and come over and flutter down.
Yeah.
So that was one of the biggest things. And then a slightly longer hook, not a massively longer hook.
Yeah.
I don't like trailer hooks.
Yeah.
Not a fan. I
Right.
mean, I'll use it if I have to in a buzz.
Pete,
bait or
we
something
talked
like
about that
but-
the other day.
But I just
Yeah.
made it slightly longer
Yeah.
than your average hook.
Right.
And I haven't once put a trailer hook on it. I haven't really get no short strikes.
Should call
whatever.
it.
Yeah.
But
you
that was
nice
kind of
bait.
the idea.
That's
behind
cool.
it. Light
Right.
wire too.
Right.
Yeah.
You should call it the longer shank.
The longer shank.
Yeah. Yeah. Ross,
This is amazing.
did you ever think that it would get to a point where you'd be co-designing baits with people? Like,
Oh yeah, no, I had no idea.
that's crazy. Like,
yeah, it's
I,
crazy.
I'm just thinking about it in my mind. Like, the whole MTB concept is one thing, but to then get to the point where you're designing baits and launching baits that are new and unique and different, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's super fun because when you're, obviously with MTB, you're around tackle all day long.
Yeah.
We see everything in the industry, and it's just tackle all the time. And when you fish, tackle is like crack, and that's what makes MTB so fun. So to be involved in a product development process, working with guys like Ryan and JP, seeing the nuance, like the detail that Ryan was just explaining about, like all these little things, you get such a stronger appreciation for. It helps us curate better products. It helps us think about things differently, and it's just super fun. Like it's just another way to come up with ideas that we think are different, and just see what happens. So it's awesome.
Yeah, and Ross, like we can't thank you enough for the opportunity to do the collaborations too. Like, I mean, I remember you hit me up probably 8 years ago, something like that. Like right when Tightrope started, right when JP. I mean, we were just making some jigs, and sling them to make gas money to get the tournaments.
Yeah.
So that was it.
Yeah.
And he hits us, can you get me 10,000 jigs? And we're like, yeah, in 5 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
We had tying these things. They weren't easy to tie. The way we were doing them was not simple. And then, you fast forward, to 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And they had the whole collaboration process set up. And that gave us the opportunity to mass produce the thing and get it out to. Because our JP and I's biggest problem was keeping them in stock.
Right.
Man, you put that thing in a mystery tackle box, and it was
That's
we exist. Like, all
Yeah.
of a sudden.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where mystery tackle box came in when we got these done when we did the collab and they went out in that. That was like, I mean that immediately. If we ever, if there was ever any question if that thing worked, for the companies using it and to get it to people to catch fish, I mean, it was right there.
Well, it's very cool to me that that should be the main staple of fishing should be its effectiveness and its use, right? The problem in the fishing world is sometimes the big companies overshadow. You get these giant mother companies that say this is what you should use.
Right. But
I love the fact that the actual practicality of the bait should be number one.
Yeah.
Over the it's a multi-million-dollar company. So I love that. Yeah. That's the greatest success story to me in fishing is exactly that.
Yep.
What you guys did. So
I agree.
Kudos to you guys.
That and Pete stealing the thunder from that kid that won that tournament.
Right. Pete falling in and stealing the thunder from the winner.
I learned it from watching you.
Thank you. Thank you, Pete. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Appreciate
But
that.
just to build on that though, like the collaborations that we've done, I don't remember what it was. Oh, it was a Bassmaster. Jay Kumar he interviewed me, asked me a couple of questions last month. And he's like, what's the thing you guys have done that you're most proud of? And I was like, well, the obvious answer would be MTB because it's like the biggest success and it's kind of where we started. But I was like, honestly, the collaborations that we do with the smaller creators, to me is the most rewarding because we find, amazing partners like Ryan JayPee, like we've done with Buka. We did one with Chris Grout, a painter. We did one with Jen Cravasi. People who are doing stuff in their garage, just for their kind of small audience and to bring it into our platform, to blow it out and to help them find the success that they've had with those products that they wouldn't have had access to without the partnership. It's just that to me, it's just awesome. It doesn't get better than that. And they're awesome products.
Cool.
Like it's super cool.
Yeah.
Ross, your next partner's right in front of you here. It's Pete and it's a black stick bait.
Black Senko. Pete, by Pete. Yeah.
Pre-tailweight.
No.
Pre-tailweight.
Yeah. Tailweight. No,
it'll be a kit.
A kit, yeah, all black Senkos. No, it's awesome. I love to see that. I love to hear those stories of real baits, real life use, getting to real people and having success. Yeah, that's the best, dude. That's the best.
It's very cool. The way Ross talks about it's like artisan. It's like getting these craftsmen. Exposed in a way that they never ever would ever be able to do it.
Exactly.
And it's a win-win. It's a win for Mystery Tackle Box because it takes a product that's amazing and unique and gets it into people's hands and it helps these craftsmen get their products out there. It's really cool.
Thanks. And the content to me, the YouTube videos or the little documentaries that we do is like just as important to tell the story. Like who are the people who made this? It's not just about product, but like, with Ryan and JayPee, their background in skateboarding and hip hop. JayPee, I don't think we got the part about Chance the Rapper sleeping on your couch. So I feel like you kind of held out on us for that one. But
that's world famous.
There's more to it.
It's probably better we didn't go there. Then, but,
that might be the third segment tonight. That might be after hours.
Yeah, I'm going for the book deal.
Let's go for the book deal. Ross, we can't thank you enough. First of all, for helping to grow the sport. I know I talk about that a lot, but getting new people fishing is the most important thing in the sport. Getting new people fishing. You guys are doing that. Thank you for that. And thank you for supporting this dumb little podcast for so many years. Honestly, you've been with us from the beginning. You saw the vision. I appreciate that. You guys are the best, and we love your product. Thank you, Ross.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. Thanks for the partnership. It's been awesome.
And
Ross Gordon, everybody, MTB. Thank you, Ross, for coming on tonight.
Thanks, bud. And Ryan, thank you for all the spinnerbaits.
Yeah, thanks for the spinnerbaits.
Totally horked all the
Dude, I know. We got all the prototypes.
Yeah.
We didn't have to wait for the MTB box to come out. We got them.
We got them.
Damn it. That's awesome. We just steal the shit before it even comes out.
I want to point out, too, Ross is an excellent angler as well. I don't know if anyone's talked about his fishing.
No, I didn't know that.
I've been on the boat with Ross. What have we fished? Maybe 5 times together, and
something like that.
And 4 of the times were like epic, like insane. And most of the time it was because of his topwater addiction.
Oh.
Wow,
I do have a strong topwater addiction when it comes to smallmouth and spooks.
I can relate.
Yeah,
Something about that
northern
bite that
Lake
can't be beat.
Michigan stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, we've had like the most epically, like 50, 70 fish, like topwater giant smallmouth.
Can I say something on behalf of everyone
dude's
watching the
like-
show?
yeah.
Yes, you can.
Is there any way to grow fishing with less people being in my way on the water all the time?
Yeah, of course there is.
Like
Yes.
Maybe sell more mystery tackle boxes with less people.
You have to diagram. You have to cut out the lakes that you want to fish.
They're all in the way.
Well, just cut those lakes out.
We talked about that. It's like the shore fishing festival.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not even out there.
Yeah, if it's shore fishing, everything offshore is yours, man. You
Yeah,
got both.
you can have it all.
All right.
You got a kayak.
Scenario situation. Ross versus KVD.
Oh,
I've never fished with KVD.
And
so.
fishing or arm wrestling? What are they doing?
Which
Carl's
KVD?
talking about- we're talking about the other
Which
KVD
KVD?
here,
The
right?
real KVD or the other KVD?
Carl.
Carl Von Dibble?
Oh,
Oh, yeah,
Carl.
Carl.
Oh,
Yeah.
Ross.
What are they
I
versing
can
in?
take Carl. Let's just get
Ross,
this
Ross,
straight.
absolutely.
Ross versus Carl versus Mike Ditka.
Dicka.
Well, I mean, Ditka and everything.
Burst, Dicka, burst.
I mean, maybe Ross in vocabulary.
Ditka.
Dick is not particularly articulate, but
Ditka versus Poseidon.
Just so all the Ike
Ditka.
Live fans know, the Bears did win in a flood tide today.
Oh, flood tide.
Yeah, the field was.
Let me
was
tell
on
you. Let
a
me
flood
tell
tide.
you something about tides.
there.
It means like the water moves.
It moves up and down.
Yeah, it goes up sometimes.
And you just throw it. stuff.
And Becky, you had breakfast at Dicka's, so it all comes full
Did
circle.
you know? Did you get
Yes.
steak and eggs?
She had steak and eggs at Dicka's.
No.
Yes,
Well,
you
you didn't
did.
have breakfast
I
at
got
Dicka's
the
then.
frosted flake French toast.
At Dicka's.
Oh, that's okay.
that sounds
It's
amazing.
amazing.
Bloody Mary. He's got a Bloody Mary
Oh,
mix.
yeah.
That's pretty
Dicka.
good.
Yeah,
Dave
totally
Brodzik
had Bloody
Yeah.
Marys.
may have been the biggest Bears fan of everyone here at one point.
Back in the day when I cared about football, when the Bears always had a linebacker and they always ran the football.
Still
and I
got
just,
a linebacker.
Dicka.
But I gravitated
Roquan
to that
Smith.
when I cared about the sport. Then, like as the Ravens came along in 2000, they kind of became what the Bears used to be with defensive line.
Dicka.
Dave, you kind of remind me of Brian Urlacher.
Ah,
It's the haircut.
A little bit.
Yeah.
it's the haircut. It's the haircut.
All right.
This is Chicago stuff.
Chicago. We take another
We're in New
commercial
Jersey.
break?
Yeah, let's take
We were
another
getting
break.
loud in that Eagles
Yeah,
bar.
we'll
this
take another
afternoon.
break.
Another quick break.
Yeah, let's take a
It's
break.
dangerous.
Thank you, everybody, for watching. It's a wonderful Sunday. You're watching a brand new Ike Live. We just had Ross Gordon on from MTB. Hang in there with us because we have one more segment left when we come back on a brand new Ike Live.
You know, right now where we're standing, we're in Camden, New Jersey.
Yeah.
Philadelphia is right there. This is the concrete jungle. And, you know, a lot of those kids, as they grow up, they don't fish. It's interesting because they're surrounded by water. You know, the Delaware River, the Schuylkill, ponds, city park lakes. But they don't have the influence to cast, to fish, to have a rod and reel. And that became our focus, you know, is to target kids in what we call non-traditional areas, you know, urban areas, city centers, where the population's high, and let these kids have the experience. You know, it's amazing. I mean, some of the experiences we've had, whether it's Central Park in New York City, here in Camden, other parts of the country, even just casting.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable to see it, isn't it?
Yes.
It's unbelievable.
Yes.
And you know, you see these kids have this experience they've never had, and they light up, you know? The big thing, I think, for the Ike Foundation is we're not saying we want all these kids to become professional anglers.
No.
Be great if some of them did, but we want them to have that fishing experience because it ties them to so many other positive things. The outdoors, nature, conservation, ecology, you know, all these amazing things in life that maybe they wouldn't have been exposed to any other way. We're trying to help with that. So it's important. It's important for us. We're proud of it.
Four and a half inch drop shot worm, Bama bug. Finesse jig, PB&J, give me something hard. Hey, KVD here. Now, I didn't always know this much about fishing. 4-aught EWG worm hook. In fact, there was a time when I couldn't tell the difference between a jerkbait and a stickbait. But then I signed up for Mystery Tackle Box, the original monthly tackle subscription. And now I know more about fishing than I do about calculus.
And he knows a lot about calculus.
Plus, I get amazing extras like free fishing magazines. October 2016. Featured article, 4 places to throw a frog. Exclusive decals. Zombie bass. And how-to videos for all the great baits I receive. How to tune a crankbait. Is that underwater footage I smell?
I got goosebumps.
So if you're looking to develop enhanced fishing abilities like me, or you just like getting new tackle every month, go to mysterytacklebox.com and get your box today. Ooh, live minnows. Is it lunchtime already? Nature's candy. Oh.
At Founders Brewing, we asked ourselves, what if we brewed a beer perfect for any occasion? A beer that makes a weekday feel more like the weekend, and the weekend feel more like an adventure. What if we brewed a beer that brought us together and allowed us to be ourselves? A beer that is just as much of a companion as it is a reward at the end of the journey. What if we explored the unknown together and found a new way? What if we celebrated taste and flavor and life's simple pleasures? And what if we brewed a beer that could go where you go without slowing you down? What if? Founders All Day IPA. Low ABV and full flavor that goes where you go. Chase your what if.
All right, Brian, Torquedo today. We've got the Ike Live Tiny Boat out. I want to tell you, this is not just for electric-only reservoirs. It's for other things as well. Today is a great example. Where are we? What are we going to take this thing through today?
The Upper Susquehanna.
Upper Susquehanna River.
That's right.
Current, rock,
Lots of
nasty
it.
bottom,
Yep.
and we're going to use Torquedo.
Everybody else running jet drives. We've got the rock guard on the Torquedo. We're going to some small spots. We're
Yep.
gonna get in there. We're going to make it happen.
There you go.
Let's go.
Shallow water, speed, strength, power. Come on, let's
Consistency.
Welcome back to Ike Live, everybody. Go ahead, Michael.
All right, there you have it. Folks at home, welcome back to a brand new Ike Live. I hope you're having a wonderful Sunday. I know we are. It's been a great show tonight. We've got some great feedback on our guests. And, of course, we just had Ross on from Mystery Tackle Box. Great story. I'd love to hear it, Pete. Every time I hear from Ross, dude, he's a smart dude. You got to admit. He's a smart dude.
Gosh.
He's like ahead of
Yeah.
the curve on what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, he's found a way to dial into the fun of fishing.
Yes.
And sell that to, and just such a brilliant way. Technologically,
yes,
he's ahead of the curve. He was in the subscription thing before everybody, and now it's pretty innovative how I'm starting to see companies go back in the way of
storefronts. Yeah. Everybody
and
wanted to write that shit off, and now it's coming back.
Let me say, I was in Cabela's.
Yeah.
I had a battery issue.
Yeah.
At this event, and I had to go and shout out to Ed at Cabela's who hooked me up.
Ed
with a AGM and charge. But the Cabela's was, man, I'm like, this store is amazing.
Yeah. They upgraded.
Yeah. It looks, it really was nice. It was well stocked. It was like you wanted to be there. It was experiential.
Yeah,
like you talked about. So and that's what they're doing over there. So Ross has
Did you
been
say
on the cutting
experiential?
edge.
Yeah,
experiential. Yeah. That's the wave of what's going on in the retail market and the brick and mortar scene. Is you want it's more than just products, right? You just people want to have an experience. They want to enjoy something, see something, do
Take some
something.
balls to do what they're doing.
It does take balls. Take balls.
Nobody's opening stores right
now.
now.
No, you gotta try stuff, and you have to take advantage of the situations that happen in front of you. For sure. Let me remind you, you're watching a brand new Ike Live. This is your last chance, guys. If you're watching over on Facebook, Like and share the feed. If you do that, you're going to be entered a chance to win the world famous Ike Live gift bag.
How about the board? We haven't went to the board yet.
Let's go to the board. Rizzo, we got anything on the board? Yeah. Yeah, what do we got, Riz? Brian? Let Riz in.
Yeah, Pete's Duncan Donuts wants to know. Dave, is that Brian's ghost on your shirt, or is that just another imaginary squatch?
So for anyone watching, just go to YouTube and YouTube search Ghosts in the Machine, and that's what this is. If you know, you know. If you don't, maybe you'll learn.
Oh, wow. How many people you think you convert every show, Dave? How many people you think you convert?
I make Brian come a little closer, and maybe I got you looking at my text from 4 months ago.
No, honestly. I'm going to give everybody a real, this is an honest to goodness, like this isn't any bullshit. I'm not trying to sell any sponsorships. I don't give a shit at this point. A real live view of what happens in Ike Live show. We have anywhere from 500 to 1,500 live viewers. But when the show, after the show goes post, which is the archive version, over the next 3 months, we'll get 20, 30, 40,000 views on the show. Not a million.
No, 30,000 million.
No. 20, 30,000 views on a show.
Okay.
How many people do you think you convert to just waking up to what's going on in the world?
Not many, because I don't, we don't, the show isn't about that. So not many at all.
I know, but I get what you're saying. Like, we don't try to shove it down people's throat, but you are trying to. You do throw little things in, like
I know,
like wake up, like this is what's going on in the world.
Maybe 1 out of the 30,000.
You think 1? I think
1 out of 30,000 might buy in and then expand outward. Maybe they sign up for Telegram. Maybe they get a few channels.
Sign up for Telegram?
Yeah,
we're going back to that.
That's where the intel is.
Well, really?
I think more. More.
It's the Wild West.
Have you been talking about this on other Ike Lives? Did I miss this?
Well, because if you don't watch them, you don't hear me talk about
Telegram?
You have to watch them to understand it.
Telegram's telepathy? Like,
JayPee, are you
no,
on
it's not
Telegram?
telepathic.
Wait. How many people watch this?
30, 40,000
I mean, you'll have
million.
over the next couple months, we'll be in the 20 to 40,000
million.
We just got to tell you to visit tightropefishing.com because we're shameless.
But what do you think about Telegram?
I don't know what Telegram is.
Oh, Dave!
So now, everyone. So
I'm not.
How do I
social
say
media,
this succinctly,
like,
and so that we
friendly.
don't? All right. So this information war is it's a civil war of bullets downrange. Each bullet is designed for each individual person.
Right.
A whole bunch are going to miss one guy, but they're going to hit one person. So it's just waking people up individually, story by story, topic by topic, pain by pain, and that's it.
Okay.
What the hell are you talking about?
Pete hit his head
I have
when
no
he went
idea.
down. I don't know if you knew that. He hit his head on the bottom. It was actually a shell bar.
You're going to have to be
where
more
he fell in.
specific.
I mean, I don't know. The number one recording artist you seemingly didn't hear of that I was hanging out with last night knew what I was talking about, but you didn't. I don't know.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like this guy, we were right on the same page. I mean, it's the same, so you don't know we're in an information war.
It's been
right
a
now.
while.
Like the whole thing going on with Trump, Biden, Ukraine,
It's chronic.
Taiwan.
It's been going on since the beginning of time.
Right. Who controls that?
God?
What, information?
No, who controls what's been going on since the beginning of time?
Chronarch or something?
There's been a cabal.
Chronos?
Shimano?
There's, I think, the power
Shimano?
balance.
The message board wants a story from you, Dave. A reference.
Yeah, but the context in which I'm doing it doesn't necessarily bode well for selling the story, right?
Well, then
Like-
put the mask on.
Nah, we've got a good story.
That'll sell it.
Actually, I want to call Becky to play it on this one. So, in our last travels, it was amazing. So, my tournament performance sucked, but we had South Dakota, Mississippi River. We had a little 3-week hiatus to get out there, which was awesome. And on the front side, we traveled west, and we got a chance to stop at Grand Rapids, Michigan, which happens to be home to Founders Brewery.
Holla.
Yes, Beck. We got a day at Founders Brewery.
We did.
It was
Really?
pretty incredible. Do you want to fill in a little bit, people, about what happened at Founders? It was an awesome day. It was an amazing day there.
So we got to go on a full tour.
Full
of the
tour?
of the facilities,
Like one-on-one.
Yeah.
Like it was amazing.
Just
yeah.
us being taken through the whole facility. Had no idea the amount of beer they make and how fast they make it.
Yes.
It's absolutely insane. This building is like this full block. It was a really incredible tour. But when we were done, we got to go hang out in what they have, like a bar restaurant. And I don't know, I've been to a handful of, bar restaurants at a brewery. I've never been to something like this. It was absolutely incredible. The space was huge. The food was amazing. There was indoor, outdoor, multiple bars. There was a stage for bands. There was like fire pits and cornhole.
It was so
and,
cool.
like,
They had like 30 some beers on tap. And there was a handful of beers that they don't bottle. That's right. That are test beers that you could try in-house. And we got to try all these beers.
We were on a mission to try as many
tried
as we
as
could.
many as we could. It was awesome. But the coolest thing about Founders, which this is a good story if you're watching or listening right now and you're an entrepreneur. This is a great story, which is Founders started small and they would just build this facility as the need came. Right. So like they were going through this facility and they were like, yeah, we started out and we were 1,000 square feet. And then we had this need to bottle more. So we pushed this building out and we pushed this building out. And when you look at the footprint of the building, none of it makes sense.
It's so wonkus.
Because it all
Roof
was
lines
built.
run into this,
It was
like
all
you're taking
built
steps up and
as
down.
they needed the room.
It's for Mike and Dave. Remember on the way to Alloway?
The house with all the little ding, 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 ding.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's that.
Offshoots.
It was
I
so
always
cool
look
to
at
see
that,
that.
and I just like, oh yeah, we need another shed. Yeah, another
It was
5x10.
It was so cool to see it because it was like, here's a company
It's like
that's
mushrooms.
here's a company that's going for it.
Yeah.
And they're not worried about the end until they get to the end. You know what I mean? I think that's a great thing to think about if you're an entrepreneurial person. Just go for it.
Right.
You know what I mean? They
right,
just went
Ryan.
for it.
What he's saying is leave the spinnerbaits here.
Yes,
Go
leave,
home and
Ryan,
make
leave the
more.
spinnerbaits here. JP, we were taking all your spinnerbaits.
That really reminded me of our Airbnb. Like nothing made sense.
Oh,
the
really?
walls didn't line up, and I was
Well, we didn't have a
pretty
kitchen
sketchy.
in ours, so
The
we had a
only
microwave.
bathroom in ours was in one of the bedrooms.
Oh, so
wow.
we're
does
doing
that,
better than
man?
the pros, man.
Wow.
But one last thing about Founders, like I found them like 15 years ago, and they had about like 8 choices.
Yeah.
That you can, and their labeling was cool. That's what I was. That was back when craft was kind of new, and people put a lot of emphasis on the artwork and the labeling, and theirs was pretty top notch.
So Dave, about the time you're talking about, I was playing in a band, touring quite a bit. We used to play at Founders right when they opened.
Wow.
And they had
in Grand Rapids.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they had just a small. I don't know if it's. I haven't been there in a long time, but it was. They had just a small room, restaurant, and then beers. But they didn't tell you back then. Like this was when craft beers first started, and I don't think they were required to tell you the alcohol content in certain beers, and so they would give the band like, "Here, you guys get 3 drink tickets or whatever." I drink like 3 Fat Bastards.
Oh
They'd
yeah,
go try to play the
smashed.
drums.
Smashed.
Not good. Like probably the worst experience I've ever had. On stage
Which one
in my
had the
life.
real crusty old man on the front? Was that the old
Arrogant bastard.
I don't
Dirty bastard.
that dirty
Old
bastard,
dirty
maybe?
bastard.
That
Old
one.
dirty
That one.
bastard.
That was one of my favorites.
ODB.
Yeah.
No, I just made that up.
But yeah, they were awesome. And
They may
yeah,
have
like,
they
they're
may
really
have
small
altered
back then.
your future.
I'm sure they
You
did.
may have been a world famous drummer, and now you're just a world famous fisherman.
Yeah,
Or maybe
exactly.
Tony Hawk's
Yeah.
making spinnerbaits and you're doing 580s.
Life is so cruel,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Dude, left and right turns.
I thought their brewery was on some river.
No, well,
Why-
it's
like,
not
where
far
did I
from
get
the
that from?
Grand River, but
Like I swear I've seen a tournament and like the Founders Brewery is like.
It's not right on the river.
it's close.
The river may be
Ish.
close. It's not
Yeah.
right on the river.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know where I'm even getting that from.
No, but here's the other thing.
Thanks for sharing.
The other interesting
You're
thing is
welcome.
some of the cities we visited. So Grand Rapids, Cleveland. Dude, they were really cool. Sioux Falls.
Yeah.
We got the chance to visit these really cool small cities, which felt really cool because, like, you go to New York City or Chicago or Philadelphia, you're like, holy fuck, you're looking around and you're overwhelmed. And we went to these cool cities. Like Grand Rapids was this smaller encapsulated city. I liked it a lot. Felt great. Felt great. I like those smaller cities.
Lots
Sioux
of great
Falls was
art
our
there too.
favorite.
Yeah.
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 They
Sioux
do a
Falls.
huge art festival every year in Grand Rapids, like huge art contests where they do like all murals and they all
Wow.
stay. So like every year there's like 20, 30 new murals in that city. So it's just like
Very
you
cool.
don't see an empty wall.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like seeing that. I like New York City with all the graffiti too.
Yeah.
You know, they have a harder time getting it down. In Chicago, they go out and put white over all the graffiti.
Yeah.
And now you got a big white square on every
That
wall.
was one of the cool things about when we went to South Dakota. So we were in
No graffiti?
No graffiti. What? So listen to this shit. So what's the name of the town we're in Sioux Falls at the tournament? Mobridge. Mobridge. So we're in Mobridge, South Dakota, which has a population of, let's say, like 3,000 people, which is unbelievably nothing. It's desolate. There's nothing. The biggest restaurant is like a small bar. It's like nothing. But the rail system is still the rail system. And, dude, it's amazing at how graffiti
It's on the rail cars.
is on the rail cars. We're in Mobridge, South Dakota, and I'm looking at this graffiti that is, I don't know the artist, but it's amazing graffiti that is in South Dakota. It's so cool to see. Like, for me, I like love that shit. You know what I mean? It's like so cool to see it. But
It's always hard to tell though with train rails because they
They
go
could become-
across country. I mean, that could have
Right.
been done in San Francisco.
could have been done in San Francisco or New York or
That
anywhere in
vandalism
between.
could have happened anywhere.
You love vandalism.
I mean,
yes.
But that's the whole.
But it needs to be
that's
good
the
vandalism.
genius of it is that
It's genius.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
gonna paint it and it's gonna go back and forth
Right.
a couple times.
Right. It's very genius.
So when I throw an egg at a car and he drives like the other side of town,
Yes.
that's the genius
That's
of
your
it.
genius abstract art.
No, that's just you vandalizing.
Oh, okay. 'Cause
That's not art.
you're right. Damn it.
Speaking of genius, Brian Carpenter, we got a little recap. You did fish today.
I
with
did.
The genius of Lake Nakamixon.
Yeah.
How'd it go?
How'd it go?
It went good, dude.
Got to fish with Keith?
Yeah, got to fish with Keith. So we he's got live scope now, so we did a lot of fishing offshore. Caught
Yeah.
a couple deep early, but not good ones. And that bite was actually kind of a tough day. A few people caught them, but we went back to a section. You know, he says, there's fish back here. That my buddy caught him on a frog last week. I want to hit that later in the day. We're 3-4 hours into the day, not really catching them, but we weren't going there yet.
Yeah.
So we go back there. His buddy had been there all morning, and we get back there, and you can see fish moving in the pads. So water's down a couple feet, and so it's kind of pulling the fish out.
Right.
And then pads, out towards the front.
Yeah.
And the pads are thick. They're really thick. They're overlaying each other. They're not easy to fish. But we had them moving. They wouldn't move for anything but a frog, right? Like they're moving in there. You could flip them. Nothing. You wouldn't get any attention. But they would like move for a frog, but they weren't eating it. And this went on for a while, and then all of a sudden this window opened up, and boom, boom, boom. For about 20 minutes, caught them.
Yeah.
4 or 5 bites, and then that was it. It was over.
Wow.
It was like, so it was raining all morning. I don't know if you guys had the same weather we had here.
Drizzling. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and like
Rained hard.
yeah, and the rain was like pounding and then tapered off right there at the peak of it before it kind of tapered off. And I felt, I don't know if the barometric pressure changed or what it was, but I could feel everything got different.
Yeah.
But the rain petered off. No offense, Pete.
Easy.
No, sorry about that.
Yeah.
And but that was it, dude. That bite shut down.
Yeah. It's interesting.
So how'd
man.
you do?
We got third.
Awesome.
Yeah.
We had 17 and a half, 17.3.
It is-
4 fish limit.
It is
4 for
interesting.
17.3.
Wow.
That's a bag. Dude.
They're all brutes.
That's
They're
a
all
bag.
brutes, man.
But here's the interesting thing.
Couple
It is
fives.
interesting the windows.
Yeah.
We call them windows, but they open up and they close throughout the day. They open and they
Yeah.
close.
Right and left turns.
Yes. But here's the thing. MLF, I think, is pretty much good for nothing, except
Marty
except it
showcases
is fun to watch those windows
Right.
in MLF. And I still watch them live, even though the coverage isn't great. I still watch them live. And you will see these windows open and close where the vast majority of those 40 guys in
Yep.
that round start smashing them. and then the window closes and you see it peter down.
Yeah.
So
that was exactly
that's exactly what happened to you.
Again, apologies, Pete.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what I was thinking. Like, I wonder how this played out around the rest of the lake.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
most of the field was at the exact opposite end of the
Right.
lake. You know, but I was wondering if it kind of everybody's bite
Right.
lit up at that same time or not.
Yeah.
I think MLF was working with Dr. Jimmy Lau. Remember you talked to him?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
On that exact subject,
Hey.
compiling data.
Marty Stone always take an opportunity to showcase the
His
feeding
accent?
window, the feeding windows.
This group right here?
the moon phase, as
this group right here.
They showcase this group.
His accent.
Whoever catches the most today and the biggest.
This
group right here.
They got like a 3 or 4, like it's based on the moon phase. You know what I'm talking about? The
Lunar
feeding
pole.
windows, the lunar
Yeah.
deal. They go out of their way to address it.
But does it coincide with what actually happens?
I want to see the stats, man. We need to get Ross from Mystery Tackle Box to get the technology on to see if what the moon, if what they're predicting is actually what they're seeing.
Pull the data.
Dave?
Maybe it is.
Pull the
Dave,
data.
I don't know.
Was it perfunctory or
Left
not?
and right.
I don't know. Perfunctory.
Well, Keith was saying that's when the lunar pull was today. It was around noon.
Maybe it was.
That's what he was saying.
That's interesting. Well,
The
the
lunar
Yeah.
pulled me right in the river.
He's been struck by lightning
Just a couple
twice.
days
so.
ago.
pulled you in. Yeah.
That was it. It was that full moon.
Direct bolts
Gravitational pull.
or indirect bolts?
Maybe it was.
Yeah, that
One
yanked
of
it right
each.
down.
It just
You guys,
it
let me tell
elevated
you about
me.
the tides.
All right, hold on.
This is important.
They go up and they go down.
They go up and down.
How do those
Twice a day.
How does Lake Michigan smallmouth move on an incoming tide?
I mean, they.
Well, here comes some
Well,
real
wait a minute. If
guys.
it blows
Hold on.
from the east, it's an incoming tide.
Well, we do have like a lot of crazy wind tides.
Right.
Here, though.
East. An
In all
east wind is the
seriousness.
incoming.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I've
it
seen
floods
that.
it. And there's also a sage. Have you ever heard of that?
Yeah, that's what I was trying
That
to say.
is like
Ceviche?
a sage. That is a tide.
Ceviche?
It's something weird.
They cook with
I've,
lemon?
Smallmouth ceviche.
I've been in a harbor and the water is gone.
Yeah.
Like it
Drained.
mud. I saw crawfish flipping around.
How does that happen? What
And I was like,
don't know.
I've seen it 3
It's a
times.
phenomenon.
Because of the
If
wind
you look it
direction?
up, it just says it's a phenomenon. I
Yeah.
don't know what
What's it
causes
called?
it. A phenomenon.
No,
That's all
Something
they
like
say.
a phenomenon.
A sage.
a
sage.
Sage.
Yeah,
But
that's
yeah,
what they
I've
called
seen
it.
an entire harbor
Beck.
flood
Google
just
sage.
out of nowhere for
Sage.
4 hours.
Google.
Sage.
And then
Sage.
unload.
Sage.
And then gone. Like
She
dry.
said no. Folks at home,
It
Beck
looks
said
like a
no.
tsunami.
You know what they say.
That's crazy.
You would think a
Sage.
tsunami was coming.
Huh.
Yeah.
All right,
That's
so
what
yeah.
that's exactly what they describe
Yeah.
when they have
Yeah,
a tsunami.
It
It's
all
like
goes out.
it's like you're on the beach and all of a sudden there's no water
Yep.
and you better run.
Yeah, and it
'Cause
happens.
Head for the hills, dog.
Yeah, it's coming. It's coming back.
Head for the hills, dog.
Yeah, if anyone knows what a sage is, comment.
All right.
Let's see.
The water,
yeah,
no,
the
but
water
we've seen
came right back, but it left.
So, mute
Maybe I'm not
microphones.
pronouncing it
You
right.
got 12 people in the room, VTC.
I know. I just want to say Keith was struck by lightning twice.
Was he
A
really?
sage
Today?
is a standing wave oscillating in a body of water.
Wow.
Standing wave.
So like a
oscillating.
tsunami, like a freshwater
Yeah.
lake tsunami.
That's as
like a
cryptic
Nerf
as Dave's
tsunami.
conversation.
That's from the National Weather Service.
It's only cryptic to the 5% that will never get it, Pete. Unfortunately, as smart as you are, you're in that group that will never be reached.
I mean, that's really pro-funky.
I think I fear you may be right.
All right, let me. I want to change topics real quick, and I want to say this.
How did you find that? SEICHE.
There you go.
Yeah.
He Googled it.
Ceviche.
I want to
Ceviche,
say
but you
this.
take the C
I
out.
want to try to go over this, Pete. I want to try to go over this politically correct because I don't want to seem like an old, disgruntled angler, which I probably am.
So the first time he was struck on a grain tower.
Keith?
Yeah.
Really?
And the second time on a bridge.
Well, David Fritz was struck by lightning, and he's never fished the same since.
Oh.
Is that
damn.
true? That's what he said.
Who got him?
Who? What do you mean? Who got him?
Who was
Lightning.
throwing bolts?
Oh, God was probably.
Somebody.
Okay. So
Klun. It was Rick Klun.
here's what I want to bring up.
You know it, right?
Let me just say it, and then we'll just it'll be out here.
Uh-oh.
I love watching tournaments. When I'm not competing myself, I watch. This whole year, I've had a shitty season, so I got to watch a lot of Bass Live, and I got to watch a lot of MLF Live because I love it. I love the sport. I'm a fan of the sport, regardless of how I do. And this whole year, I would say was dominated by guys that were breaking their neck the whole year. Just like I'm watching the camera guy see this the whole time.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that? Because if you look at the sport, it's being dominated by forward-facing sonar right now. Look at the MLF tournament right now. Mille Lacs, forward-facing sonar. Look at the guy that beat you, Pete. Forward-facing sonar. Really? Admit it, right?
Is that right?
Yes.
JT Tompkins, by the way, congratulations.
Congratulations. We love JT. JT's a great guy.
We love him.
No, he's actually a good dude. He's a hard worker. How do you feel about that? Because as I don't want to sound like a disgruntled old guy, but it seems weird. It just seems strange.
360 crushed it for me this week.
360 did.
360. Well, it's
Okay.
forward facing. It's
it's a form of forward facing.
It's a form, and I'm telling you right now, it makes you so efficient. Like being able to get on the habitat, hit your marks, stick and move in the shallow water.
Yeah.
The Humminbird Mega 360 is absolutely priceless. I mean, it's just.
So you don't mind the fact that all these tournaments are being dominated by guys that are watching?
Here's what I don't mind, dude. It's new technology. Embrace it. Get good at it. You gotta develop that skill set, and it takes work. And my neck hurts from staring at it because it's such a powerful tool, but it's so fun and interesting.
It's not fun for the guy watching.
That's what I was going to say. That's what you're getting at. It's
Watching
pretty boring.
Watching
Not fun to
Oahe,
watch. No.
watching Oahe was like watching grass grow.
Yeah.
It was very difficult to
watching
watch.
Mille Lacs today was
Yeah.
like watching grass grow.
Then the elites went to the Mississippi River, and I'm like, oh, this is cool.
That was
man.
awesome.
It's like mats,
No
frogs,
forward-facing. Oh, yeah.
But no, I mean Schmidt's using it to win.
Nah.
He's fishing an edge. He's identifying. I mean, they're using it even in that. But it was fun to watch.
I don't know.
I like watching it that way too.
Okay, but let me say this. Let me say this, and we'll get on to a different topic. Thank God, thank you, God, that I was not involved in the sport when that shit was going down, because that shit ain't fishing to me. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. Thank you, God, that I could fish in an error when you could just go fish against the fish. Thank you, God. That's all I got to say about it.
All right, you're on Randy Blockett.
No,
you're joining Randy Blockett's.
Nah, I'm not trying to Randy Blockett. I'm washed up.
perspective.
Don't listen to me. I'm washed up.
I don't know. It's an interesting topic.
Okay.
Now, you guys both got good perspectives, but
Yeah.
like here's the thing: is that everything's always going to come full circle in fishing, right? Like there's going to be the tournaments where it's Oahe and everybody's staring at the graphs, and then there's going to be a tournament where the forward-facing sonar almost doesn't play, and the guys who don't have the ability to just get down the bank and get dirty and go flip and fish shallow, they're going to be left in the dust.
Yeah, but it's like 80-20.
Yeah,
this
it is.
year.
It definitely is right now, right? But for how long? How long did the trend of being able to get over top of fish and drop on them video game style last? And I'm asking from an honest perspective.
That
'cause
was a decade.
I honestly don't know how long it lasted. But like what I'm saying is will the forward-facing sonar game get to the point where it's like you get out there over a school of fish, or you get behind a school of fish in suspended water, where you hit them with the forward-facing sonar beam and they just become uncatchable just like that?
We just filmed.
Like, when is the transition going to come back around?
Gray Buck up on Lake Ontario for Bass. We're filming with him. He's already starting to see the effects of fish moving away from the forward-facing sonar beam.
I'll say Keith was talking about that today. Like he says when he's out there scanning on it, sees them and then turns it away. Because he feels like especially the bigger ones, if he leaves that on them,
here's what I think is the challenge for the production companies, like it is for us, as we're trying to teach. And Gray is using forward facing, and I'm watching. Like I had him, because his sonar's linked, and I had the screen here, and I'm watching what he's watching up front.
Yeah.
And I'm fascinated. I'm watching the fish. I see him move. I see what he sees. I see his bait drop, and I see the fish bite. I see the fish get, so from a from a perspective of producing an exciting tournament, I think things have to change where you have to bring the viewer into that world. Like you just can't stare at his back.
Right.
You got to show that screen. You got to watch his baits. You got to bring the video game to life on the screen, and it's challenging.
Yeah.
It's challenging for us because the technology isn't that readily available to do that. So we've had to come up with ways to do it.
Yeah, I want to see more excitement, more real energy.
Yeah.
Like I said, looking at somebody's back doesn't make any sense. I got to watch tennis this week. Now listen to me. I know it sounds ridiculous, but I stayed with Pete. I stayed with Pete on the Upper Bay. Brian, stop laughing for a second. I watched tennis.
Brian, don't laugh.
I watched tennis over the
awesome.
course of practice in the tournament, and I fucking loved it.
What?
I loved it. I loved it because it was one person against one person, real shit. There's no sonar to hide behind. It was two guys fighting each other, being real, and I loved a lot of the athletes were being emotional. I love that shit. We need more of that in fishing. We don't need the backs of people.
All right, well, I hear you. It's hard to watch. What about this concept? What about like, all right, we have a derby where it's off like a season where you're not allowed to use it in this tournament, but you're allowed to use it in this tournament. You know, where
we can't even get guys to have their insurance cards right. Guys not look down at their screen at the right time.
My guy.
But you get to showcase guys. You let guys showcase their talents.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, I think it's beautiful. You watch these kids. I call them. Oh my God! By the way, the top 10 in this tournament down the Chesapeake was like they looked like they were 20 years old. They all were. You know, it was crazy.
JT is, isn't he?
You know,
20?
the winner.
JT's 20.
Oh yeah. He's a youngster.
Wow.
But they're super talented at it, and watch them swimming in their ability. You know, just doing it, man, and so easy, so fast. Being able to scan habitat, see fish, move.
Yeah, see, that's
you know, it's a beautiful thing to see that development. You know, I think.
All
But
right.
it's hard. You know, it's hard to watch.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't know.
I get that.
I don't know. All right. Let's talk about this real quick.
Hold on, Beck's got something.
Oh, Beck, what do you got?
It's just going to be whatever the next technological thing is. There's going to be like thermal scans. You're going to know that fish is in the grass because like you're going to have like little heat sensor things or like echolocation.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's whatever's next.
But it's been that way since when they came out with the flasher. They said the same thing.
Did they?
They were like, "This
you
is cheating.
were there.
This is cheating." You
David
know?
Fritz is cheating.
I remember hearing that about side scan.
Yeah, they're like side scan came out. Nate Wellman won on the Chesapeake with side. He was the first one to embrace it, and he figured that out and won with it.
Bad example.
And they said, they said that was going to be that was bad. Now we're here again. So
Found the cigarette butts on the stoop.
But I
Might
think
have been
this
something
is-
else that was
But I
bad.
think this is how you see anglers aging because there's no
Yep.
like physical advantage to being young over old. I think this is where you see
What?
the advantages of being young versus old.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they got a
like,
mind
Vegas
that
can-
connects with
Vegas-
computers.
Yeah, Vegas plays video games, so he hops
Dude,
on a boat and he
Vegas
totally
hopped on my boat
understands
with
Lawrence
forward
units.
facing and used it better than I did in a instant.
Yes.
It was unbelievable
Yeah.
to watch that, dude.
Yeah.
Like totally grasped it where
It's
I did.
it's trying to watch Grandma
Yeah.
program the VCR.
Yeah, it's okay.
She
And-
couldn't do
and-
it.
And at
So
some point,
what do you think? What would you like to see?
Well, here's the thing. I'm just I'm just saying that it's a different style of fishing, and I'm complaining a little bit because I suck. I've had a horrible year.
Me too.
And I can't catch a fish right now. But here's the thing. Bass has just announced, Pete, the 2023 schedule. It's unbelievable.
Except for the.
Let me go
Is it all
over it
forward
real.
facing?
It's not all forward facing. Let me go over it real quick. If you haven't already heard, if you're watching and listening tonight on Like Live, here's the Bassmaster 2023 schedule: Lake Okeechobee, Lake Seminole, Lake Murray, Santee Cooper, Lay, Sabine, St. Clair, Champlain, St. Lawrence.
Boo.
That's a very radical schedule.
a banger.
And let me reiterate,
Well,
Pete,
it sounds good for you.
It's a great schedule, but let me iterate that I had a horrible season this year. I have to reanalyze what I did. I have to change my thing. But here's the thing. Have you heard of this remote viewing before?
What?
Remote viewing.
Yeah.
Where you can look into the future and
Dave
you can
has.
forecast. Dave, you know about remote viewing?
I've heard of it.
Okay. So this remote viewing allows you to analyze what's going to happen in the future before it happens. So, Dave, I've had a shit season, and I need to know, with this schedule that Bass just announced, can we bring Stormtrooper on to do some remote viewing of my schedule for 2023?
we can see if he remote viewed anything.
Okay. So here live on Ike Live,
That was
guys.
like a 10-minute setup to tell Dave to put the helmet on.
No, it's okay. Here live on Ike Live tonight, we have the one and only Stormtrooper that will analyze remote view how my season's going to go next year in 2023. Stormtrooper, how you doing? Good to see you back at Ike Live Studio. Stormtrooper, everybody.
Yeah.
Stormtrooper. All right, Stormtrooper, first of all, for people watching and listening, what the hell is remote viewing? I don't even get it. What is it?
So you force me to discuss this to the sheep again.
Oh, it's a sheep. All right, if you're a sheep,
Sick
listen.
of the normies. I
Okay.
will explain.
Damn normies, listen to this.
Remote viewing was something that was taken from the Deutschland during Operation Paperclip. The Soviets took half of the Deutsch. America took the other half.
Okay.
The Soviets first figured out how to use ESP, extrasensory perception,
right,
to remote their consciousness into an environment to siphon information.
About the future, about what's going to happen.
Current, past, or future.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. Okay.
Hollywood often projects that technology. Take season 1 of Stranger Things.
Stranger Things, yes.
She was in the room with the Soviet commanders, plotting and planning
Yes.
against stolen technology from the Deutsch.
Right.
I, through my ancestry, have the ability to remote view.
You do?
Yes.
Oh,
but I must first address something that Pete brought up that brought my friend Dave very angry.
Oh, Pete?
Incapable of articulating himself, so I will do it for him.
Okay.
I don't believe that's the
You
case.
see, us-
Stormtrooper, but
There are the people that are referred to as conspiracy theorists. Sick of that term, too. They are truthers. But the entire tribe cannot be that. So within the community of people, there are people like you, and you that go out and hunt, fish, bring back the food. There are people like Brian and Liz that build, create the structures. People like Becky.
Infrastructure people.
Infrastructure, yeah.
Becky bossing around the other squaws.
Firing people.
Sending people to the creek to wash the clothes, skin the
Shocking them
fish,
on the wrist.
shuck the oysters. Then there are people like me, lurking on the side, watching, observing.
Yes.
Enemy movement, enemy strategy. And while you're fishing, I'm the one who knows that while Brian is following the flower girls into the field instead of fixing the tent, that the enemy knew he was going to be there because I've watched their movements. I've tracked them. I told him in advance, don't do it.
Right.
He does it.
Grand view. You have a grand view of things.
He did, and I did. and
Brian's
it'll
ghost or
repeat
Brian?
itself.
You followed the flower girls?
Brian's
Yes.
ghost.
I'm
Brian's
pretty sure I
ghosted.
did.
Brian's ghost.
If I know me the way I think I know.
The point is, conspiracy theorists have never been proven so quickly as they are now because of information. 1 year ago, we said they would track you with your shots and your passports. We were told we were crazy.
Yeah.
Read the news, goddammit.
You're right.
Having said that,
You're all right.
I have remote.
He's right.
He is right.
Oh, I
they do
didn't
track
realize.
us through the password. That's
Okay.
true.
I have remote viewed your season for next year.
Okay, well, I would need to know this. Beck, this is important.
I'm
Listen to me.
interested. What's
I am
the
interested
season
too,
look
'cause
like?
I gotta have a better year.
I like these
All right, you want me to
tournaments
go
for you.
tournament by tournament?
I have the list.
Oh, you have the list. Oh,
I
nice.
have the list.
Okay. Tournament 1, Okeechobee, Florida.
I envision you not being so happy at Big O.
Big O, Florida. I hate Florida.
You will finish 51st.
51st! Just
Okay.
out of the money. God damn it.
That's a good finish.
Gotta make
though.
a check though.
That's
50.
steady though.
That's not money
That's
though.
a good Florida finish.
Well, I gotta pay for my expenses. Damn it.
Well, you're gonna get it back in the next one. I
All right.
promise
Well, I'm
you.
staying at the KOA. Can't be that bad. All right.
Seminole. 13th.
13th. Top 20. I'll take that.
You've got a win on
Jack,
Seminole.
Jack Wingate's. I stayed at Jack
Yes,
Wingate's
sir.
as a young man. You know.
The Tennessee River. 24th.
20.
Which lake?
Back. Top 30 again. I like these top 30s. Tennessee River.
What lake?
That
on
would
Tennessee?
be.
Tennessee.
That would be. Hold on. That would be Murray.
No. Murray, you're 5.
Top 10.
Oh, Murray, I'm 5.
Perhaps the Tennessee River was someone else's remote view.
I'm not even fishing Tennessee River. And I came in the top 30.
That was for Luke. That was for Luke Duncan.
Luke Duncan is in the top.
Santee Cuba.
Santee. I bombed at Santee.
This year.
This time you don't.
I don't.
31.
Ooh.
Another money
Another
finish.
top 30.
That's good.
Holy hell. I'm
Have you-
I'm in AOY contention here.
You've fished Santee before. What's your track record?
Oh, I've got a good one, and I've got a bad one, and
All
I've got a medium one.
Okay.
Lay Lake.
Lay Lake. I've had history here.
Oh, you've had some. Isn't that the
Top
the
10s?
meltdown? Or
No,
the,
I had top 10 in Classic there.
Oh, I thought that was the one where they were in the off limits and the dock.
No.
That was a different one.
No.
You will continue your streak at 7th.
7th?
7th.
Come on, quit screaming like that.
Let's go.
Top 10.
We will
Lay.
speed this up because I know people are dying. Sabine, 3rd.
Third.
St. Clair.
Well, wait a minute.
Don't
Let
get too happy.
Hold on. Sabine, I will, out of everything so far, I like that one because Sabine is Delaware River, is Chicago, is tough, is grimy. I like that. All right, keep going. It won't be in the trees.
St. Clair.
St. Clair.
44th.
44th.
You're going to bomb.
Oh, but that's in the money still.
That's not a bomb.
paycheck.
That's a good finish.
That's a good finish.
AOY speaking.
Champlain.
Oh, this is what I'm scared about.
You've been big
Damn
there.
forward facing sonar.
You're
is
always
gonna
big
kill me
there, though.
Yeah, forward facing sonar is gonna kill me there.
8th.
Hey!
What?
The largemouth bite's gonna be on in Champlain.
What time of year is Champlain?
July, I think, isn't it?
Ooh, you might not need
It's,
forward facing for the July tournament.
August.
You're gonna need it.
Smallmouth with the alewife. Suck it.
You're gonna need it.
And rounding off the season.
Last of the year, St. Lawrence.
St. Lawrence.
Boo.
This is the Johnston Brothers show.
You will take home the trophy.
Ah! Pete, how do I win?
Reed's Bay.
Reed's Bay.
Wolf Island.
Wolf
just
Island.
go there. Fish next to Johnston.
I just been DQ'd.
Oh, shit. Well, this has been a great show.
This is a public show. It's public knowledge.
Ah, okay.
All right.
Is that it?
Thank you. Where does that put me in AOY, though, Stormtrooper?
You won.
Next show.
Next show.
Win AOY with that?
Yeah.
Your best season ever.
Only missed one cut, and it was their 51st.
All right, so now.
And you won one?
Wow.
You had like 4 top 10s in a row.
All right, so Stormtrooper, thank you. Thank you for the remote viewing.
You just
and
got a
this is
raise.
real. Guys, if you're
So
watching.
it's more history.
Right.
For people who want to investigate themselves, Google Project Stargate. From 1972 to 1995, the Defense Intelligence Agency spent millions to counter the Soviets program.
So this is
Also,
real.
Google Major Ed Dames.
Dames.
D. Delta, Alpha, Mike, Echo, Sierra. Dames.
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 Okay. Dames.
Yo, Dames.
Correct.
No names.
Look it up. Stop being sheep and open your friggin' eyes.
Open your eyes, guys. This is real. Remote viewing is real.
Remote viewing is what. Can
All
we
right.
talk about Yamaha for a second?
Oh.
Sure.
Dude, can you talk about what happened
I
this
can
week?
talk about what happened. Absolutely.
I saw something that I had never seen.
Amazing.
You saw a man eat his own head?
No.
I've never seen it.
Let me give
You
you.
haven't seen everything. Then.
I'll give
It's something
everyone
I've
the
never
quick
seen.
version real quick. So, I hit something. I popped a hole in my lower unit, literally tapped out a 6x6 hole in my lower unit. Completely gone. You saw it.
You removed the casing from the
casing
lower
was
unit.
gone.
The whole thing was exposed.
The
man.
whole thing's exposed.
You could see the
fluid,
gears,
nothing.
the
It was
shaft.
like Terminator when the skin burned off.
Terminator with a skin burn off.
That's exactly what it was
And this
like.
is a great testament to Yamaha.
I got to get a prize for that.
Which is, I made it 46 miles back with a hole in my lower unit. No
That's
fluid,
crazy.
Did you
gears
know?
grinding.
Did you know about it?
I didn't know about it. I thought it was just a bent ear on the prop because I had trimmed up. My partner was like, it's a bent ear. I'm like, oh, cool. It's a bent ear. No problem. I can make it back. Hole in the lower unit, made it back. Shout out to Yamaha, dude. They make a great motor.
Dude, that is impressive.
Yamaha's a
Yamaha.
great motor.
I mean, and then you weighed in, and you ran all the way back to the laundry.
And I still made it another 3 miles.
3
back to the
miles.
laundromat.
I couldn't believe it, man. That's
the
just
only problem
absolutely
is
amazing.
I didn't realize till I got back to weigh-in that I didn't have reverse because all the gears were gone out of reverse.
So you almost crashed me?
I did. I crashed Stan.
Oh, what?
Yeah, I crashed another one of our competitors, and I put a hole in his cowling.
What?
Yes, I did. Stan, I apologize again. I'm going to pay for it all, but I had no reverse, and I didn't know till I got back to weigh-in.
Coming in
So
hot.
when I came in to the check-in line and then the check-in dock where you were going to dock off, I was like, I'll just dock behind him. Well, he like kind of turned, and I was like heading toward him, and I'm like, I'll just pop it in reverse, and no reverse.
What happened? Like the skeg of your trolling motor hit his cowling?
The point of my boat hit his cowling and popped a hole in it. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
I had no reverse.
Stan
Literally had no
Janik?
reverse left.
Wow.
Yeah.
Stan
It was
Janik?
terrible. Nah.
Other
doesn't matter.
Stan?
Yeah, another Stan.
All right.
Big
But-
shout out to Yamaha.
Shout out to Yamaha. Great motor.
I busted a trim seal or whatever they call it
Yeah.
on day one. Took it to the yard and they slapped me back together in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Good to go.
Good to go. Well, speaking of remote viewing, Brian, I would like to switch it to remote viewing of what's going on in fishing right now. Man, it's been a weird transition, right? We're in late summer to fall transition. There's a lot of stuff going on right now. We've got an influx of a lot of rain, and Becky's leaving the studio. Good night, Beck. And
Night,
we've
Beck.
got our one and only Powerbait Paul coming on to check in with us. Yes,
Correspondent.
Powerbait Paul, everybody.
There is.
Here he is.
What's up, Paul?
Shit.
Hi, Paul.
Hold on. Give me this.
I had to sneak off at like 9 o'clock. I watched like the very first first hour or so of Ike Live, and then I had to sneak out to my striper spot. I live about 4 minutes from it.
Oh.
Got my first batch of stripers of the year. Got 9.
Oh,
okay.
Nice. Stripers.
9.
It's tricky. They're all small, all schoolies, 12 to 19 inches.
Yeah.
But it's tricky because I'm not catching anything there at high tide. I had to catch it at low tide, and it was too high in the afternoon when I was doing bass fishing. I got a 3-pounder in the afternoon in the rain. But so I couldn't do any striper fishing. I'm like, all right, this week they should be here. They should be at my spot. And lo and behold, they were.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Stripers in the largemouth, same spot?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, it's right across the road from a freshwater pond, one of my favorite bass ponds. So, when it's high tide, the fish can go in underneath the road and all of that. So
I got you.
a little bit mix of everything. That's also where I got my first snakehead.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay, it's tidal fishery. All right. Paul, using a remote viewing, we've had an influx of rain the last few weeks. We've had some colder nights. What's going on here in the South Jersey scene?
Well, Blake's going to start picking up soon, man.
Yeah.
It's going to start getting good.
Yeah.
September's a really good transition month. That's what I look at it as. And then October is just fire.
Yeah. Yeah.
But honestly, since the stripers are here, I might be giving the largemouth a little break. You know what I mean? Because once you're on school of stripers, oh man, it is one bite after another.
All right, Paul.
I
was going to say, what are some of the baits, though? Because a lot of our listeners and viewers are largemouth, smallmouth only anglers. And if they want to try striper fishing, what are some of the baits they can convert to?
Very simple. They are very easy to entice. Much easier to entice than largemouth.
Really?
White,
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Huh.
White paddle tails on a jig head. That's all you need. Just 4-inch Kitech paddle tail or Strike King paddle tail.
Yeah.
That's all you need. You know.
So swim
I know
bait. Swim bait
a lot of guys
style.
like catching them on top waters. Spooks.
Yeah.
Spooks work good. You know.
What are you fishing? Where are you getting your stripers? What river system?
Cohansey.
The Cohansey. They come up there.
Yep.
That's cool.
Cool.
I mean, it's stripers are the schoolies like you're talking about. They're so prevalent in all of our river systems. It's cool that you're dialed into 'em.
Yeah.
Is Cohansey the one that Alway Lake spills out into? And
Cohansey's
is that right?
Sunset.
I'm asking. I don't know.
No, I don't know either. Cohansey's a Sunset Bridgeton.
Brian, what creek does Alloway Lake dump into?
Alloway Creek.
Alloway Creek. Okay.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
that's
Mike's
got
right.
largemouth
Connected
up
to
in
a
it.
Sunset.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Sunset's a good one. That's a good one. Both of those, Cohansey and Alloway Creek, are both good tidal tributaries. Both good systems. Yeah.
They just take forever to get to where we launch from.
I heard somebody in our tournament went 90 miles each way.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Where would that even be?
I'm guessing the Chester. But I heard somebody.
Apparently, dudes were going down there and getting bit like a motherfucker.
Yeah. We got to talk
Like
to Matt
easy.
Pangrak because he was going to the Chester.
He was?
He was on his way. He got to the mouth of the Sassafras.
Started spearing those
and
hitters.
started spearing them and turned around.
Huh.
Right, but he was headed to the Chester. But the river that I was most interested in that is probably more like a 150-mile run, and I heard some guys might have made it or done it, is the and I can't remember the name of it. It's the river just north of the Potomac.
Pocomoke.
The Pocomoke, because it's cut off at Point Lookout, which is the mouth of the Potomac. But the Pocomoke
Point Lookout.
It's a big river system, and it's got good bass fishing in it.
Wow!
But it might be like 150 miles
Each way.
Each
I don't.
way.
I think what you learn
That's
if you were
fucking far.
watching
Jesus.
the Open this week, what you learned is don't go more than 10 miles from the ramp.
Seriously.
Dude.
Paul, give us our listeners and viewers want a idea of some of the baits to be throwing this time of the year. Give us a little rundown. Give us your top one or two largemouth lures. We heard your striper lures. Give us your top one or two largemouth lures for early September.
Well, I've gotten figured out down to two particular spots. One of them is another river system that I won't be naming, but it's got current, so of course current's a good summer spot. So I like throwing like a black and blue jig or a black and blue bandito bug. That's why I've been getting them on there. And another spot is water's very clear but very, very grassy, like thick grass.
Yeah.
Like it really limits my options on what I can throw, and I can't catch diddly squat with a frog. So I've been using a weightless red shad Yamamoto Senko.
Oh,
that's why I got a 5-pounder the last week of August on that, and that's what I got my 3-pounder on this morning.
Is that different from the Yamamoto?
That is the Yamamoto.
Oh,
Jake, cut this clip.
Yamamoto, whatever.
Yamamoto.
It's just like Rapala.
Yeah.
Rapala,
Yamamoto.
Well, what do you call it, Pete?
Paul.
Yamamoto.
Paul.
I say Yamamoto too.
Yeah.
Yama.
Yama. You're
Like
Yama.
Yamaha.
He's Yama.
Paul is Yama.
Yeah.
Yama and Yama.
Do you feel like they're the same bait since they've been sold?
Ooh.
No.
I'll be honest, I haven't really noticed a difference.
You have?
I haven't, no.
Oh, you haven't? Yeah.
Have you?
No.
No, I haven't. I think it's the same bait, but I've heard some conspiracy talking about they're going to change it.
Well,
it's not going to be the same anymore.
Well, if I was,
Like
if I
how
bought that,
so?
yeah, if I bought that business, I would want the proprietary information on how they created that bait.
Yeah.
That would be part of the sale for me. If I didn't have that, I wouldn't want any part of it.
What are you buying, Yamamoto?
I'm not buying.
Pay
Yamamoto.
attention a
No,
little
I don't want it.
closer.
Yamamoto
So
or Yamamoto?
What?
Oh.
Yama.
What do you got to say, Riz?
There's one in the colors that I felt like I was like
Was changed?
Changed. Well, no, not the
color was
color,
changed?
not the color has changed, but like the
Texture.
Yeah, like the
density.
The
The
worm
taste.
in that color used to like really fall apart on the hook, And now it's not falling apart on the hook as much because it's a little bit more
Plastic.
a little bit tighter.
Yeah.
But
I feel it.
I don't know. I don't know if it's ingredients or if it's just the production process.
I don't know. When I
Start
was
killing these geese.
When I was in colder water,
geese.
When I was
which one I'm talking about now? Which color?
The
Don't say it, but
Green weenie.
Yes,
Green weenie.
Yeah.
But yes.
The I in the colder water, I found it's weird. It's like you go through some runs where they break apart, and I want them to break apart. People are like, "Oh man, I want to." It costs too much, but I want them to rip, man. I want that hook to be able to pierce the bait.
Right.
And I found at times that it didn't happen.
Ooh.
What do you got?
Have you ever used these little? They're like bobber stops, but you use them to peg your plastics when they start to rip.
No.
Oh, son, do they work?
Talk to me. What do you got?
I'll talk afterwards.
All right.
Huh.
Yeah.
But I saw the new.
They're in my truck, so we'll get into that.
The company that purchased it, and I just saw like a TikTok or YouTube or something.
God, don't say it, Pete.
From the company that purchased them.
Pete
and they're like, he straight up said, we are not changing anything. We love this brand.
Who said this?
An
executive?
Yeah.
Well, who was the company that bought them?
I don't even know.
If you're watching or listening, please send it through.
Yeah.
Who's the company that
I mean,
bought
it's
Yamamoto?
it's not. It's published information. I just don't.
You think
particularly
Gary
know,
sold
but-
his little dog too?
Yep, that's part of the deal.
Right with the company.
You think he sold his jerky company?
He got
That-
jerky?
apparently, his beef company is
Wagyu.
like more valuable than.
Yeah.
than
I thought he
his
did ostrich.
steak. I think he might. He's
What's
got a
that
big
called?
ranch in Texas.
I thought he had
GSM Outdoors.
From dogs to ostrich. Like live.
GSM?
Yeah.
GSM Outdoors.
He stepped on. He stepped up.
What's
He
that stand
seems
for?
like a really cool guy. He was like, I'm not changing anything. I love the people. He was
What's
in
that
the
stand for,
factory. He
GSM?
was showing the
Game
factory.
Show Network.
Yeah.
Game Show Network.
Game Show Network.
They bought Yamamoto.
Oh, I'd like to know who that is. GSM Outdoors.
They bought a big play.
Manufacturer in
We got
Irving-
Power Bay
It's a
Paul sitting
manufacturer
there.
in Irving, Texas.
Let me ask you
They're,
this.
they're like
Mike.
They're from the
Money.
hunting.
Money
they're,
people.
They're hunting.
Yeah.
Money
How
people.
much money do you think that's sold for?
Couple million.
It must be gobs.
No, I think a couple million.
Dude, I mean, Senkos are so prolific. They're on
They're everywhere.
a couple
It's the
million.
most imitated
Couple
bait in the
million?
history
Like
of
two?
baits.
2 to 10 million.
I'm
That's
thinking
not a
it's
lot
more.
of money, though.
No, I'm thinking it's a lot more than that.
You think?
Yeah.
Who cares?
I don't know.
Ain't my money. I ain't none of it.
There's one person in the room who can talk that kind of money. The rest of us are like, oh, yeah, that sounds pretty fair.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah, there's one person in the room that can have this conversation with the adults, and none of us are it except him.
Paul, what do you think about it?
JP?
Oh, how are we gonna get home? What are gas prices?
Well,
we made checks. We're happy we're getting
Yeah.
home. Every
Checks
time.
are good.
Yeah.
How much? What? JP? What was your check?
Yeah, it was $5 less than my entry fee.
So you got your
Really?
you got your entry fee
Yeah,
back.
yeah. So
That's
that-
cool.
I
And
made
it
a
only
decent
cost
check.
Pete $7,000 to get it.
Riz, you made a decent check. I made a decent check.
Yeah,
both check.
I made almost $1,000
That's what I thought.
after entry fee.
Same.
Almost $1,000.
Oh,
That's what I
you
thought.
made a profit.
I was an ounce
Oh,
better
yeah.
than you.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
I did. Let
And
me,
he didn't have to fucking Airbnb.
I've had the worst year of my life, but let me say this real quick. I did finish 5th in points again. I
Yeah.
finished 3rd in points
Yes.
last year.
I was just
finished
getting
5th in
ready to
points
say
this
that, Mike.
year.
You were poo-pooing your year, and I was going to say, yeah, but when you're on the opens, you're
Well,
still.
I finished 5th in points.
Yeah, that's a freaking accomplishment because the
good.
opens, there's 900 dudes everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And thanks for the speed worms, by the way, man.
Oh, you're welcome.
That was so key.
Oh, yeah.
The 4 speed worms, however many you gave me, and you gave me a little rundown on how to throw. That
Yeah,
was like
that's the deal.
Were they new or used?
no, they were new.
I
They were
get
new.
that one.
I got on that, and it got me one bite early in the day.
Key.
Like I didn't get the day before, and it's like it's what kind of clued me into what was going on. So that was
Yeah.
Mike, you lent me a AGM that I carried with
An
me. in my
AGM
boat.
and a battery charger
and a
bag of Senkos.
And a bag of Senkos. I'm in the truck. I have the AGM, the battery charger. I'm keeping the sinker.
Okay, you keep sinkers.
Dave, you're up.
You keep them.
Yeah,
you
I
let me
mean-
borrow a lot of shit over the years, so they're yours.
Thank Mike for
Yeah.
something.
Yeah. I think. All right, Paul.
We're going around the room
All
here,
right,
guys.
Paul. Moving into the fall. Here we are with this very transitional time. Before we let you go, give the guys a heads up on what they can expect as we move into October. Cooling water, getting a little colder, leaves changing. What can guys expect here in South Jersey?
More aggressive feeders, more aggressive bites. A lot less summer fishing, like dead sticking, letting the soft plastic sit there and the lazy bass come by and pick it up.
Yeah.
Moving baits, crankbaits, spinner baits, top waters will still be in play,
Yeah.
but moving baits.
Man, I like the sound of that, Pete.
Yeah.
I hate to sit.
I love the fall. Once those leaves start changing,
Hey, Mike.
man, I love it.
Yeah.
Mike and Davis, for you. The last Thursday nighter of the year was like 2 weeks ago on
Yeah.
Stella's.
Stella's?
Stella's.
I know. I know this. This is amazing.
First in Lunker was .93. What? Yes. So when you say South Jersey,
Oh,
I
my
shut
God.
the F down. You guys have pummeled this fucking place.
Dude.
Let's grow
That's
the
a
sport.
That
shame.
place used to have so many giants in it.
Oh,
dude.
that's a shame. That's a
Point
shame.
93. There were 4 bass caught
Oh,
out
that's a
of
shame, dude.
12 boats and 20-something
That's a
anglers.
shame.
Dude,
over
the
3 hours.
You're talking about 0.9 pounds, and that's just-
.93.
That's amazing. Did you hear that 30, was it 4-pound bag of smallmouth, 35-pound bag of smallmouth that was caught?
Dang,
No.
where, Pete?
I don't know. Like
You
Brian's
just made it
gonna
up?
crack on me, but it was a TikTok video that came
Oh,
on my
God damn
feed.
it.
They had 35 pounds.
Yeah.
For 5?
I just
Yeah.
picture you watching gymnasts doing cartwils and those gymnast channels on TikTok. I just picture you looking at that. man.
They slip in sometimes. Dude, the TikTok knows what you like, man.
yeah.
They're smart, just
Oh,
like you're talking,
well.
like you're preaching.
Well, I can tell
But
you
they dial in exactly what you're interested
Yeah,
in.
the
Well, I
number-
can tell you,
They keep feeding it to you.
Palatine's going to get an influx of smallmouth this fall. That's all I can tell you.
Stop it.
Why?
Why not?
You're murdering smallmouth.
Have we ever caught one out of here? Has anyone ever caught
Yeah,
one?
Mike. Heck yeah.
Mike did.
Of course.
Bro,
I was there.
I caught my first bass there this summer, 3-pounder. I'm ready for some smallmouth.
Heck yeah.
Nice.
Yes, Paul.
Need
Paul,
more than
Paul.
just Union Lake around here.
Yes,
You're fishing Palatine, Paul?
First, you got to
Do you have,
eradicate
do you have the
black
sticker?
cat.
It's gone.
I'm a bank angler. No, I don't need a sticker. What am I going to do? Put a sticker on my fishing pole?
On your head. On the back of your head.
On your beard.
Okay, that'll
Got
work.
him.
On your beard. Yeah. It's a good place. Paul, thank you for the update. We love it, and we're very excited about this colder weather coming. Very excited about the bite picking up a little bit. Keep us in a loop. We're going to hopefully talking in about 2 or 3 weeks on the next show, Paul.
All right, sounds good, Mike.
Powerbait Paul, everybody. Yes.
PvP.
All right, if you're not following Paul over on Instagram, follow him at Powerbait Paul. Great site he's got over there on Instagram.
Great site.
He's
We
so
love
nice.
Paul.
He's such a nice dude.
Yeah,
He is
he's
a
the
good dude.
best. He is the best.
I get him off so I can talk about him.
Paul, we're trying to kick you off so Dave can talk about you.
Nah, nice things, Paul.
Oh, that's how it is,
If
Dave,
my
huh?
son,
That's how it is.
No. I'm telling you right now, if my son turned out half as nice as you, I'll be happy.
Here's
man.
the thing, dude. Paul
You're
works.
a nice guy.
Dude, Paul works hard.
Yeah.
And he fishes when he can fish, and he works hard.
Dude,
That's all you can
dude,
ask for somebody.
I'll tell you the thing I most about being hanging out with you guys live is listening to Dave's classified stories afterwards.
It's great, isn't
After
it?
hours.
Yes.
Yeah, he's got some interesting tales.
Hey, you gotta,
It's good stuff.
life is more than just the black and white. You gotta dig deeper, man. You know what I mean? Dave's
Yeah.
got that. It's
To
good.
the smoke-filled back rooms
Yeah,
where the deals are made.
Yeah, exactly.
And the souls are
Sometimes it's
sold.
blue fleck or,
Yeah.
you know.
Blue fleck, camo.
Yeah,
You
tequila
never know.
sunrise.
You never know. Okay.
Moccasin blue.
All right, thanks, Paul.
Moccasin blue.
Like if my son had half of Paul's motivation, like he watches his phone, I would love for him to like
got
him.
me
He leaves his podcast to go catch
Oh,
some
yeah.
striper and come back.
That's great.
You know
dude.
what I mean?
That's great.
That's
yeah.
that's just awesome,
Yeah.
man. That's what we need.
All right, he's off. Can you get?
No, I
kidding.
had
Nah,
nothing
Paul's
good
a good
things
dude.
to say about him.
Dude,
man.
Paul's pretty.
kidding.
It's interesting how you meet people. You know, Ryan and JP, you guys are talking how you met, and it's interesting how we met Powerbait Paul. But it was out fishing, it was out doing the deal.
Yeah.
It was like common bonds that brought us together. So
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
cool. He's hardcore, man. You gotta love that.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, he's
I
hardcore.
mean, some of the best conversations I've ever had in my life are just dudes I met on the bank.
Oh, yeah. It's great, isn't
One
it?
of my best friends I met, I walked up to a fishing spot, fell down the hill into the water.
Yeah.
First person I saw was this dude Mike.
Pete
who,
Glusick.
Yeah.
Great friends.
That's awesome.
That's cool.
You fall here too?
Yeah, I fall in the water too.
Falling. Great falling spot.
Fall
You
here.
fall in here too. That's awesome.
Getting petered.
Dude, I know we've been on forever. I really enjoyed getting to know these two guys a lot
That was
better.
awesome.
Yeah. I never knew.
Yeah.
Never knew they were to school.
Yeah. The one regret I have about tonight's show, I wanted to put Ryan in like a really, really tiny chair. Just because Pat always would make him sit
Like over in
behind
another
him
room somewhere?
and below him or something.
Yeah,
you know?
I would agree.
What the
though.
fuck was that about?
I would agree. Let me
Seriously.
because I think we talked about some of this like off camera in that second segment. But I would agree, Dave, with what you said. Pat underutilized these two guys.
Yeah.
Underutilized. Yes.
Oh my God! I mean,
Yeah.
I
Don't know
bet-
what you got.
So we got, I bet you JP probably has another 50 stories that would be neat. Like these guys, they're out there in that grunge skate scene. Like they got some really good stories that I would have focused on. Man.
After hours, bro. We'll do it.
Well, I'm going home in about 9 minutes.
We drank through all the whiskey. Dave's ready to go home.
What are you gonna
I
do with
admire your
What are
discipline.
you gonna do with the other 6 minutes?
Wrap the show up.
Well, it was a treat fishing with you, JP.
Oh, Pete, I'm sorry if I damaged your.
You owe me $7,000, dude.
$7,000. You can pay it back at Tightrope.
Yeah, that's right. Just
It's
keep-
coming.
I want
we're on
a,
Ike
I want a
Live, so it
mystery.
might
I want a
happen.
mystery tightrope box every month.
Oh, we're on Ike Live, so it might happen. Yeah, I might be able to pay you like Monday.
Yeah.
I'll pay you Monday.
Check clears Monday.
Let us get home. And
You play basketball,
Dude,
Yeah,
you
we did.
dribble
No, we
that
did
all the
just,
way to the bank.
We did just actually hire our first person ever through Tightrope. We've actually got an actual tire now.
Really?
Yeah, Josh
Nice.
Sokol, who's a local dude.
Oh,
in Chicago.
Josh.
Yeah.
Shout out to
Local
Josh.
Sokol?
Josh Sokol, yeah. He,
Related to Brian Stubb?
Paying him in skate trucks and Bitcoin.
SOK, yeah.
Yeah.
Skate trucks and Bitcoin.
Take this new set of bearings, bro.
Yeah, but that's
Yo,
our,
I got
our
this new.
site-
You get 9 skid plates per 1,000 jigs.
Here's a couple bars of wax.
Yeah.
Skid plates.
yeah, we got some wax for you.
But no, yeah, that's been our biggest problem is keeping up with the demand, and we finally found
It's
this
a good
kid.
freaking
We
problem.
found
'Cause
the
it's a
right
good
kid.
pro- it's a
Like,
good product.
He's a
Yeah.
hardcore bastard. Like this kid's so motivated.
That's awesome.
He reminded me of ourselves, like fishing out of a total junk boat, just
Yeah.
like I did. I mean, my first boat was like $2,000, and I fished everywhere in this thing. He's doing the
Wow.
same thing.
Yeah,
He
so
works at a
he's-
tackle shop, and he's kicking ass.
He's
like,
got the
tiny
401.
jigs,
He's
so.
got the 401k and the health. And
Yeah, oh yeah. We got him all taken.
Riz,
care of.
did you see the
Everything's on
white?
retirement plan.
Did you see the white blade with the deuce tandems?
Now he's crushing it though.
No.
That's
With
awesome.
the skinny,
Yeah.
dude.
So hopefully, anyone out there that checks our website and sees it sold out all the time, we're gonna try to keep that thing loaded.
Well, dude,
Right.
I can
They're
tell
on
you,
Tackle Warehouse.
I got to tell you this. Besides the Tightrope jigs, that spinner bait that I saw walking
white
around,
one.
Yeah, they're sweet.
that Brian stole the whole bag of.
Brian's.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
What?
Compact, little. I look at it as
Short
a
and
river
stout.
spinner bait.
Yes.
I mean,
Very, very
voluptuous.
Very cool. Very cool.
The cow that spinnerbait was inspired by the Cow Sag channel, which
Yeah.
is where you
Oh, yeah.
spent some time in
Oh,
there.
I have spent some time there. I
in
know
the
about
classic,
it.
yeah.
Yes.
And that's I live 5 minutes from the ramp.
Yeah.
Right there. So that river, and it's different from when you were there too. It's really good.
Is it really?
There's a lot
Wow.
of bites in it. Lots of bites. Takes
crazy.
20 pounds. Takes
Dude,
20
it's-
pounds to win that.
I remember that tournament like it was yesterday, dude. We're talking about the classic that Woo won.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
is
Woo won.
2001?
2000.
2000.
2000.
2000. So I'll tell you a quick story real quick. So that practice, I found some fish that were offshore. And I really felt like these were the winning fish.
Was it on a shoal?
It was on a shoal.
This was the Chicago.
This
side.
was, yes. Yes, this was the Chicago Classic, and
I ain't that late.
And I found some fish offshore, and I felt like this was the way that I was going to win the Bassmaster Classic. And the first day of the tournament, I remember like they launched us, and I couldn't believe they launched us because the wind was howling to where like even like in a protected harbor, you knew. You know what I mean? You like it was
Swelling
like
death was coming.
It was like
Yeah.
And I'm like, holy fuck, they're launching us.
They just went out of Burnham Harbor.
Oh, yeah.
And you see the whole front deck of boat 1 as it's like.
Dude, they launched us. So I remember I went out of this harbor and I started heading toward these 2 or 3 waypoints I had that were like I don't know, like a mile out from these harbors. And dude, the waves were so big. Like, I was scared out of my mind. Like, I'd never been in waves that big.
Dude, freighters sink up.
I honestly want to call them, like, 8 to 10s. Like, legitimate 8 to 10s.
Scariest water you ever been in?
Scariest water I've
Had
ever
to
been
have been
in.
a small craft advisory.
Oh, yeah.
Had to have been.
Yeah, but they didn't care back then. Like, this
Oh,
was a different era in bass fishing.
Go be a man and get out there.
Where they just
That's
let
right.
you go. And I remember, like, trying
That was
to
before
get...
people were in endangered species.
Oh, yeah. People were not in endangered species. And I remember trying to get there and, like, made it, like, a mile into the 5-mile run or whatever it was and was scared, like, nervous.
Wait, so
like
I got to know this. How the hell did you make it to Lake Calumet?
So
Did you go back to the river and lock through?
No. So that spot was, like, out that way, which was straight into the waves.
Yeah.
But going to Calumet was troughs.
Okay.
Because it was coming out of the
so it was
east.
coming out of the. It had
So
to
you're
have been
just
like
rolling.
northeast.
Northeast.
Yeah.
Right,
yeah,
northeast.
Yeah.
So instead of running against them, I could run troughs. So I ran troughs to the Calumet River.
That's still 8-10 miles.
It was still far, but I was down in them. So you'd be
Oh my
down in them.
God.
So
Right.
I could see these giant waves, dude, that were like 2 bass boats high. But I was running in the troughs of them, and I felt like okay because I didn't have to go against the grain. You know,
Can't
Bunch of
see
you
what's
guys
on
did
either
that, right?
side.
A whole bunch of you guys went down there.
most of us, anybody that had anything in the lake.
What I gotta know is
ran
why
there.
did anybody go up the Chicago River? Like, did anybody lock
Yep.
into the Chicago? And,
The
and
Japanese,
also,
the Japanese guy.
okay.
Takahiro?
No, Takashiro Namiki.
Toshinori.
What?
Toshinori Namiki.
I just making shit up now.
No, no.
Sounds like sounds like
No.
Adding vowels.
Toshi top 5.
like judo throws.
in the Chicago-
Tasha Shishusha
No, no,
Shashi.
Because if you go
Ukiwaza.
up, way up, like there's
That's a real
fish-
throw.
That's not even as far as getting down that way. Like,
Right.
if you lock through, you go way up. You go all the way up to where it connects to the lake
Yeah.
again. There's a dump.
Oh, yeah.
I never heard of anybody going up there, and there's fish up there.
There's fish up there.
And there had to have been someone that went
The
that way.
craziest story, the untold story of that classic was Ron Shuffield, who
Oh,
the
yeah.
second day of that tournament,
Yeah,
second day
Ron.
of the Bassmaster Classic,
He went to
had
North Point.
Yeah, he had like 14 or 15 pounds, which was like
Pounds.
in contention to win or press Woo. But he misjudged the weigh-in time and came in so late that all of his weight was disqualified.
Oh, my God.
And that was the last tournament that Ron Shuffield ever fished in. Years later, the interesting dichotomy is that his son has become a top pro.
Just won?
And he just won a
Just-
Toyota
MLF.
Series.
I interviewed
And
him
he was on time.
I interviewed him on
Spencer
Bash
Sheffield.
U like
He was
3
on
weeks
time.
ago.
Yeah.
So if I have
he won
if
the
I have
on time
two
for the interview.
if I have 2 regrets of this week, it's stealing a fish from Peak Lucid
And the win.
and it's not taking a picture with Woo Daves
Oh,
because he was right
Check him
there,
out.
and I was like, oh my god,
Yeah.
I was too nervous
Yeah.
to even go up to him.
Totally check it
Woo's a
out.
classic.
I just wanted to go. Yeah, you won in Chicago
So
Yeah.
watching,
in the big water where dudes were scared.
Yeah.
And if you watch that video, what he was doing was nuts.
it
What was he
kinda
doing?
nuts,
What was he
but-
doing?
But where he was fishing,
Let's protect it.
I can't figure out. Yeah, I can't figure out why.
He got protection.
Because that area he was fishing. I mean, I
Yeah,
do
but he
a-
was
I do a-
fishing on the
I do a
leeward.
little-
He was fishing on the leeward side of the break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that area, I mean, I do a little bit guiding down there, and that's like, there's fish there all the time.
Yeah.
And I didn't fish it back then. I was not till about 3 years later. But but I mean that's I couldn't believe that there wasn't 20 boats up and down that wall.
Yeah, I don't know why.
But he didn't catch that many. I mean, he didn't even have a limit one of the days, right?
Yeah.
How were you catching them back then?
It's just different now,
Well,
man. There's a million
tube?
fish there.
Dragging a tube?
Dragging a tube.
Yeah.
Dragging a tube was the deal. And here's what I remember about this. And then, Pete,
I
I'll let
was
you
just
jump
gonna.
in.
I know what
You
you're gonna
probably know what
say.
I'm going to say. So I remember going there, and the tube was how you caught smallmouth.
Yeah.
So when I got to Lake Calumet, I was fishing a tube for largemouth and smallmouth, and I was snapping it and popping it. And there was this dude in there, Brett Height and Aaron Martins, that fished in Lake Calumet with me. And they were catching more fish than I caught. And I had no idea why.
That's when the dreaded
They were drop
shot.
shotting.
Huh.
And that was my introduction to the drop shot. And
And now all
caught-
northern tournaments suck to watch.
They caught way more fish than I did
Yeah.
out of the same area. I had a top 10 finish in that tournament, but they finished way higher than I did fishing a drop shot.
Yeah, that
it was
you guys
my
were all-
introduction to
you
the
guys
drop
were all
shot.
fishing.
That
Jackson's
tournament
Point.
was
Shout
my
out Brian Jackson.
Yeah.
That tournament was my introduction to you.
Wow.
I remember being like, yeah, there's this Mike Eikenel, and you back then you were even running around the boat.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like,
yeah.
oh, he's right there. I
I'll hook
fished
a
that.
2-pounder.
Yeah,
Giant,
it's like-
giant. 2-pounder. Yeah.
It was a giant there. At that
It was a giant. Yeah.
I remember you calling me. You were like, "Dude, the drop shot's for real."
Oh, yeah.
You were.
Smashed
that was
me
the
on it.
first time it hit me.
Oh, yeah.
Too because we're like, it's everything's bullshit.
Till it's not.
You hear
It's
dock
bullshit till it's
talk.
not.
It's like this is
Like
a
the chatterbait.
stupid lure.
Like the
Yeah.
chatterbait.
Chatterbait was
Chatterbait
stupid.
was bullshit.
Senka was stupid, and then you start making things real, and you were like, drop shot is real. Like bites are like 5 to 1.
Aaron and B Height
It's a
smashed me
it's a
with it.
real thing, and I remember having that conversation with you because we want to eliminate all that crap.
Oh, yeah.
As an angler, you
Yeah.
want to eliminate the noise.
You're right.
and get right to it. You
Yeah.
know, and but yeah, I remember that conversation with you about that classic. You know.
Yeah. It was the first national tournament where the drop shot really dominated,
Yeah. And
it didn't get the win, but it dominated.
You've got to come. You've got to come see Lake Calumet now.
I gotta
soon.
come.
I gotta do
You
nothing.
wouldn't even believe what you can catch out of there.
Wow.
I mean, I'm talking 18 to 20 pounds to win almost every tournament.
Largemouth or smallmouth?
Both.
Right, you should see the Chesapeake.
Mostly green.
Yeah, I mean,
Which
like,
is big in March.
Dude, 20, 21,
But
24
it's-
pounds.
Lake Calumet is like, it's been happening like that April to, right now. The tournament last week or 2 weeks ago, 18 and a half pounds.
That's crazy.
It's incredible.
I got an insight. I don't mean to, block the Calumet story, but the Woo Daves thing, he almost won the Classic fishing the Upper Chesapeake when
He
Ken
did.
Cook won. He almost won it out of the Chester River, and he was on a tree. This is where he lost it. He lost 5. He broke off 5 in a row.
Oh, barnacles?
On barnacles. Off
Because
of
he
one
didn't know the
tree.
system.
He knows the right system.
He didn't know the system.
Well, they didn't have
There's
braid.
a barnacle system?
There is a system.
What do you do?
So here, should we tell people?
No, it's top
Oh,
secret.
no,
it's
yeah,
top
yeah.
secret.
Lead core?
Only insiders.
Well, it also works for zebra mussels.
Yeah, I want to know then.
Yeah, we
Let's
fish
just tell
zebra
people.
mussels.
Save for past you.
I just tell people. So here's the thing. When you're around zebra mussels and barnacles, the interesting thing, it doesn't matter about the line. So you use 40 or 50-pound braid to a 25 or 30-pound fluorocarbon leader. Spinning rod, bait caster, doesn't matter. It's all the same. Dude, you can use a spinning rod around zebra mussels, 50-pound braid to a 30-pound fluorocarbon leader. They'll bite it just the same.
Really?
And you
Yeah.
land every
and
single
you'll
one.
survive it.
You'll survive it.
You'll survive the barnacles. But he didn't know it, so he lost 5 in a row off of a tree. So he came to practice for this tournament. Woo's fishing. I don't know how
Woo's
old
like
he is.
75.
And
Gotta be.
Right now?
Oh, yeah.
I feel 75 right now.
he went and
He may be
practiced.
older.
He went and
Did we find
practiced.
80?
He went and practiced Chester River from the mouth all the way to the spillway at his age. Just trying to win this tournament. Was going to make that 100-mile run
He's
or
insane.
whatever it was.
At
It's
that
just
age.
awesome.
Woo
Did,
Dave.
So awesome.
did he wind up making the run, Pete, or no?
No, well, I don't know. I know he didn't. He didn't have a stellar tournament.
Yeah.
I don't know if he made the run. I don't know.
No one knows.
No one knows.
Did anyone tell
impressed that he
Pangrak though
practiced.
to go to run the Aberdeen side down and not go to the Sassafras side when you're going down?
Well, it blew out of the northeast.
But it blows differently on that end than taking the
does.
island side.
It does.
Yeah, but the east wind should have protected him over there.
Well, the second day it had more of an east. The first day it had more of a north.
Yeah.
The first day there was no protection.
First day, it like almost seemed like it
was
had some
almost-
like west in it. Like it was
had a little
weird in
west
the morning.
and it was almost straight north the first day.
I mean, the biggest that the
Yeah.
Chesapeake
bear.
gets is right at the Sassafras. Like that's the biggest that it gets. Why even go that way? Go around it, man. Go.
You're right.
That's
You're
the-
right.
it doesn't-
and that's what a lot of people do that. Like they turn around just a minute too soon.
Yeah, dude.
Like
but-
if you
but
went for
stay away
another
from that.
mile, if you went for another mile, you'd probably be okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's not
Yeah.
as bad at the mouth of the ocean. It's right there, dude. Like
it bounces off of them points.
it's
at
crazy.
Turkey
But
Point
right there is
and-
crazy. I
and
don't
the
know what it
sassafras.
is.
Yeah.
That's the biggest I've ever seen. Is right there.
Matt did good though.
Yeah.
It was fun. We fished right next to each other. I lost one right next to Matt.
Did you?
Yeah, I lost one big fish this week on the first day.
You did a lot of sass work. You weren't in the sass.
I wasn't in the sass.
Oh,
He
okay.
came back.
Oh.
He met me in the Northeast. We were fishing in the same area in the Northeast, and I lost one right there. I said some profanity
Yeah.
that I cannot repeat here.
It's a couple fucks.
Just a couple.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, no, let's do this real quick. Rizzo, we had this amazing like and share contest going on this night on Sunday. And
this
if you
particular
participated,
night.
thank you for participating.
If you didn't, okay.
Yes. We want to give away this bag. Rizzo, what do we
Any
got?
funny stuff?
We want to
Yeah.
pick a winner?
We got a winner. We already threw it through the randomizer.
Okay.
And tonight's winner is
Ping
Matt,
pong balls tonight.
Matt Fisher.
Yeah,
Congratulations,
Matt Fisher.
Yes,
You're
sir.
the winner tonight, Matt.
Giant bag.
Any funny funny messages?
Uh,
Because I've slipped into a funk. I want to laugh.
No, we got no pendings on the board now.
Alright.
So
No pendings.
Oh, hold on, I saw something over here.
Did you see Bridget Allen had an 11-pound bag
Hell
on day
yeah,
one?
she did, dude.
Yeah, fishing
She
the
crushed it.
fishing the mouth of Furnace Bay.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
fishing streams, the rivers.
Brian Brooks had almost 5 pounds the first day. Yeah. Shout out.
Mm-hmm.
Howie had the best Bass University jersey, though.
Oh, I think
Did
it's
he?
sweet.
Yeah.
Big Hal?
Big Hal.
Yep, big
He's
old
the
Hal.
biggest billboard out there.
He is. He's the man.
Love you, Hal. Shout out to Big Hal. Great night tonight, Pete. Awesome conversation.
A lot of fun.
Yeah, a lot of fun. And I want to thank everybody for watching tonight. I want to thank our guests tonight, Dave Brodzik, Pete Klusik. Ryan, thank you for coming on tonight.
Thank you.
And congratulations for Angler of the Year next year.
Yeah. Oh, me.
Wow. Congratulations.
Wow. Thank you, Dave. Should I thank you or should I thank Stormtrooper?
I mean, next time he's on, thank him.
Okay. All right. Well, Brad, JayPee, thank you guys for coming on. It was awesome.
Brad.
Thank you.
You got to say something before the show's over.
Yeah, Brad, you got to say something. Put the headset on.
Just
You were
one-
like the silent guest all
Silent,
day.
silent Brad.
All right, Brad, give us something.
I like bass fishing.
Yeah!
He likes bass fishing.
Turtles.
We got to cut that like I like the turtles thing. We can
Put
make
the,
that a YouTube
put the mic closer to your mouth and say it.
Turtles.
I like bass fishing.
There it is.
That's a little better. The second time.
B. Radlington.
Yes. Rizzo, thank you for coming on tonight, handling IMs. Brian
Absolutely.
DeCarpenter producing a great show tonight as usual. And we want to thank you for watching and listening. Brian, next Ike Live show, any idea?
Yeah. After the Sunday after the kayak event, motherfucker.
Sunday after the
The next
kayak
show will
event.
be whenever the hell you say the next show is. Why are you
Okay.
asking me?
Dude, I don't know. I like to put you on the spot.
I know
It's
you
fun.
do.
It's fun.
We talked about the Sunday. What's the date on that? Dave's in Florida.
October 2nd.
He's going down
October 2nd.
What are you doing in
Satan's
Florida? Slayer.
Yeah, over at the Lake Nakamixon, and then also this coming Sunday at Union Lake for the
That's
Ike
fun.
Foundation
Yeah.
event. If you want to,
I'll be there for
captain
that.
a kid.
You gonna be there, Mike?
I want to be there. Yeah.
All right, cool. I'll
Yeah.
be there.
I don't know Union very well, but I'll be there.
I don't either.
Yeah, that's
My
good.
kids will probably zero again.
Yeah.
Just like me.
Thank you for watching. I hope you have a wonderful Sunday.
Discourage them so they take up tennis or golf or
Yeah,
something.
take up tennis or golf. Good night, everybody. Bye.
Oh, hold on. So we go right after this.
Oh yeah, Pete falling in
there we
again.
go.
Definitely
All right,
gonna send a
everybody.
show on that.
Ghost in the machine.
Dude, if that fish bites, I don't
Pete, what was
fall
going
in.
on through your mind right here?
Watch the seat. Dave's right. Watch
But
the seat.
it elevated.
Oh my lord.
Dude, that seat spun like a fucking propeller, dude.
It did.
Did you see that?
It did like it had two hands.
I'm cool. I'm sure. Yeah, I'm cool.
It's like it was a game, like it was a game show wheel, dude, ready to stop on. Fell out the boat.
Was that live?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's how you're going to sell baskets.
He smiled. Very good that he smiled.
How's that not man?
That was graceful. Staying calm. Getting to the ladder. Yeah, Basket has a built-in ladder. Very nice feature.
Merch. Come on, man.
It's like I am not slipping off this ladder.
Two more steps.
Welcome to the Chesapeake.
Yes.
Just sold about 300,000.
The bigger problem
My favorite part was the laugh when you said, "Were we live?" You're like, "Yeah." You're like,
Broke his
"Hey,
cord.
broke
His cord. That's why he's
All
not just
the
clumsy.
pain- all the pain
Pulled his trolling motor cord,
materialized in
which
that
is made of
laugh.
rope. Most of the time, sometimes it's cable. It's got some cable coating. Yeah, metal.
Manifested.
And now it snapped. He has to now somehow find a way to release that the rest of the day to be able to pull his trolling motor up.
Backing up and just tumbled. I've seen Ike do that.
It's really hard not to fall or at least fall in the water when that happens.
Oh, no doubt. It's the last thing you expect. Hey, and I came to Pete Klusick saying he was familiar with the Chesapeake. I didn't know he was this familiar with it.
Here
it is, up close. I'm just glad he didn't get hurt. That's a.
So I thought he had packed up, man. Oh.
I mean, I don't know what the Russian judges would give him, but that's an 8.5 out of 10.
It was more graceful than when I can.
Here we go. Here we go. Regular time, everybody.
Let's roll.
But watch time speed up. As soon as you roll up that seat, you do
Oh my lord!
It's like Gilligan's Island at the end when they were like double time. When
No,
they're
it was like
running
it was like when they were footing.
I'm cool.
Are
you sure? Yeah, I'm cool.
Fast speed, like
yeah.
Oh my god, dude. Was that live?
Yeah.
It's smiled. Very good that he smiled.
Wait. You said you kept the cord?
It was graceful.
Staying calm.
Dude, that's funny because Eric
Getting to the ladder.
Yeah, Basket has a built-in ladder. It's a very nice feature.
Merch. I've done that with the Come on, man.
Oh
my goodness. Welcome to the Chesapeake.
Yes.
Yo, so when Eric got shot at,
The bigger problem is
the thing he was holding in his hand that was on fire.
Broke his cord. Broke his cord. That's why he's not just
It was
clumsy.
still in
He
his hand
pulled
when
his trolling motor cord, which is made of rope. Most of the time, sometimes
It was
it's
still
cable. It's got some
probably-
cable coating. Yeah, metal. And now it snapped.
That was my security.
He has to now somehow find a way to release that the rest of the day to be able to pull his trolling motor up.
Backing up and just tumbled. I've seen Ike do that.
It's really hard not to fall or at least fall in the water when that happens.
Oh, no doubt. It's the last thing you expect. Hey, and I came to Pete Klusick saying he was familiar with the Chesapeake. I didn't know he was this familiar with it. Here it is, and up close.
Bang.
I'm just glad he didn't get hurt. That's a.
And we're going in. And they disappeared.
I mean, I don't know what the Russian
Gone,
judges
swallowed
would
up
give
by
him, but
the
that's
abyss.
that's an 8.5 out of 10.
It was more graceful than when I can.
It really happened.
You did your best Bo Derek when you came out of the water by shaking the water off your head.
Play that music.
Instead of Bo
Last
Derek.
time, everybody.
Oh my lord!
His glass.
I'm cool. I'm
You
cool.
sure?
Yeah, I'm cool.